was allegedly walking around downtown Los Angeles naked before she flagged down a car and told him that she was having a psychiatric episode. That's how she said it, I guess. So this is news, and it comes nearly a year after the star ended her conservatorship, and shortly after she missed the All That cast reunion at 90s Con over the weekend. The reunion would have marked her first public appearance since her conservatorship ended in March of 2022.
Who do we talk to is going to be there as well?
For 90s Con?
Yeah, 90s Con. And I brought up the Amanda Bynes thing as well. And I forget who it was, but they were excited about it. I remember that. When I heard this news, I literally went, son of a bitch, because so she was out of entertainment, but it seemed like, was it Mark Summers? Yeah. It looks like that
those Mark Summers that you had mentioned.
Right, it was going to be a 90s Con,
okay.
yeah.
Her former co-star, Kel Mitchell, spoke with Entertainment Tonight about the What a Girl Wants star's absence prior to the reports of her psychiatric hold. He said, I've just been praying for her. It's awesome to see that she's doing better, which is great. We're just continuing to pray for her on her journey, and it's answered prayers that she's doing a lot better. Not so much now, it doesn't seem like. Bynes had been in a personal conservatorship since 2013, and her parents supported the decision to dissolve it. In the last several years, this is according to, she had said at the time, in the last several years, I've been working hard to improve my health so that I can live and work independently, and I will continue to prioritize my well-being in this next chapter, she said.
I don't know how these things work, but I assume it has to be a good sign that she was aware she was having a psychotic episode,
yeah,
right?
I don't know. But they put her on a 5150 mandatory psychiatric hold. But if you remember earlier on when she first started having these problems, she was diagnosed schizophrenic.
Yeah.
So, I mean, she needs to be on her medication and supervised to some extent.
She was poised to be huge.
Oh, yeah.
Huge.
Her star was significantly rising. And she was great comedic actress, man. But it's just sad to see that
Sydney White. You didn't know that was Snow White.
I didn't know it was Snow White. But it's sad to see that a mental disability like that can take hold the way that it does. But hopefully she's going to get the help that she needs. Rachel Zegler is addressing the criticism faced by her new film Shazam: Fury of the Gods.
Fury.
The movie fell short of its projections at the domestic box office and currently has a 52% Rotten Tomatoes rating from critics. The West Side Story actress wrote on Twitter saying, hey, our film is actually really good, but mostly I just absolutely loved making it and the people I met whilst doing so. Go see it. Give it a chance. We have an 85% score for a reason. And she said, some people out there and just being senselessly mean, and it's unnecessary. And I know. If you can't handle the heat and all that nonsense, and you're right, but our film is actually very good. It's just cool to hate on fun nowadays. That's okay. We're good, she said.
I kind of appreciate that. She says, and I agree. You know, there have been things that have been, torn apart. You see it and see what you think.
I saw it.
What'd you think?
I enjoyed it. No, it does not. No. I mean, it doesn't. I enjoyed it. And,
That's right, it stinks.
No, it does not stink. No, I enjoyed it. It has its moments where you go, okay, this is.
Let me ask you the question. So, him, obviously, he is a child.
Yeah, and you have to remember that.
Right. It is the way he's acting, and I heard this as a criticism, is the way that Zachary Levi is acting as I got superpowers kind of thing. They said it wasn't linear to his kid self. Like, it didn't seem like the same person.
Well, he's not the same person, though.
But he is the same person morphing with these abilities, right?
Right. So,
you know what I'm saying, man.
I do know what you're saying. Listen, at this point in his Shazamness, he is almost 18 years old.
Right.
So now he's just a little bit cockier.
Okay.
Because now you're a 17-year-old with these powers.
Right.
I understand what you're saying, but I mean the reality is
my sources
when you turn into Shazam, you're not that 17-year-old kid anymore either. So things change, like your confidence level changes.
Right.
I don't know.
Okay.
But also, it's a superhero movie.
Yeah.
Like it's
like I saw like Black Adam to me. That's where superhero fatigue that set in, for Black, which I thought was okay. It was okay.
I definitely want to see this because I love the movie. How is Philadelphia featured in the movie?
Dude, it's huge.
Okay.
And yeah, in fact, we had
A lot of references to us.
a lot of references. Oh, there is just one point where, and I can't wait to lift the audio from it because he just says something in the word Philadelphia and what he says, and it's really, I was like, ooh. And I made a mental note of that. I'm like, okay, we're going to have to
We
lift
need
that.
it as a drop, yeah.
Yep.
By the way, the director, David F. Sandberg, took to Twitter on Monday to address critics' response to the new movie. He said, on Rotten Tomatoes, I got my lowest critic score and my highest audience score on the same film. I wasn't expecting a repeat of the first movie critically, but I was still a little surprised because I think it's a good film. Oh, well, he wrote, as I've been saying for a while now, I'm very eager to go back to horror as well as trying some new things. After 6 years of Shazam, I'm definitely done with superheroes for now, he said. Jason Sudeikis and the cast of Ted Lasso appeared at a White House press briefing yesterday. It was to address the issue of mental health, and that's kind of a theme that runs through the movie, the show.
Especially with Ted himself.
Yes. Sudeikis took to the podium as his co-star stood behind him and said, no matter who you are, no matter where you live, no matter who you voted for, we all probably, I assume, know someone who has or have been that someone ourselves, actually, that struggled and that's felt isolated, that's felt anxious, that's felt alone. He said it's actually one of the many things, believe it or not, that we all have in common as human beings. And then he added that one of the big themes of Ted Lasso is that people are there for one another. He said, check in with, your neighbor, your coworker, your friends, your family, and ask how they're doing and listen sincerely.
It was wild to see the cast there, doing that deal. So, yeah, the show really has, if you've been avoiding it, jump on in because it's so much more than just what you might think like a sitcom. These are people, and everybody has multiple aspects to their personality. They're not one-dimensional.
Now, I haven't watched this press conference, but they take some questions, and the guy who plays Trent Krim is in the audience.
From The Independent?
From The Independent.
No way.
And apparently stands up and asks him a question, so I definitely want to watch this. At the South by Southwest premiere of Air over the weekend, Ben Affleck said that he consulted Michael Jordan about casting for the film, and the basketball superstar had only one person in mind when it came to who would play his mother. So Ben said, I got the script. I had a chance to talk to Michael. He said, Michael Jordan is, for those of you who don't know, the most intimidating, impressive man you will ever see in real life. And he shared that Jordan had a, quote, look of reverence and awe and love and gratitude and innocence. And he just said, none of this would have ever happened without my mother doing everything. And then Affleck asked him who he wanted to play the part of his mother. He said, well, it has to be Viola Davis. And Affleck says, I said, do you know that that's like saying, can I play basketball when you're out on your court? And you say, yeah, if you get Michael Jordan.
Yeah.
And then he added, so Ben Affleck said, Viola Davis is the best actor I have ever seen.
Ben Affleck said that?
That's what Ben Affleck said.
Well,
so
she's damn good.
he is in awe of her. So it was awesome that he wanted her to be
What is
on
that? What is that premiering?
I'm not sure. By the way, speaking of Ben, he shared that I want to hear more. That he is in a celebrity Wordle group that includes Matt Damon, Jason Bateman, and Bradley Cooper.
Oh, I should be a part
Matt
of
Damon.
He said, actually, the first rule of Wordle is you don't talk about Wordle.
Wordle Club.
Unless you get it in 3 guesses, he said. I used to do the crossword compulsively in the mornings and think that I was good at word games. And let's face it, going up against actors, it's not a high bar. He said, I expected to do fairly well, so I was seriously humbled. He said, you have to do the Wordle, the Quirtle, and the Octordle.
I do all of those.
And add up your score.
Oh.
And then whoever has the lowest score wins for the day. It's fiercely competitive,
Oh, I
and
like
there's
that.
a lot of mockery and derision, he says.
You guys, did you do that?
No, but I like that. I like the different games and adding up the score instead of just sending the one. Because
a good idea.
Yeah.
Well, the only one that okay. I guess, because Quirtle doesn't give you a score. Octordle gives you a score, and then Wordle, your score is just
What about Myrtle?
I
It
don't
has
know.
to give some sort of score if they're using it.
Well, if the Wordle would be how many guesses. It takes.
but
that would be your
with,
score.
But with Quirtle, it doesn't necessarily. So I don't know how they do that. I guess maybe
Per word.
or however many guesses it takes for you. Because here's the deal. Octurtle actually gives you a score. It's like, oh, you got a 60 on this one, or you got a 65.
I like Octurtles.
Yeah. But I'm going. Here's the deal. I have a phone number that could or could not be Bradley Cooper's phone number. I'm going to start sending him my Wordle every single day.
Give it a shot. It's not like he's going to blow us off.
Right.
That's happened already.
Been blowing me
Wouldn't
off.
that be wild if that was our way back to Bradley Cooper?
Yeah.
Eventually, he's going to say, "Who is this?"
Yeah,
and
like,
that's
no, it's
perfect.
Casey.
Yeah.
Casey,
It's
look,
Casey.
I'm here with Ben Affleck. Let's put him on the phone.
Dude, I'm going to say it's Casey, and he might think it's Casey Affleck.
Casey.
Yeah,
Oh, my
book
God.
him on the show.
And then-
roll with it.
Yeah.
Definitely roll with it. All right, let's see. I have a lot of stuff here. How about this one? In a recent interview with Entertainment Tonight, Julia Fox denied using diabetes medication Ozempic for weight loss.
Julia Fox?
Yeah. She said, all these people are coming for me saying that I take the weight loss things. People are saying that I'm taking Ozempic or whatever it's called. I'm not, and I never have.
Julia Fox is Kanye West's ex-girlfriend, and she
Uncut
was also from
Gems.
Uncut Gems.
Okay.
Uncut Gems.
Oh, wait, is that her?
That's her.
Okay.
So, the Ozempic jokes were flying fast and furiously at the Oscars. Kimmel had a few, and apparently they're all using Ozempic, Preston.
Huh?
Yeah, why
Why
not?
wouldn't ya?
Yeah.
If it works.
Peels off 8 or 10 pounds.
Yeah.
And then you're good to go.
Let's see. Blac Chyna made her first public appearance since having her facial fillers dissolved. It was in an event for her Elements magazine cover over the weekend.
Kathy, you'd listen to what she's saying now. She talks about the Botox and all this stuff and getting that stuff. She says she had a bad experience with it. I mean, she was able to land a Rob Kardashian, but,
How does she
there is
look
a
like?
downside.
Could you tell?
Not really.
No.
She said, I'm just tired of the look. It's just not flattering. It's just not what I look like. She told her doctors in a recent Instagram video, it totally changed my face and I'm ready to get back to Angela. She said, Blac Chyna's Blac Chyna, and I feel like I've outgrown that.
Well, listen, that's a legendary character in the world of entertainment, Blac Chyna, but the time has come and gone.
Dude, she's got 16 million followers on Instagram. So
She claims that when she did her OnlyFans page, that she made $80 million?
No.
I doubt that seriously.
yeah, me too.
But that's what she's claiming.
I do listen. I really don't care about her, but I do like that she's doing this.
Yes.
I mean, listen, a couple people have done this after, you know what I mean? After
Get
it's
rid of
been-
everything?
Yeah, because it gets to be too much. It takes a lot for them to continue this, and it gets out of control so fast.
All right, we're looking at a side-by-side picture of her, and her lips definitely look better.
Look
Yep.
better,
Yeah.
way better, right?
Her now I wonder if she had the
cheeks.
jaw sculpting, that thing where it's basically lipo for your jaw.
I don't know, though, because look at the right side. The right side looks a little more pointy. I think the left side, maybe
Pointy face.
the fillers are gone, and it's sort of just filled out. Her face.
She looks better. She looks more natural, at least,
Is it safe to say at this point that we adore her?
No.
Okay.
Not at this point. Today reports that Adam Sandler was honored with the Mark Twain Prize for American Humor over the weekend.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, Drew Barrymore, Conan O'Brien, Chris Rock, Jennifer Aniston, Steve Buscemi, Dana Carvey, and Luis Guzman all took the stage at Washington's Kennedy Center to honor the Happy Gilmore actor. Sandler thanked his parents and siblings for that, quote, weird, irrational confidence thing that I guess I still have. Do we have any of his acceptance?
We should,
Oh,
Case.
yeah.
Case.
That's why. I mean,
A lot
he's
of people
really,
couldn't quite
really-
understand it. But
Yeah, so
Please, Billy, please, no gibberish tonight.
so he said the event is set to be broadcast on CNN on Sunday, so we'll be able to see it.
He got really distracted by, I guess maybe he thought the trophy was like a bird or something like that.
Stop looking at me, Swan.
It's so weird.
Yeah.
But then that's amongst the world of comedy and comedians, this is one of the most highly coveted awards you could get.
Yeah, absolutely.
He's distraught.
Yeah. So, all right, I feel that I have to report on this, though I know nothing about it or any of the people
Is
on
it not Vanderpump Rules?
It is.
It
Vanderpump
is.
Rules. According to Variety, Bravo released a mid-season teaser on Monday for season 10 of Vanderpump Rules. And
Season 10!
the preview provides a glimpse at the fallout surrounding Sandoval, Sandoval, sorry. Or no, they're calling
They
it.
call it Scandival.
Oh, I
Are you
get it.
are you a pumpy? That's a
You're talking to
Vanderpump fan,
me?
yeah.
No, I'm not a pumpy.
I'm a Vanderman.
Which the show...
Wouldn't that make you a Vanderpump?
I'm a Vanderman.
Yeah.
Or Amanda Pump.
I am not, well, I'm a man that
I don't know what they're called.
No, I don't know.
All right, anyway.
An orthopod?
It's the fallout surrounding Scandoval,
Scandival!
which the show resumed filming in order to capture. In the teaser, Tom Sandoval tells Ariana Maddox, his former girlfriend of nearly a decade, whom he cheated on with his co-star Raquel Leviss, he said, "I wish we both would have tried harder." And later he opens a cabinet and asks her, "You want anything?" And she replies, "For you to die."
Wow. What was she doing in the cabinet?
I don't know.
Wait, what?
I don't know what this is all about. But she said, "For you to die."
Man. That is brutal.
Wow.
If I gave a rat's ass, I'm sure this would be amazing.
What is this lengthy apology you pulled up on his Instagram page?
I think it's a week or two old, Preston,
Oh,
and maybe
okay.
we referenced it before. It's his most recent post, which is from March 8th.
I'm very sorry, and I apologize with all my heart.
That pretty much sums it up.
Yeah.
Except it took 9 paragraphs to convey that.
Yeah. All right. A couple other quick things.
No more Vanderpump?
No, that's all I have. That's all I have on Scandival.
Scandival.
On
Sounds like a cruise line.
a recent episode of The View, Christina Ricci revealed that someone threatened to sue me once. She said, only because I didn't want to do this sex scene in a certain way. She said this came in response to a question about how Hollywood has changed for younger women. She said, us older ladies talk about it all the time. It's amazing to see that they don't necessarily have to go through the things we had to go through. They're able to say, I don't want to do this sex scene. I'm not going to be naked.
I can't tell you how depressing it is to hear that Christina Ricci calls herself older lady.
I know.
Are you kidding me?
I know.
She was a little kid.
I said they can set boundaries for themselves that we were never allowed to do.
What was that movie? Was it Black Snake Moan?
Yes.
Yeah.
The one where she's chained
Samuel
up?
L. Jackson.
Yeah.
And topless for that?
Well, she's...
Yeah.
I never saw it. Was it any good? Okay.
It's weird.
Last story. According to Variety, Dancing with the Stars alum Juliana Hough will be returning to the show to co-host the 32nd season alongside Alfonso Ribeiro. Has she ever co-hosted that, Kathy?
I think she
She's
was like
judged?
a guest judge before. She's never hosted it.
All right.
They're giving Tanya, right? Who's it, Banks? Is she,
Tyra Banks.
Tyra Banks?
She is...
the Bums Rush?
She's not returning. She says what she said.
Get out of here.
So who's out front with the judges? The host,
Alfonso Ribeiro.
Okay, and so she is the Brooke Burke. It was who used to do it, right? Was that who it was?
Yeah.
In the back with the dancers after they dance, talking to them.
Probably.
So they're both the way they have it now. They're they're both up front.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and then I think they trade off on who's back talking to the people.
I wish she would just dance again because she was probably one of my favorite dancers.
Really?
She is so good.
Yeah,
She
she's
was a
awesome.
singer.
Yeah.
No, she's
No.
a dancer.
No, she was.
She did try singing.
No, she was a dancer.
Thanks. Oh my God.
She said it is such an honor to be rejoining Dancing with the Stars as co-host. The show holds such a special place in my heart from the many years in different roles that I have had the privilege of being a part of.
Shut the f*** up!
Wow, Mark is upset today.
She is back at it. So there you go. All right, so we're ready to roll out the clips, y'all. Shrinking stars Harrison Ford as a shrink in his first ever comedic role. And here, writer and Ted Lasso star Brett Goldstein talks about how he recruited Ford for the project. And here we go.
We offered it to Harrison Ford almost like a joke, like, let's waste a week while we try and get Harrison Ford, and he says no, and then we'll move on to the realistic, getting on with our lives. He said yes. It was very quick as well, like it was almost too easy.
Shrinking is available on Apple TV now. It's funny because Brett Goldstein plays Roy Kent on Ted Lasso, who is constantly angry.
Yes.
All the time.
Gruff voice.
But Brett Goldstein as a person is like this happy. You can hear it in his voice.
Yeah.
He's like this smiling, happy guy. It's so contrary.
So who's watching this?
I am.
And do you like it?
I love it.
Really?
I love it. It has.
And is Harrison Ford funny?
He's great.
Yeah.
He's so good. He's such a refreshing, yeah, I just, you got to
Like
watch
the new
it.
Blac Chyna?
No. But like, his character is like super layered and, he comes off as like gruff and whatever. But, and I hate to draw comparisons to Ted Lasso because it's not Ted Lasso, but you get the vibes, the same sort of vibes from it. Like, it's a feel good.
Okay.
That's sort of encased in drama.
Okay.
I watched the first episode, and I'm going to go back for more. It's definitely.
Yep.
I just have to find the time to watch it. By the way, it's been renewed for a second season.
Great.
Nice.
At Apple TV Plus, which is excellent. All right, here's the next clip. Donald Glover shines a daunting light on obsessive fan behavior in the new thriller series called Swarm. And in this clip, stop looking at me, Swarm. Co-star Chloe Bailey.
Stop looking at me, Swan.
Co-star Chloe Bailey discusses her preparation for the role.
Even the offer to have a meeting with Donald, the casting director was like, watch The Piano Teacher and, just be refreshed on Atlanta. And I've always loved Atlanta. I just thought it was so genius and skilled with the writing. And I've never seen The Piano Teacher, right? So I really had no expectations about what it was about. I just thought it was a French film about a piano teacher. Man, was I mistaken.
Could you shut up?
Swarm is...
Stop looking at me, Swan.
So the word is that, is Billie Eilish in this as well? I think she's doing her dramatic debut.
I don't know.
And I saw a clip of her, and she looks very good.
Okay. Swarm is now available on Amazon.
It's too much to watch.
Prime. So go
Stop
see
looking
Swarm.
at me, Swan.
All right, there you go. That's what I have. The entertainment report this morning. All right, you're in.
Josh Groban can't catch a break.
No.
Hey, he had debuted in Sweeney Todd, right?
Yes.
One more take.
Oh, sure.
You raised me up. Shut the up.
Are we the only ones that get a kick out of that?
I think like
don't
Josh
know.
Groban, camera low, facing up with the light beaming from behind him, trying to be as inspirational as possible.
Yeah.
And Mark Summers in the audience.
Yeah. Kathy doesn't care for it.
Shut the up.
It's so much.
Okay.
It's all the time.
We are about nothing but excess.
Yes,
We
right.
beat everything into the ground and then grind it further.
Yep, that we do.
Correct.
Yeah.
All right. Well, listen. Well, we're excited to have an opportunity for you to experience what we did over the past few days, and we have a chance for you to win a trip to Universal Orlando Resorts. And the way this is going to work, and it's this way today through Friday. Listen at 8 a.m., and we're going to present the Preston and Steve Photo Hunt Challenge to you. You get a clue on air, and then you check out the photo gallery at WMMR.com. Listen later in the show to be the correct number caller and identify the photo and answer from the clue, and you can win a trip for two to Universal Orlando Resorts with flights provided by Spirit. And all the details are at WMMR.com. So we have another one coming up
Yes.
today.
So excited.
Excited about that.
Just can't hide it.
We also have Lorraine Bracco is going to be joining us on the show a little bit later on. We have your chance to win some stuff from our friends at Primo Hoagies. They're dropped off some gift cards. We'll give those away, and I can't wait to hear Nick's bathroom story. Apparently, that's something that we're going to be told in a little bit. We're going to take a break, and we'll be right back. Stay with us.
Preston and Steve on 93.3 WMMR.
It's MMR's local shot.
The Pennsylvania Department of Agriculture added the calorie pear, or Pyrus calorania, commonly called the Bradford pear tree, to a list of noxious weeds, plants that cannot be legally sold or cultivated in the state.
Wow. It adds the list that is populated by the durian and other?
Well, no, it's considered invasive. So this is these are the semen trees.
What?
Oh, I did not know that.
Yeah. So the popular non-native flowering fruit tree naturalizes, spreading from planted landscapes, crowding out other plants, and disrupting native ecosystems.
So the semen tree is considered an invasive species?
Check that, Nick. Double check and make sure the Bradford pear is the one we're talking about.
If you don't know, this is a a plant, a tree, I guess,
It's a
that
tree, yeah.
every year emits a smell that many have said, and I agree, smells like semen.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's them.
That's okay. So this is it. So it apparently crowds out other plants, disrupts native ecosystems. The ban on sale and cultivation will take effect on February 9th, with enforcement phased in over 2 years.
I'm surprised because landscapers will sell a lot of these. They'll use them in office parks and people's backyards and whatever. So this is a moneymaker for a lot of those places. I'm really surprised they came down with a ban.
Well, it's a beautiful tree.
Yeah.
And when it does create that scent, it's got these beautiful white blooms. It's just
Yeah, it
gorgeous.
looks gorgeous.
I have 3 of them in my backyard.
I have a weeping vagina in my backyard.
Oh, my goodness.
And it's, well, you know what it smells like, but it's just, it's beautiful.
Okay. Now you got me thinking of Pussy Willows. I wouldn't necessarily categorize this scent as noxious, though. I mean,
it is different.
If you are around a bunch of them, like I have been in proximity to several of them, and it's like overpowering. Now, not noxious to the scent of I can't breathe.
Yeah.
Right.
But definitely like, wow, this is overpowering. So, but it's apparently I guess it's taking up too much space. It's invading the area, and it's not native in the area. So, according to the agricultural secretary, the Calorie pear is another non-native plant that was brought to the country for its beauty and rapid growth without regard to its long-term potential harm to our environment and food supply.
I didn't realize it was that sort of situation. Nick, as you rightfully point out, it ends up being used in garden plants.
Oh, yeah.
They're sold a lot.
And
another one that I've heard people complain about because of the smell is the ginkgo tree, and they're really pretty as well. Especially in the fall, they turn like a bright yellow. But people sometimes refer to them as the stinko tree, and I believe like it's only the male of the species that stinks or whatever. But yeah,
we have a butthole bush by our front door, and the flowers are wonderful. But it does.
What does it smell like?
It smells like a butthole.
Is it year round or only in the spring?
No, it's like for 1 week.
Oh,
you know,
you can deal with that.
Is your butthole open?
Don't come over. It's butthole week.
Is your butthole sprouting?
Yes.
Oh my God.
The butthole's open.
What's your
and the scent
You've got to come by.
You've got to come.
It's
It only happens 1
intoxicating.
week out of the year when the
We'll
butthole's
sit
open.
between that and the semen plant.
All right, here you go. Here's some big news.
All right.
Kim Kardashian is making it clear, and I have a few Kim and Kanye stories here.
Oh, yeah.
Clear to Kanye wants to set healthy boundaries.
Healthy boundaries.
So, in an interview with Hollywood Unlocked that will be released today, West claims that Kardashian's security team wouldn't let him into her house with their daughter North after he picked the kids up from school one day. Now, a source told People that while it's true that West was not allowed inside the house that day, Kim's security team didn't stop him from seeing the kids, picking them up, or dropping them off. The source continued saying he can no longer just walk inside her home without her permission, and Kim has a right to privacy and is trying to set healthy boundaries. So
she's a lawyer, you know.
Those who have gone through divorces, I assume, deal with this particular issue, which is somebody just walking right in.
That has to change.
You've been doing
right?
it for years and years and years. However, if you've been married for a long time, and then all of a sudden it stops there, and you have to ring the doorbell, you have to knock, or something like that.
It might be uncomfortable, but that's part of the deal.
Yeah, exactly.
The nature of the relationship has changed, and though you would imagine Kanye would have an easy time adapting to change.
Right.
He's not, apparently.
Apparently, the need to set these boundaries arose from Kanye making, quote, recent unannounced visits to Kim's home. In the Hollywood Unlocked interview, West is quoted as saying... That's when he stops by? Yeah. Unannounced.
Yo.
Yeah. So West is quoted in the interview as saying, "Don't play with me. Don't play with my children. Ain't no security going to get in between me and my children, and you ain't going to gaslight me." End quote.
Okay. Hey, he
Don't
goes
play
by,
with my children. I thought you want people.
Yes, of course. So they grow up
to
healthy.
play. They like to play. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, he goes by Yee now, so wouldn't he announce himself Yee?
Yee.
You know, it echoes around that house because there's nothing in it.
There's nothing in it.
Yeah.
There's nothing to deaden the sound.
Yeah.
We have audio, Preston, if you'd like. He is.
All right, so this is about the song?
Yeah, yes.
So Kanye, this is part 2 of the story. Kanye called out Pete Davidson in his new song, The Game, with The Game, which is called Easy. The track dropped on Friday, and people across all corners of the internet promptly went to work dissecting the lyrics from Kanye's verse.
So here's a question, and this to me is indicative of a kind of person. He is in a relationship with someone else himself.
Yeah.
He's making out publicly with this other person. Why? Why is he going off the deep end about Pete Davidson? She's simply moving on as well. He's moving on. Why is it so bad that she's moving on?
His ego won't allow it. You know,
that has to be it.
Yeah, so there's nobody better than him, and his ego won't allow it. And
it's narcissism.
It is
It's pure
no
narcissism.
Doubt.
Yeah.
But did you
And
see that?
is she in their house?
Yes.
So that's probably where.
But they
it
have a
stems from.
multitude of houses, Kathy.
Right.
He has that ranch, and he actually bought a house, I think, diagonally across the street from her to be close to the kids.
Now, is this
But that's
the song?
probably the hard part. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like that was his house. That was where he lived too. So the fact now that he's got a knock on the door, which listen, yes, it needs to happen.
Yep.
They're not together anymore, but that's probably why he's having a hard time.
Steve, is this the song that they're listening to and like Madonna's in the thing? It's like there are all these people in a room and it's like him and Madonna and Antonio Brown. Like,
Are you talking about video footage?
There's video footage of them all listening to a song. And what's wild is Madonna's like the grandmom, and she's acting like the kid in this movie or in this video.
That imagery is troubling. But he specifically mentions Pete Davidson.
Yeah, he mentioned a bunch of things. I'm going to go through some of the lyrics in this song. So he talks about his divorce from Kim, and I'm quoting this. We having the best divorce ever. If we go to court together. Matter of fact, pick up your sis. We'll go to courts together. Meaning
Courtney.
You know what he did
Love
there?
it. I haven't heard lyrics this sharp since Poopity Scoop.
All right, co-parenting his kids. He writes, I watched 4 kids for like 5 hours today. I wear these Yeezy boots everywhere, even in the shower today. He rhymed today with today.
Yeah.
And by the way, he did a little drop on his own product line.
Self-promotion. Love it.
I got love for the nannies, but real family is better. The cameras watch the kids. Y'all stop taking the credit. Non-custodial dad, I bought the house next door. What you think the point of really being rich for?
Yeah.
All right.
That all makes incredible sense. So he doesn't want to besmirch the nanny staff, which he had a relationship with them as well. But he's saying Kim's not being the mother she needs to be because she's with that Pete Davidson.
All right. Then you have grappling with his kid's privilege. And he writes, he spits, when you give them everything, they only want more. Bougie and unruly, y'all need to do some chores. Rich-ass kids, this ain't your mama house. Climb on your brother's shoulders, get that top ramen out.
Ooh.
Okay.
So, all right, he had me at ramen.
He had me at ramen. God save me from that crash just so I can beat Pete Davidson's ass.
That's it.
And my new bitch bad, I know Illuminati mad.
Yeah, man.
How did he drag the Illuminati into it?
I don't know, but he's obviously a big fan of that point in history.
They mad, so he found out about it.
All right, we're looking at the video that Casey was talking about. Yeah, Madonna's over-emoting in this particular video. She's moving around a bit too much. She's making a spectacle of herself.
I'm 60 years old.
Stop
I
it.
got to act like a.
Okay.
And what's the context of this?
Well,
video?
she's made them snickerdoodles because she's grandma.
Oh, all right. That was nice of her.
Is anyone want cookies?
I would.
Snoop, do you?
That's pretty much the only reason they invited her. Yeah.
They're piping hot and they're great with milk.
All right. Let her in.
All right, last bit
Yo,
of...
who let your grandma in?
Last bit of lyrics are his public romance with Julia Fox, and he wrote, Oh, no, that was it.
That's it.
That's it?
Yeah, that was it. Talking about I know my new bitch bad.
New bitch bad.
I know Illuminati
So
bad.
beautiful.
So there you go.
My
That's
new bitch bad.
the latest on the two.
It's definitely a study in narcissism because she has a relationship, he has a relationship, move on.
Yeah, exactly.
Yee.
If you you guys didn't know, Kathy had the Rona. She got past it, but there are some lingering effects, and a lot of people have dealt with this lack of taste thing.
Would it be safe to say that it licked her ass?
I think it licked her ass. Now, if you don't know about that, she had texted someone that it kicked her ass and accidentally typed in licked her ass. And this wasn't a close personal friend either. It was more of a casual relationship. And
I love it.
Took it to another level. But so your sense of taste, at what point? Because listen, when you get a cold, when you get the flu, it's standard that happens, but it doesn't linger afterwards. So did this happen at the onset of symptoms, or did this happen later on?
No, so I was like a few days into having COVID, and I had congestion too. So, sometimes, like you said, like if you have congestion, you have a cold or whatever, like, taste won't be there. So that's what I kept telling myself. I was like, no, I think it's that, because there was like a little bit still there. So I'm like, maybe it's just the congestion, like normal, and I'm not really losing my taste. No. And then flash forward, now we're a few weeks in, and my taste is, I would say my taste is like 0 to 10%. I don't know. Maybe today I'll see. I thought maybe at one point it was coming back. I had yellow mustard. I told you guys this, but I don't know if it was like whatever. I don't know. Whatever.
You don't know if it was like the spices in the mustard,
right, exactly.
as opposed to its actual flavor.
Yeah.
It's like it's nothing you would be able to compare it to in life. I mean, it's such
So
a unique
weird.
thing to have happen.
Yeah.
And so for the most part, people have what they call the long Rona. Still, even they eventually get there.
93.3 WMMR.
Thanks, Kath. You wanted to mention something, Kathy, concerning Kathy's cuts.
Yeah, so I've been getting a ton of emails. People want to know if it's happening. It is happening. We'll release all of the details probably, I don't know, in the next week or two. But we had to make a couple of changes with the event, and we're looking for another salon that wants to be involved. I get emails all of the time about this, and we kind of have been set for years. We've had the same salons over the years. So if anybody is interested, send me an email, Kathy@WMMR.com, and I would highly recommend, if you're a salon in Jersey, send me an email, because we've never gone to New Jersey. So
that'd be great.
Yeah, if there's anybody over there that would be interested in taking place, I can send you all of the details, what it entails, when you email me, and then we'll see if maybe your location would work out for us.
How many stylists or chairs do you think you need?
Right. So we typically look for anywhere between, at one salon, between like 8 and 11.
Okay.
We would love if you had 11 stylists that would donate their time and do this. But sometimes that's not always possible.
Right. Yeah, because some are smaller. You
Right.
only have a couple of chairs.
Yeah,
And so,
yeah.
all right.
And the duration is during the morning show and a little bit later on.
Correct.
So,
yeah. So the duration would be, usually we start at 5:30, and it usually goes till about
That's AM, by the way.
Yeah, AM 11 or 11:30 in the morning, and then obviously there's cleanup. So a lot of times the salons either have to close for the day, or they will close for the morning and then open after everything's cleaned up.
Cool. All right. Reach out to Kathy at WMMR.com. All right. So we got back last night from our trip in Florida. And did the standard, go into the airport, dealing with that whole deal.
You and I managed to score middle seats, which we were really hoping for.
Meanwhile, Marissa, all 5 feet of Marissa, sat in she had a window seat in the emergency exit aisle.
By the way,
all the room in the world.
What flight attendant looked at you and said, "Yeah, you're the one who's going to rescue everyone if all hell breaks loose"?
It's funny you say that, Steve, because as I was sitting there, I slept from the moment I got on there to the whole time, and I decided that they would have looked at me and said, "You stand here and make sure nobody gets in the way. Just hold everyone back." For the record, Preston,
I know.
as soon as I got it, I looked at you and my face dropped, and he's like, "What?" And I was like, I got a window seat. Do you want it? And you're like, "No, I can't take it." And are you sure? I wanted to give it to you.
Yeah.
That's sweet.
It was nice, but I didn't want to take her seat. And then later on, we're on the plane, and she sends me a picture of her legs all stretched out. I'm like, I didn't know it was an emergency exit aisle.
I would have totally taken it from you then.
Yeah. Neither did I.
Yeah.
But I'm wondering how that works, because Marissa got the option to bail out of the flight, take $1,000 from the airline, and give her seat to somebody else. So they obviously didn't have enough seats on there, and then you, without having to pay for it, got put in the emergency exit aisle.
Yeah, I'm assuming the timeline was like, 12 hours out, they were offering me $1,000. And then by the time
What am I bid?
we got to the airport, it was down to like $250.
Oh.
And then I never had a seat the whole time. I was checked in, but it said, go to your gate to get your seat.
Do you know they were calling your name?
Why didn't you tell me that?
Because you weren't there.
We were eating lunch.
We were at Ruby Tuesdays having vegan burgers. And then when I got up, they probably were sitting... They were probably holding out to see if anybody would have paid to take those
That's
seats
what they
last
do.
minute. And then when nobody did, they just filled them.
Okay.
Why wouldn't you tell me they were calling my name?
Yeah, why
Because you
didn't
weren't
text?
there.
You could have texted her.
You could have texted us.
Yeah, I guess I could have.
By the way, Preston, I
Marissa Magnata, an irate woman is looking for you.
I had a window seat in a exit aisle as well.
All right, well, anyhow, it's all behind us now.
I didn't text.
Water under the bridge.
I didn't text her because I was so traumatized by the story Nick told me.
All right, and this is where we're going to now. Nick apparently has some sort of a story to share with us from yesterday.
After this story happened, I sat on it for a good 45 minutes because I didn't quite know how to process it.
Okay.
We all got to the airport.
Dear Jesus.
We all got to the airport at different times. Steve and Kyle and I arrived, I think, first, and those guys had bags to check. So you guys checked your bags. I went to grab a bite to eat, and so I was hanging out. Steve, I did not go through the security area, and then once you guys got through, I was like, you know what? I'll find them on the other side.
Right. It was a little obtuse.
It was
because it's one of those detached. The terminals are actually detached from the. You have to take the tram over.
And once
problem.
once I got separated from you guys, I was like, you know what? I'll meet them at the gate, right? And then the security line was actually kind of long yesterday, so processing through all that took a while. So I grabbed a bite. I was just sitting there scrolling through Instagram or whatever, and I go to the bathroom. And here's where the story begins. I go to the bathroom, and I walk into the bathroom, and it smells terrible. Now, that's not uncommon when going into the bathroom, but this one, it was like pungent and strong and fecal. And I look to, I'm standing at the urinal. Fair warning, this is just disgusting.
Okay, all right, heads up.
And I'm standing at the urinal, and to my right, I see a guy with at the bottom of the stall. His legs are splayed out underneath, like you can see his legs splayed out.
Yeah.
And then I hear him defecate. Yeah. And I'm like, what the hell is going on? Not, mind you, into the toilet, but onto the floor.
I'm sorry.
He's crapping on the floor. He's in a stall.
In a stall.
Crapping on the floor.
Okay, hold on. I have a question. You said legs splayed out.
Like you can see his legs spread out.
Sitting on the floor.
Not sitting on the floor. But you can just like see his legs spread, but not. Like I thought maybe he was like had pulled his pants down and then was like pulling them up. He's positioned in a way that's not normal for somebody who is sitting on the toilet. And it turns out the reason why is he's not actually sitting on the toilet. He's to the left of it. And so I'm like, what the hell? And all of this is you're trying to like process what's happening, right?
Because it's pretty easy to get it in the toilet.
To hit the hole.
Yeah,
the stall itself not that wide.
Even your worst golfer can nail that one.
But I'm so sorry. I'm trying to figure out how he is like
positioned.
Right. Would his hiney be facing the toilet or the wall of the stall?
All right, I'm in the stall, right?
Yeah.
And here's the toilet sitting behind me. And so Nick is standing over here, and I'm the dude who's gonna crap on the floor.
Right.
And here's what happens. His legs are like this, spread out this way to the right of the
He's
toilet.
shifted to the side of the toilet.
Right.
Which there's barely enough room to do, I would imagine.
It's exactly.
Yeah.
There's not a lot of room in that stall. It's a normal stall. It's not the handicap stall or whatever.
That's what I was wondering initially if he was holding onto the bar.
Yeah.
So then I hear him run out and then run back in. And when he ran out and then ran back in,
hey guys,
he slams the door. So clearly something's going on. He's embarrassed.
Oh, no.
And but what he ran out to do was grab as many paper towels as he could, and then he runs back into the stall and he starts cleaning up some of it, but not all of it. So I'm watching this happen, and I cannot believe it in my brain what I'm actually seeing at the moment. I get to the sink to wash my hands after urinating. And I'm looking
At this
in the
point,
mirror.
do you even need to do that now?
I would have ran out of there.
Right. I mean, that thought crossed my mind. But I'm standing like this, Steve, and you're the stall behind me back over here. And I'm looking in the mirror like I'm looking at Preston, and I'm looking back over my shoulder, and I'm looking at the floor, and it's covered in poop.
Was it loose?
Covered, yes. It was not.
God.
He had diarrhea.
Okay.
But so here's my question. When getting into the bathroom stall, why that approach? What possessed him?
Yeah.
So I text. So then all of this happens, and I walk out of the bathroom, And I'm like, you know what, man? Do I just tell everybody on the show now? Because I wanted to tell you guys what I had just seen. And I had to sit down and think about it for a while.
All right. So just out of pure curiosity, did you get a look at this person?
No, because he sprinted out. And then I thought, do I tell like the cops? Do I tell airport security? Like, is this
Food Patrol?
Is this an offense of something that like, well, or just like, is he in need of assistance at this point? Like, did something happen to this guy where he might need medical assistance?
Well, you
Code
tell
11 Deuce dropped in the. Yeah, what would you? How would you?
I would tell somebody. I would tell somebody because it needs to. At the very, very least, it needs to be cleaned up with some industrial cleaner.
Yeah.
Right.
I chose not to do that.
Oh, wow.
I didn't know what to do. Casey, I was like,
they should have some sort of like at a train where you pull on a cord or something.
I mean, I probably should have gone to security, but at the moment, I was so overwhelmed by what I had just seen.
That was amazing,
and I also didn't want to embarrass the guy any further. Like, I didn't want people to have to go in and like I don't know. I just didn't know what to do.
Well, maybe a helpful hint, Nick.
Maybe
like,
I made the roll call.
Like next time, try to go in the toilet.
Yes.
That would be nice.
Open up the stall and see what's going on.
I'm wondering if he had some sort of physical malady or something that he was trying to balance himself. It seems damn near impossible to miss the toilet. And as Preston pointed out, there's not a lot of room between the toilet and the stall wall.
And so some of it started getting mopped up by the paper towels and whatever else they had brought back in. And yeah, I mean, like,
how long did you stay and watch?
As long as it took to wash my hands and to get the hell out.
Not that this is an excuse or anything like that, but have you ever tried to clean something up and realize that you're making more of a mess by trying to clean it up?
Yeah.
That's what the guy was doing.
He was kind of like moving it around while doing it.
And at that point, he's like, all right, I'm done.
You, sir, with the ponytail, could you help me with the...
I thought maybe like at that point, he's probably going to have to throw away half of his pants or his wardrobe at this point. I don't know how it wasn't all covered.
Like, how did he get on a flight?
That's what I was
after
thinking.
That?
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, I wasn't through security yet. So maybe it was an employee of the airport, or maybe it was just somebody who was dropping somebody off, because I was still on the entrance side of the security line. I had not gone through security. So maybe he wasn't even flying that day.
It's the wild, wild west sometimes in those bathrooms.
Yes,
and
it
after it had happened and after I watched all of it, I just needed to put it behind me and move on with my day and get through security and get the hell out of that city.
Do you remember?
You go to church. I know they have like some sort of like little church set up in the airport.
Yeah.
Hey, do you remember if it was Terminal A or Terminal B?
It was in between. Well, so when you walk into Terminal A, the food court was in between the two. I don't know that airport very well.
That could have been the culprit.
Well, I just know that Preston and I had used a bathroom as soon as we dropped off in Terminal A. We dropped off the car at the car rental, walked through the doors, and then we used the bathroom that's directly to the right there.
It was upstairs before the security line, but by the food court. In Orlando.
There was a Casey. There was a urinal that had a big plastic bag over it. Remember, because it was out of order. So you would have remembered that probably. If that
how
was,
populated was the bathroom at the time this went down?
I don't know, medium amount. Like there were a few people.
Did you guys all agree to meet back there a year?
Did anybody else make eye contact with somebody else? Like, what is going on? No, nothing.
I didn't want to.
Was there any high fiving?
I didn't want to have any human interaction with anybody at that point. I wanted to get out of there. I wanted to put it behind me.
I would have gone.
Talk about it on the radio the next day.
Got into the other stall, Nick, peered over the top. What's going on in here?
Hey, buddy.
All right?
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it just was, it was a new one. I had never experienced that before.
I've seen people, a couple of times defecating on the street.
Yeah.
I remember seeing a guy get up on a garden box and take a dump. This was years ago in downtown Manhattan. But I've never seen diarrhea like that, especially when you are nary inches from a receptacle, toilet.
I think I saw a disgruntled hotel manager take a dump in a suitcase.
Yeah.
If I remember correctly.
Was it a documentary?
It was a documentary.
Hawaii.
Man, I try not to
laugh.
Well, no. I try not to use when I take a dump, I like to be in familiar surroundings.
Right. Like above a toilet.
I only use a public toilet for that if I really have to go.
Sure.
And I sometimes assume when I go to a place like an airport and I see loads of people filling up the stall that they might be in that exact same situation as well.
You're
it's
not
just like, I'm sorry, I just have to do this now.
You're not a hoverer, though, right?
Oh, no, I don't care about that.
You go in
that
all
doesn't
in,
bother me.
as do I.
It's more... It's more the sounds and so on that I'm
Right.
a little embarrassed by. If I have to make sounds, whether they come from my mouth or my ass,
Like
because
this.
I will occasionally grunt if I'm having a difficult time.
Somebody texted this in, and this actually might have merit. I don't know if it's true or not, but this
All right.
person says that the guy in the stall might have been changing a colostomy bag because sometimes those
that's
can spill
possible.
out. And
I was going to mention Crohn's or colitis. Yeah.
And so I want to know and I don't want to know because if it's a colostomy bag, that's again it's understandable. And if it wasn't that, I'm like, what led you to this low state?
Yeah, let me.
It was so.
Hang on, Alicia wanted to comment on that very type of thing. Hi, Alicia. Good morning.
Hey, how are you guys doing?
We're doing good. It says you are a nurse.
Yes, I'm
Okay.
a nurse. Been working for 15 years. In the early part of my career, I worked at a nursing home, and I had this woman who unfortunately had a colostomy bag, and she would call me. She knew I was on at 3 o'clock. Alicia, hurry, convert my bag, she'd say. It would fill with gas to the point where sometimes it would just pop.
Oh, my God.
Oh, my goodness.
So all over the place. So, I mean, my
Can
first-
you use those for gender reveals? That would be.
Look, I'm going to eat nothing but blueberries.
I'm going to eat blueberries. It's a boy.
Yeah, and I mean, and if there was a very strong odor as well, that's another indicator that it might have been a colostomy bag.
Interesting.
You know what, Alicia? And listen, it's difficult for people to handle those things, and my heart goes out to anybody. A friend of mine had to deal with one for a while, a couple friends, and it's no walk in the park. That actually sounds like a viable culprit here.
Yeah,
Nick.
because my grandfather had one, and what Alicia was describing, he went through as well. There would be times where there was gas in the bag, and so you would kind of have to make it fart a little bit.
Burp
you know?
it, yeah.
Burp it.
like bagpipes.
Let the air escape. And the poor woman's roommate, she would always have like 15 air fresheners because the smell was pretty intense.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
Like, are you opening that bag? Yeah. My dad's like, no smoking.
Right.
There should be some sort of bagpipe type thing that allows you to right?
Get some music out.
Right.
Yeah.
The Highland.
One of those ice bags that you put on at the hospital where you fill it with ice and then clamp it.
Yes.
The clip, that's literally what they're doing. And then there's also an area that's called the stoma where you adhere the bag with special powders and adhesive, and sometimes that falls off unexpectedly, and you can have.
No, there are a wealth of issues that can arise, obviously. But yeah, you raise a good point. I mean, I hate to think that was the case.
And that the indication about the smell that she was describing, I remember that with my grandfather, and it's like it's not just a normal bathroom smell. It's much more intense.
On a comedy level, it'd be great if you just missed the toilet. And when I go to sleep tonight, that's what I'm gonna think of.
Yeah.
So
sorry.
That might make sense because you said the guy seemed when he came out quickly
Panicked.
and maybe
He was
panicked.
distraught.
Yeah.
He ran out and then he ran back in with a whole bunch of paper towels.
Oh no!
Look at this.
And
right.
imagine you get that on your clothes and you got to fly and oh man, what do you do?
Say you just done a morning show and you.
Yeah. Oh God. Hang on a second. Let me go to this is separate from this, but I will go to Barbara because this sounds disturbing. Hi, Barbara. Good morning.
Hi. Yeah, my mom used to work at Penny's in the King of Prussia Mall.
Yes.
And people would go into the fitting room and take a poop right in the fitting rooms.
They would take a dump in the fitting rooms.
Oh my God!
That's where I pee. No, that's not what it's for. It's for peeing. You know what? I have no doubt that's the case, Barbara. I mean,
Why? What is wrong
so
with
let's
people?
say, do you think when that was that a product of I have no time to wait, I have no place to go, or do people just is that a kink? Would someone get off on going and doing that?
I don't know.
Yeah, I think it was some kind of weird fetish or something, or getting off on like having to, that the employee would go in there and find that.
I think you might be right because there's a load of bathrooms in the mall.
You know, there's this gal at the shop. She's really cute.
Yeah.
She
gonna
works
like
there.
me.
I think I'm going to poop in the
She's going
change.
to notice.
I left something for you in the fitting room. I can't afford a Vermont teddy bear,
She's so going to notice me now.
but I molded it to look like one.
Oh my God.
I love you.
There's a lot. Again, colostomy bag, not your fault.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Willingly going in to take a dump in a fitting room,
That's
your
another
fault.
story. That's your fault, without question. Oh my God. Let me see. I'm not sure what this is. Let me go to Laura. Hey, Laura. Good morning.
Good morning.
Hey.
Oh my gosh. Thank you for taking my call.
Oh, absolutely.
I'm so excited.
Yay.
The guy had C. diff. So C. diff is this explosive watery diarrhea. It's spread by spores. You got to wash your hands with soap, a lot of bleach. And I mean, I'm a nurse. I've almost been shit on by people.
wait,
we can't say that word.
Hang on, Laura. Yeah, you can't say it. You're a nurse, for crying out loud.
You know all the technical terms. So, Laura, are you suggesting that Nick's encounter was with a man who is experiencing this?
With it's such a pungent, disturbing odor when you go in there, and I mean, it is like water bursting out of people.
Did that have that sort of?
I mean, and the description that Laura's giving is pretty accurate because it was kind of like
Nick. Show me the video again.
All over the floor.
But why would he be to the side of the toilet? Like the colostomy bag makes more sense to me.
He was probably in a rush, and I've seen this at the hospital. You're in a rush. You're trying to get to the toilet. They'll be calling for help, and then all the sudden, it is like rushing down their legs.
Wow. And it's called C. diff?
C. diff. There's a much longer name.
Okay.
There's C. diff and Big Whoop.
Wow.
No, but maybe she's right, man. Maybe
medical care.
Maybe it started before he even got into the stall.
Just had a big whoop in the bathroom.
Wow. Okay. Well, thank you, Laura. Appreciate it.
Wow.
Thank you, guys.
If you have these conditions, and obviously one of the charities that I support is Crohn's and Colitis Foundation and A Mother's Wish, and so this is real life for some people. They have no control.
Height of compassion and empathy. Taking a dump in a fitting room, not so much.
Yes, that's just not fair.
Yes, that's where I pee.
I will go to Sue next. Hey, Sue. Good morning.
Hi. Good morning. How are you?
Wonderful, Sue. What's up?
So I'm a teacher in a city, and so we have the kids will go to the bathroom and leave lots of stuff in the bathroom. Sometimes they'll go in the classrooms, but the absolute worst is the teachers in the teacher faculty lounge bathroom.
What?
I have found poop on the floor. I found it on the toilet seats. We've had teachers that have gone to the bathroom in the toilet. It looks like something an animal has left behind and not flushed it.
So, Sue, considering what we've heard so far, I would give at least a star to the person who got it on the toilet, at least. So that's in the ballpark. But did you say that students will go to the bathroom in the classrooms?
They have. They have on occasion.
Accidentally or just, I'm going to, okay.
We're talking about little children?
Younger kids. No, they've done it on purpose.
Oh,
Some
wow.
Done it on purpose.
I remember I've told the traumatic story of going out to look at the pollution in a field out back of our school, elementary school. I was in kindergarten, and I had to go back to the bathroom and ran back, and the teacher had locked the bathroom door, and I peed my pants, and it haunted me for so long.
Yeah, man.
Listen, sometimes I'll walk into the bathroom here in this building and there'll be stuff on the toilet seat and I get so mad. I'm like,
come on, man.
Come on.
Are
listen.
you not an adult?
Sometimes, listen, I
already ate.
I get that some people will hover. You know, they just don't want their skin to touch.
Kathy,
and I understand that. But if you are going to hover because you have certain hang-ups about, then you better clean up after yourself.
I agree. There's a sense of civility. One thing that drives me crazy about this, and mind you, it's on the more antiseptic side, but when someone puts a toilet seat condom down and doesn't take it off when they're done, that's just common courtesy.
I agree.
I also, when people use the toilet, not the urinal, to go pee-pees, put the toilet seat down.
Or doing number two in the urinal.
Yeah, you
Make sure you scoop it out.
Yes.
That's what those ladles are for.
Like Randy Quaid and Kingpin.
Right.
Yeah. I can't figure some things out for myself.
I wonder if you were absolutely desperate and there's no way it's stopping.
Oh, I would use
and all the stalls are full. I would.
At least it has running water.
Be better than the floor.
And to me, that's in the pecking order of defecation stops in the average bathroom. Toilet, obviously, a winner. It's a comfortable old friend. We know it well. Urinal, second, and then the sink last.
What about trash can?
Even trash can, because
trash can
what you would do, though, when you were done, hopefully if it had a liner, take the can out yourself, tie it up, and give it to someone as a gift.
Gotcha.
I made this.
I found a puppy.
This is homemade. Hang on, let me go
you like banana bread.
I'm going to go to John. John, you are on the air. Good morning.
Good morning, guys. How are you?
Good. What's up, buddy?
So I am also a teacher at a high school in New Jersey, and I got to agree with, I think her name was Stu. Teachers are worse than students.
Really?
The faculty bathrooms, oh, my God. It is terrible what I find in there. It's insane. Like, there are some times I can't even walk into the bathroom because the smell is coming out of the bathroom itself. Like I have to walk around to another stall.
John, is
bathroom in the school.
it just repugnant bathroom habits, or I mean, if someone's own product or waste product is just vile in its nature, they can't help that. But are you saying that they are practicing less than cleanly habits in the bathroom?
Oh, all over the place.
Wow.
They don't flush.
Wow.
It's sometimes on the floor. Like sometimes there's number one all over the floor. It's insane. And these are people that teach students how to be.
That's
adults.
ridiculous.
Does that make you think less of your coworkers when you see that?
See, I don't know who it is.
Yeah.
So I can't think less.
So everybody's
it's
a
like-
suspect.
So that's
at
why
that point.
you need to put a camera in there.
Yeah.
If I did that.
Yeah. All right. Thank you, John. Appreciate it. I actually, not only do I tidy up my own mess in around the toilet bowl.
Yeah.
I will tidy up if it's a mess. I mean,
As will
I
I.
think as a little courtesy.
I'll take the bullet on it. You know what
I'll take some toilet paper and kind of wipe it down. I just, come on, man.
Or the thing that I hate is when you go to clean your hands, and I don't know why they do this, but they have, you shake off your hands over the sink, and then they have the removed toilet, the towel dispenser, but you're still going to get water on the floor.
Yeah.
Why don't they put those above the sink or to the right of the sink in the same indented area?
Yeah.
Why, and then what I'll do is if it's too wet, I'll wipe off the floor a little bit. You're right. It's a common courtesy.
But Press, when
And then I go crap in a fitting room.
when there is a little bit of a mess and it's dried on the toilet seat, do you take your fingernail and scrub it off a little bit?
Well, first I'll lick my finger.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And then, so.
Oh, I've eaten there.
Yeah.
Gotta be respectful.
Yeah.
No, yesterday we all had to share a bathroom for the broadcast. So like when any of us would come in and out, it made sense for me, if Kathy was coming in afterwards for her to first apologize and then to, clean
Well,
it.
Kathy walked out before me and said, I wrecked the place. You're going to have.
Give it a while.
Yeah, you may want to take a few laps.
I went in after Kathy, and the seat was still warm, and I felt like we had a connection.
No, it was not because I did not sit.
You've done hang on.
We've done ass to ass.
I'm gonna go to Steve, who has a colostomy bag and can explain a little bit to us. Hey, Steve. Good morning.
What do you want to know?
Well, first of all, what condition do you have? Why did you have to get a colostomy?
I had ulcerative colitis for 30 years, and then I finally
Yeah.
my whole large intestine died, and they had to remove everything.
Oh, yeah. So sorry to hear that, man.
Yeah,
But I had more of a mess when I had the ulcerative colitis. I could take you on a poop tour of the whole Delaware Valley on every side street I ever had to go on.
Oh, I'm sure, man, and painful too, right?
Oh yeah, it was. I had Crohn's ankleitis. So
Oh my
so
goodness.
But
Go ahead.
as drunk as I've always been since I had this bag, I never missed the toilet.
Okay.
It's just, there had to be something worse than what that guy, or what I'm going through, that guy had in the airport.
Do you think it sounded like the nurse who called in and said that of this condition that was... yeah.
Yeah, the C. diff, it sounded like that, or some really bad Chinese food.
Okay. Yeah, I've had that too.
Have you ever heard war stories from other people who have had similar conditions to you, to what I experienced in the bathroom yesterday? Have you ever heard anything like that?
No, most people are embarrassed to talk about it.
Yeah, I guess so.
They don't put it on their dating apps.
Oh, yeah, and I'm single, so it's horrible.
Dude. Let me ask you: is there anything on the horizon that they're working on, or is there any potential for you eventually being able to live sans colostomy bag?
Unless I get reincarnated, no.
Okay, man.
Yeah, I mean his large intestine is
Shut
gone.
down, yeah.
Yeah, I'm much better and much healthier now than what I was prior to this.
Well, that's
But
good, man.
Even when you're a little kid in school, that's the first thing that everybody really ridicules you for, is when you make a mess.
Yes.
So
I was mocked.
As you're growing up and as you're an adult, nobody wants to talk about.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
And Steve, you said you're single. How much does that get in the way? Because it's eventually got to come up if you're dating somebody. Is that...
Oh, it does. It's like second date, and I tell them, before we wind up doing anything, and poof, I'm ghosted. So,
dude.
Is that sometimes a deal killer?
Oh, definitely a deal killer.
Oh, man.
This may sound stupid, but is if you were with someone who had one as well, I mean, is that...
There are websites that are like Obstinates where you can potentially find somebody to go out with, but you're talking to somebody that's in California.
Right.
There's very few people around here, or very few support groups around here that could help anybody in the similar situation, just to find people to commiserate with.
Well, you're dealing with a tough chore there, but it sounds, as you say, you're better now than you were when you were going through it initially.
Oh, definitely.
Okay.
How about what? Now I'm having an idea. We get a bunch of singles together and we have the colostomy ball.
Yeah.
There you go.
All right. We'll think about that,
It would be
Steve.
a colostomy bag.
Yeah.
The colostomy bag. Yeah, well, yeah. What's your bag, man?
What's your bag, baby? All right. Well, thank you, Steve. We
Yeah.
appreciate it, man.
No problem. Good luck to everybody.
All right,
Thank
buddy.
you.
Talk to you later.
We
All
can
right,
do it
well,
in an emptied swimming pool.
Maybe. Be easy to hose it down. Well, that's unfortunate for that person, Nick, if that is indeed the case. But
that really those explanations we got sound like that's what I was witnessing yesterday.
Yeah. By the way, this somebody texted and said I had C. diff while having a colostomy bag, and that is rough. Cleanup is no fun.
Wow, could you imagine that?
And it says, but C. diff is mega contagious.
Yeah, I didn't know
Yes.
about it until just now.
It was, she was saying, I forget, was it Alicia, the nurse who was talking about it, said that you have to wash your hands. It's very much...
Oh.
Yeah. What's sea biscuit then, Preston?
That's a horse.
Okay.
Yeah.
You ever have one of those in a stall?
Not that I've seen.
Oh, man.
But
I'm there.
Sometimes it's felt like it.
I look and I see 4 hooves on the floor.
Right.
Do not go in there.
Hey, I have one last call because Christine's been on hold for like 25 minutes
All
or
right.
something like that. Let me go to her. Hi, Christine. Good morning.
Hi.
Hey, what's up, Christine?
Not much. Driving to school. I'm a teacher.
All right,
So,
what's your story you want to share?
So I was working a second job to get my daughters through college, and I was working at Sunoco, and a woman walked into the ladies' room, rushed in, and then rushed out, and a little while later, someone said the bathroom's a mess, and we went in there, and it was explosive all over the bathroom.
Wow.
And so, we had to close the bathroom, and we would get like raves about how clean our bathrooms were.
Yeah.
And so this was like really not good. So my colleague and I, we had to get on our hands and knees and scrub down the whole bathroom.
Wow.
It was really disgusting.
Wow.
So,
And did any of it make it to the toilet?
I guess it was just everywhere. It was on the seat. It was down the wall. It was on the floor. It was around the bowl. Like it was pretty bad.
I guess.
So,
Wow, that's nasty.
Yeah.
All right.
yeah.
When
Thanks, Christine. I guess if that would happen to me, I would have to own up to it and say, look, this happened. I will clean it up.
Yeah.
Don't let anybody go in there. But then again, there may be some people who are just way too embarrassed to go and say something like that. You know what I mean?
There's a way to handle it.
All right.
Oh, yeah.
Listen, I'm with a woman named Kathy. She just left the bathroom. I love her dearly.
But she has this thing.
She's very embarrassed.
Hear me out.
Yeah. When I worked at Dunkin' Donuts, that was 24 hours, 7 days a week. Dunkin' Donuts open, and where we were, the bathrooms were kind of the after the bars let out and so on and so forth. I was the porter. That was the custodian name. And I had to do my fair share of that. But I remember one time clearly, Preston, it was not only that, it was blood. It was somebody had been injured, and I don't know what happened, but they did at least give you sort of quasi hazmat things to clean that, because you don't know,
right? Yeah. We're talking about bodily fluids.
Yes.
And, wow.
Yep.
And near Munchkins.
Interesting, Nick. That was that must have been pretty wild to experience.
Yeah. So Orlando Airport. Sorry.
Yeah.
To deal with that.
Listen, they also have killer other things to recommend it, so don't worry if you're afraid of the bathrooms.
Right.
Speaking.
Orlando.
speaking of Orlando, when we come back from this break, I'm going to have a clue for you to go on our little photo hunt and maybe end up at Universal Orlando Resorts. We have a trip for two, so we'll give you the clue and what you need to look for, and you'll call in later on in the show when I tell you to be the designated caller with the correct answer, and you are on your way to that trip, to that wonderful experience that we just had. We're going to take a break, come back in a second. Bizarre File up when we return.
Preston and Steve on 93.3 WMMR.
93.3 WMMR.
With this lack of taste thing.
Would it be safe to say that it licked her ass?
I think it licked her ass. Now, if you don't know about that, she had texted someone that it kicked her ass and accidentally typed in licked her ass. And this wasn't a close personal friend either. It was more of a casual relationship. And
I love it.
Took it to another level. But so your sense of taste, at what point? Because listen, when you get a cold, when you get the flu, it's standard that happens, but it doesn't linger afterwards. So did this happen at the onset of symptoms, or did this happen later on?
No, so I was like a few days into having COVID, and I started. I had congestion too. So sometimes, like you said, like if you have congestion, you have a cold or whatever, like taste won't be there. So that's what I kept telling myself. I was like, no, I think it's that, because there was like a little bit still there. So I'm like, maybe it's just the congestion, like normal, and I'm not really losing my taste. No, and then flash forward, now we're a few weeks in, and my taste is, I would say my taste is like 0 to 10%. I don't know. Maybe today I'll see.
Yeah.
I thought maybe at one point it was coming back. I had yellow mustard. I told you guys this, but I don't know if it was like whatever. I don't know. Whatever.
You don't know if it was like the spices in the mustard,
right,
that,
exactly.
as opposed to its actual flavor.
Yeah.
It's like it's nothing you would be able to compare it to in life. I mean, it's such
so
a unique
weird.
thing to have happen.
Yeah.
And so for the most part, people have what they call the long Rona. Still, even they eventually get their taste back, but it can be a while.
God,
I've seen stories of people that have gone like a year without having taste. My grandmother, this was a long time ago, went years a loss of taste.
Is that right? What
and
caused
then
it?
It just came back.
Right.
I don't know. We never found out.
And now she's a food critic.
No, she's dead.
Oh, okay.
But anyway, she couldn't taste anything. And then it just came back around one day.
What's weird here, and not to like sound too alarming here, but there is something cerebral going on there, which is like a little bit scary, don't you think?
So I heard a doctor talk about it and why, and it all stems from the nose and like the blood vessels that are in the nose.
The nose.
And again, I just watched like a quick video, so hopefully that's accurate. But that's what he was saying, and like my sense of smell, I think I have a little bit of it. Like I would say maybe like 25%. Like if I stick my nose in something, I might be able to identify.
Well, they go hand in hand.
Yeah.
I mean, so your olfactory senses inform your taste to some degree.
Ooh.
I don't know what the percentage is.
Hey, if you were going to lick someone's ass, now is the time to do it.
No,
This is the time to do it.
We can give away mixed martial arts tickets.
Yeah. All right, so what we've decided to do, and actually it was Kathy's idea, we're going to do a taste test this morning of some various things and see if she can identify. Now, they have various consistencies to them, so that might be a clue into what you might be tasting. Right. But nonetheless, we want to see if you can identify. And some of these things are very strong flavors. We're not throwing anything.
All right.
You're not going to taste anything effed up.
Yeah, like toilet water.
Yeah, we're not doing
But
that.
you wouldn't
It's
know
all
what that
legit.
tastes like anyway.
It's all edible, and
Or
you'll
like,
be fine.
Is there a
foot
chance?
shavings?
Yeah,
None
foot
of
shavings.
that.
Thank
No,
you.
Is there a chance that this might, because of the wide variety to her palate, is it possible this might kickstart your taste back up?
Ooh.
Possibly.
I also read a lot about that. People trying to do that using like pepper, and,
Right,
and there was
yeah.
another thing where
Yes.
if you like burn an
A burnt orange.
peel. Yeah,
Carter told me about it yesterday. He's like, "Ooh, there's this thing," and I saw it, and I was like, "Really?" And he goes, "He goes, hang on." He looks at me, and goes, "Oh, it's not real. Never mind.
It's not real."
Yeah, so-
like people were trying it, but there's no scientific evidence that it works.
All right.
hang on. Let me go to Steve real quick. Steve lost his taste. Hey, Steve, how you doing?
Hey, how you guys doing?
All right, buddy. So, did you have Corona?
Yes, last year.
Okay, and how long has it been since you've been able to taste anything?
Over 400 days.
400 days.
Now, Steve, let me ask you a question, because you're not necessarily eating for taste anymore. Have you lost?
I am anger eating.
Yep.
Yeah,
Anger eating.
All right,
I
so
get it.
have you lost any weight as a result, or nothing's changed?
You know what? Everybody says, "Oh, you must have lost so much weight." I lost some in the beginning. In the beginning, I lost a lot. But I have. I mean, as time goes on, I'm just anger eating. I'll buy Reese's cups and I'll be like, "Damn it, I'm going to taste these Reese's cups," and I don't.
Steve, do you feel? And you're like constantly searching for it, right? Like you constantly. You're like, okay, let me try this. Maybe there'll be a little bit there.
Yeah, and the only thing is, I have had twinges of, like, if somebody has like a lemon cookie or a lemon cupcake, I might get like the taste of lemon with the first bite, and then everything, and it's gone. Like there's just nothing.
Steve, so this would not affect though your hunger, right? Hunger is.
Oh no, of course not.
Yeah,
of course not.
Yeah,
that's the best part of the whole thing.
Yeah.
You still have to eat. You
Yeah.
just have no joy in any of it. I always say it's like Captain Barbossa in Pirates of the Caribbean. They just want to watch Keira Knightley eat because they have no joy.
Right, they can't experience. Well, but look. I mean, statistically, it you should get a return, but there's no guarantee it's going to be anytime soon. But man, my heart goes out to you.
I've tried the other things. Like my wife has been getting me to try this smell therapy where you smell coffee grinds, you smell oranges, you smell.
But they say that takes like years to actually kick in and work because it's supposed to be like based on your memory.
Yeah, it's really weird. And then I eat things because I like pizza. I know what pizza tastes like,
right?
So I eat it. But like now I'm more concerned with like texture. So I'll eat things that like I always want nachos because nachos have crunch, they have sauce, they have But December 9th, 2020 was my my last day.
All right,
Steve,
man.
were you vaccinated?
Yeah, and boosted.
Okay.
Yeah, but that was all after. I mean,
I know there's connections to any of this stuff. All right,
Yeah.
dude, I feel for you. Hang in there. Hopefully it'll come back around.
Preston, what about you,
if
man?
If I
What
lost
about
my
you?
sense of taste,
Forget it.
I would be so upset.
It's so weird.
I find so much joy in eating, but I mean, I guess you. Wouldn't you switch to a healthier eating habit if you don't
I'm
care?
pretty healthy. You're pretty healthy too.
Yeah.
So it's not like you're going crazy.
Right.
But like,
so
why
I
eat
eat
ice
very
cream?
healthy. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
The
why
little,
Because of the texture.
little treats.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but it's the texture. Like Steve said, you're constantly searching for something. So like, yeah, you could sit there and eat healthy, but it's like you like. So for me, melted cheese, that texture.
Does that give you pleasure?
Yes.
Okay.
So
right
like,
now,
It's like-
because I can't taste anything.
Like zero sugar ice cream. And
Yeah,
stuff like
can't you
that,
find
know?
something that like is
Will approximate it?
that
the
approximates the texture and that is not
Putty?
loaded
Yeah, you
with.
could. Case, you could.
Yeah, yeah.
All
Those
right.
are great putty.
Amy said she did the orange chicken at work.
All right.
Oh, well, if this is the case, then
Let's
we
hear
need to
it.
do this after the contest.
All right, we'll try.
Get an orange.
I would love to go to these calls, but listen, I want to go through this and see if she can identify these things or not. So let's give this a try. We're going to be drinking things, by the way. We're not going to be eating.
Oh my God, she's lost her sense of balance.
She can't stand up. You okay?
Tripped over her own headphones.
I had to move, and I tripped over my headphones.
Okay.
Oh, the headphones.
So we have all grabbed some things from our cabinets and refrigerators and brought them in. And I have the sheet here. Don't look over here.
Yeah, don't look.
She's not wearing her glasses.
No, she's getting blindfolded. She's blind and no taste.
And Marissa, are we putting the mask on her or no?
We're putting the because
it covers up her nose.
Exactly.
So we have a
But
full.
I do want to try to smell it afterwards, but I
mask.
can't taste it.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah, we'll figure this out.
This is a legitimate. Should we be wearing goggles and lab coats?
So here's what we'll do. Marissa has put all these in numbered cups, little shot glasses, and Kathy's going to sip it, and we'll just have her guess. And I've got the list here, and then I'll reveal what it is, and we'll see if she gets anywhere near it.
Okay. The password is.
Yeah.
So do you want me to put these goggles on?
Do you want to eliminate the smell as well fully?
I mean, listen, I can sip it. If you hand me, I can sip it without smelling, and
All right.
because I want to see if my sense of smell is there or not afterwards.
All right, let's leave him off as long as it doesn't tip you off. So, Marissa, give her number one. We'll start with us. We can go in order. This is a good
Marissa, I don't know where you are.
order that we have, and she'll
Okay.
she'll put it in your hand. Okay,
Man, I can smell it.
Do you know where your mouth is?
Shut up. All right, are you guys ready?
Yeah, take a sip.
Don't smell.
And see
I'm
what
not
you
going to
think.
smell.
You can shoot the whole thing.
Don't smell.
Probably don't drink the whole thing. You need to save some room. Okay, so you getting any sensation?
Something. It's like Yeah, it's not water.
Okay, not water.
I want to say like a I want to say sauce, but it's not that thick, so it's not a sauce. But that's what I'm getting. Like I would something like a pasta sauce or something.
Pasta sauce. So she's guessing pasta sauce.
Okay, and what is it, Preston?
It's a sauce.
Wait. Let me smell it. Hold on.
Okay.
She just spilled it on her sweater. She just spilled it on the carpet.
Mackle farts.
You picked the wrong one to spill, too.
Yeah, you did. That's going to stain.
All right, get her sweater quickly. Kathy, take your top off quickly.
I'm sorry.
No, it's not your fault. You're legitimately handicapped.
Guys, I have to touch your boob.
Marissa, let me clean her.
By the way, go on YouTube now if you ever want to see Marissa feel up Kathy.
Oh my God, dude. Now go a little slowly.
I almost have it out.
There we go.
Oh my God.
Preston, can you smell it on that side of the console?
No, not from where I'm sitting now.
Because I absolutely can, and the smell is very distinct.
Can I guess now?
Yeah, what is it?
Smell. Is it hot sauce?
No, it is not. Kathy, that is soy sauce.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so that's way off. Not even clear.
And by the way, she took a sip. Like most people would go, "Whoa!"
Yeah, it's soy sauce is very strong. It's very, very salty.
All right, wait.
And you could only handle a little bit of that straight, but she shot quite a bit of it. Yes.
All right, I can't see, so I don't want to spill it again. Marissa, where's my water?
A little bit.
All right, here we go.
Oh my God!
I need to sip of water.
Helen Keller had it
Okay.
together.
Let's go with number 2. Don't spill this one either.
You can do it.
The microphone is right in front of you, so don't hit it. All right.
Don't tip it or tilt it.
Take a sip of this and see what you think. All right. So, by the way, Kathy's lost her sense of taste. Let's say we're testing this out on her, and if you're just tuning in, that's what we're doing.
All right.
A little thicker, isn't it?
Thicker and sweet.
Okay.
Oh, so sweet you could determine.
Yeah.
Maybe.
I honestly don't know what it is. I know it's sweet, and by the texture, I'm gonna say maybe like you put it. What the hell is it called? The chocolate that you put on ice cream, like a
Hershey's,
like a chocolate syrup.
Yeah, like a chocolate syrup.
She got it right. Kathy, lucky you that one of the things you can taste is chocolate syrup.
Honestly, if you're going to lose anything, and keep one thing, keep your ability to taste chocolate.
Did the texture help with that?
Yeah, I think. Well, that's why I think I was able to get
it. But you definitely picked up on sweet, and you know why you probably could, because you just had really, really salty before that.
Right before it.
Okay, let's go with number 3 and try this one out. A shot of this one. Yep.
Jinx.
All right. We'll sip of this one. Oh, wow.
I like this one.
Strong reaction from this.
Oh, what the hell is that?
Wow. So a big reaction.
Like it definitely triggered something.
Like prom night?
No, like some sort of taste buds in my mouth, but I have no idea.
Just describe. So sweet, savory. What is the reaction?
No, like vinegar, maybe.
She's right. Yeah.
But here's the thing,
it doesn't taste like vinegar?
No, it's the guess is the way it made me feel.
You probably got a little tangy, sensation like you would on your tongue, like mouth watering a little bit from.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. But here's the thing, I'm smelling it and I can't smell it.
WMMR.
Gang, it is time for the Preston and Steve Photo Hunt Challenge. Your chance to win a trip to Universal Orlando Resorts happening right now. Here is your clue for today. Kathy is displaying her athletic ability by performing this gymnastic maneuver. What is it? All right. And what you need to do is go to PrestonandSteve.com, look through the Universal Photo Hunt Challenge photo gallery to find the answer, and you could win a trip for 2 to Universal Orlando Resort with flights provided by Spirit. From sending you on a high-speed coaster to putting a towering volcano right outside your hotel room, nobody tests the limits of absolute awesome like Universal Orlando Resort. Information available at WMMR.com. But again, here's your clue. Kathy is displaying her athletic ability by performing this gymnastic maneuver. What is it? Now, don't call now.
No.
At some point before the end of the show, we will let you know when to call in and what number caller to be. So have that answer at the ready at any given time.
By the way, seeing that volcano from the hotel is so cool. Our hotel, the hotels in that area overlook the park. So you see all sorts of cool things out your window. And it's an incredible view.
Yep. And you could be viewing it as well. So make sure that you do dig around now. And we'll see if you can get that answer to us a little bit later on. In the meantime, we have some Bizarre File stories.
WMMR presents Preston and Steve's Bizarre File.
Brought to you by Rita's Water Ice. Happiness is in the air. Rita's is now open and serving up all your favorite frozen treats. Be cool. Go to Rita's and enjoy their delicious Italian ice and creamy frozen custard. This is pretty wild, and it's a cautionary tale for those who like to do hiking, but a pair of hikers died near the Utah-Arizona border after they were caught in a flash flood in a slot canyon over the weekend.
Oh, man.
Oh, yeah.
Which one does it say?
It does. Jeffrey Watson and William Roman Ianello. Good God, I can't speak. Roman Ianello.
That was pretty good.
Roman Iello, something like that.
Yellow.
They were on a multi-day hike through Buckskin Gulch.
Oh, yeah.
It's from the Wire Pass to the Lee's Ferry area.
Okay.
It's the longest slot canyon in North America and a very popular hike. When the flood hit Saturday morning, the two men who were found dead had set off on the trek with a guy named Ed Smith. He survived. All three were experienced hikers who worked together at Tampa Bay's Orthopedic Medical Group.
You get a flash flood, though, and it doesn't matter.
The group was reported missing on Monday, the day after the trip was supposed to end, after having no contact with their families during the hike. Smith, the lone survivor, said that Watson escaped the floodwaters, but they were unable to locate Romaniello. Watson, who suffered a leg injury in the flood, said that he and Smith became separated while Smith went looking for help. Rescuers from Search and Rescue Team located Smith alive on Monday and brought him to safety via helicopter. Romaniello's body was found later that night. Watson's body was recovered less than 4 miles away across the Arizona border the next day. Search and rescue crews received numerous other distress signals while searching for the missing men, including a group of 4 hikers seeking rescue in the canyon. So it was a tough time for a lot of people. During the operation, a hiker told officials that he had found Watson's body the day prior. However, officials were unable to reach the body until Wednesday afternoon. So apparently that can be pretty damn dangerous. After using a butter knife to cause extensive paint damage to a 2023 Nissan, a Missouri man vacationing in Florida copped to the criminal mischief, described his felonious conduct as, quote, a spring break mistake.
And they also crapped in the fitting room.
But the defendant, however, is a 52-year-old real estate executive, not a collegian sharing the St. Petersburg hotel room with 8 friends. According to cops, the vehicle's owner, a married couple, spotted the man standing near the car Thursday evening, and he was making motions near the driver's side. When the duo confronted the man, he laughed and ran off down the street. Upon examining the car, the couple discovered the entire side of their vehicle had been scratched up and had extensive paint damage. Lying next to the car on the floor was a silver butter knife that was used to damage the vehicle.
Butter knife!
The car, which was parked outside of the Toasted Monkey restaurant, sustained damages in excess of $1,000, cops noted.
I'm working at Toasted Monkey for 15 years, never done something on a day.
A review of security
What was that again, sir?
I said never done something on a day.
A review of security camera footage
Toasted Monkey
yielded a clear image of the suspect, and cops determined that the vandal had put his phone number down on the Toasted Monkey's wait list. After calling the number, police met up with Clifford Craig Edwards, who reportedly admitted the crime post-Miranda and termed the offense a spring break mistake.
So is this guy just having fun at 52 during spring break?
I guess so.
Running around with a butter knife?
Edwards
outside the Toasted Monkey?
Arrested on a felony criminal mischief charge. He was released from the county jail Friday morning after his wife posted a $2,000 bond. Honey...
I told you we should have gone to the flambéed ferret.
Edwards, a Springfield, Missouri resident, is a licensed real estate salesperson whose LinkedIn page lists him as a development director of Bryan Properties.
Wow.
A woman was arrested Thursday night at a McDonald's in Florida, accused of brandishing a gun in the drive-thru and pointing it at an employee due to an argument over a non-existent menu item. An affidavit describes What responding officers were told by witnesses after arriving to find Kwavi Young behind the wheel with a gun in her passenger seat. The weapon was identified as an M&P Shield 9mm with a drum magazine capable of holding up to 50 rounds.
Oh, I've seen these things.
Young allegedly demanded a cheeseburger bundle, a sort of combo similar to what can be done for McDoubles or McChickens, and refused an employee's offer to sell her a cheeseburger and an a la carte order of small fries instead. Now, this occurred during the woman's second appearance in the drive-thru lane that day. The employee described how things were a little busy in the drive-thru lane during the first encounter with Young. The second time, the victim told police that Young pulled to the first drive-thru window after being told she couldn't be served a meal that wasn't on the menu. Once there, the victim asked Young what her problem was, to which Young brandished the pistol. The victim then
cheeseburger bundle.
Asked Young why she was so mad over a simple issue. Young pointed the gun at the victim, verbally threatening them as well before proceeding to the next window.
And I want some oyster pellets.
When police arrived, officers had learned that Young did not have a valid driver's license, faces charges of assault with a deadly weapon, among others.
So is there any place that has cheeseburger bundles? Maybe they got confused?
Not that I know of.
Like, I could see maybe she was wrong if she asked for like a paper crown or something like that.
I do not know.
The Yumbo.
All right, and then one final story. A suspect is facing multiple charges after attempting to escape police custody by climbing into an interrogation room ceiling, and police went in to find him in a chain of events, leaving the police station damaged.
Did he fall through the roof?
He didn't fall through.
That's some of my favorite footage.
Me too, but they got him out of there. But he did rip apart the drop ceiling. Chicago police have charged Taji Mullins with 4 felony counts. He was ordered held without bond for his bail hearing. He attempted to escape through the ceiling of the police interview room.
Come on out, Taji.
It happened after he was taken into custody Friday night, accused of hitting an officer with his car. A police source said that Mullins climbed into the ceiling, trying to make an escape after being taken into custody. He had apparently he had been driving a BMW 750i, wanted in connection with a case of aggravated battery. A license plate reader scanned the BMW while Mullins was driving. He was approached at a red light. Officers pulled up to him. He ran. He ran into an officer, and all this stuff happened. They eventually were able to track him down, and he was hiding underneath a porch. And then
That's pretty desperate.
They took him to an interview room. He pulled the vent cover off of the ceiling and climbed into the ceiling.
He's seen too many Mission Impossible movies.
Police officers went inside and saw the ceiling tiles falling, and they were able to get Mullins down from the ceiling. His recapture was recorded by police body camera, but that footage has not yet been released.
I'm not up here.
I could only hope that he did fall through the ceiling, Steve, because those are my favorite videos to see, without question. All right, and there you go. That is what I have in the bizarre file for you this morning. Okay, on top of all the other stuff that we're doing this morning, our friends at Primo Hoagies have arrived, and they've given us some giveaways, some goodies for you. And I have a $50 gift card for caller number 18 at 215-263-WMMR. I would like to congratulate our friends at Primo Hoagies. They're celebrating a very exciting milestone today. It is their 100th location.
Whoa!
It's on Egg Harbor Road in Sewell, New Jersey. And the first 100 people get a free Primo-sized hoagie.
What?
And the 100th customer today gets hoagies for a year.
What?
Oh, that's cool.
What?
So
What?
I don't know. I don't know what time they open. But yes, the first 100 people.
Jesus.
I mean, that's awesome.
The first 100 people get a free Primo size hoagie. And the Primo is the big mother, dude.
That's the one I get.
I mean,
it's
well,
like
you have
2
the
meals.
small, you have the Primo, and then you got the really, really big one. But the Primo is usually too much for me. And the 100th customer today gets hoagies for a year. So this is at the new location on Egg Harbor Road.
That's excellent.
In Sewell, New Jersey. Caller 18. We're going to set you up. 215-263-WMMR. Were you doing that at Universal at some point?
Yeah.
I thought we were on one of the rides. Steve was in a different car, and I just hear, whoop!
You know what's real quick about Universal was really fun for me was I was behind on the Hagrid's ride behind Steve and Casey. No, I was at the Velocicoaster.
Yeah.
Yes.
And when we got to the end of it, you guys high-fived.
Oh,
and
my God.
It was so neat for me to see your joy right behind you guys. It was an awesome moment.
What was neat about that for me was that Steve initiated the high five. He was so excited.
It was so cool.
So goddamn good.
Yes.
And the one thing, as I said the first time, you love being on the front of the coaster, but when you're traveling at that speed and it's about 60 degrees, I was freezing.
But it was so neat to see your excitement, and I was thrilled to be on that ride with you guys. It was awesome.
It was great.
After that ride, I just heard, people were talking. It was great. And I just hear Marissa go, "How's Kathy?"
You said it out, right? You didn't get to do it again?
I didn't do it a second time.
Yeah, okay.
No.
That coaster's intense.
That one was, I told you, that was the one where, because I sat out the second time, I watched people get off and they were like not walking straight.
Right.
Like, they needed to hold on to, after one was enough of that one.
We rode it again yesterday. Casey and I went back for one more ride on the Velocicoaster, and Marissa, and it is nothing but action nonstop. It does not hold up a bit.
Preston, the first time I rode, and that, again, it's designed, you will not fly out of it. You are completely safe. But it is designed to make you feel as if you might.
Yeah.
And points where you just, it's amazing. So I rode it the first time, and then the second time I said, okay, here's my strategy. I'm going to push down off the floor.
Right.
And push up against the brake. And I did brace myself in a little bit, but right today, my calf muscles are killing me. Because I must have hemorrhaged them.
You got to work out.
Yeah.
It's the Velocicoaster. If you go to Universal, you no matter what the weight is, make sure that you go on that ride. All right, we're going to take a break. We'll come back in a moment or two, and we will have your chance to win that trip to Universal Orlando Resorts. Just listen up to be the designated caller, but I already gave the clue. I'll give it to you one more time. Kathy is displaying her athletic ability by performing this gymnastic maneuver. What is that? So go to PrestonandSteve.com and look through the Universal Photo Hunt Challenge photo gallery to find the answer. We're going to take a break. We'll be back in a moment. Make sure you stay with us a bit.
Preston and Steve. On 93.3 WMMR.
The
chocolate
sauce?
The FUD?
What about I think she was going to say fudge.
Like
FUD.
So that I can smell. I can smell the hot sauce, but I can't smell that vinegar.
It's not hot sauce. It's chocolate sauce.
Sorry, chocolate sauce.
That's what you would put on a chocolate FUD sundae.
Let's do the next one. We got to move through these. All right. So number 4, Marissa, if you would please. So she's gotten 2 out of 3 so far.
That's not bad.
But it was kind of guessing. And not going, yeah, that is this.
You're right. It's a combination of cues that are helping her get to the answer.
All right, Kathy. This is another one.
All right.
This one's kind of thick too.
Pondering.
I don't want any more of it, whatever it is.
Okay. Yeah, it sounds about right.
Does it?
Yeah. I think so.
You know.
Okay, I have no idea what it is.
Mm-hmm. Do you ever watch Dr. Pimple Popper? No.
Oh my God! Stop it, Steve! Don't do that to me. Can I smell it?
Yeah.
Try it that
Yeah.
way?
Okay. So you don't have a guess.
Oh, no,
But smelling it?
No smell.
Nothing?
Nothing.
Okay. It's ranch dressing.
Oh.
Yeah, that's Hidden Valley ranch dressing. The goat of ranch dressing.
Yeah.
And by the way, you guys know my sense of smell and taste. Like
incredibly acute.
Normally, I would have been. I could do this in 2 seconds. All of it.
You were able to discern between water.
Yeah.
Types of water.
Different water.
Yeah.
Seriously.
All right, next sample. This is number 5. Go ahead whenever you're ready. And this one this is very identifiable.
Okay, there's a little sweetness to this again.
Okay.
Maybe like I want to say a juice.
A juice.
Like apple juice?
Like apple juice.
She got it right.
Well, you might.
And here's the thing. I'm smelling it too. I can smell the apple juice. I mean, is it safe to say that the sweet stuff
You're
can
picking up
taste
on
a little
sweet.
bit?
You're
You're rocking
more
sweet.
than anything else. Yes. And you know what? A text came in that says sweet is the last taste to be lost even with aging. Like that's the one that we hang on to the most.
Okay.
Don't know if there's any validity to that or not.
Well,
but
this has nothing to do with aging.
That's why old people love pudding.
Yeah. All right, here's the next one. This is mystery drink number 6.
Mystery drink number 6.
She's grimacing.
I know this one.
What is it?
I can taste it. Is it pickle juice?
You got it.
Kathy, so that is not sweet, unless it is sweet pickles.
No, I don't know.
And you don't like pickles, do you?
No, I love pickles.
All right,
Oh, well, good for you.
So,
See, we're finding things that you'll be able to eat and taste. That's
Kathy,
great.
that's awesome.
Yeah,
Chocolate and pickles.
We're curing her. You're pregnant. No, we're Preston. You're legitimately curing her.
We're getting somewhere.
We should set up an institute.
If you've had the taste issue, you should do this type of thing at home as well. You might find one or two things that stands out.
By the way, Kathy, though you can't see it, I'm wearing protective goggles.
Hey,
I had to take mine off.
You know what? And also the caller that we had earlier, though, Kathy had said that he could taste lemon for a moment.
Yes.
And then as he continued to eat, it would go away. So this is something you'll have to test with.
Why don't you forget the moose?
Oh, for a moment.
For a moment.
I got it.
Yeah, that
with
happened.
pickles.
That happened to my mom. She lost her taste for a really long time, and the same thing. She said it came back. She would eat, and she'd get it at the beginning of the meal, and then by like mid-meal, she couldn't taste anything.
Here's
eat quickly.
Here's the next one for you. Let's try this. This is number 7. We have 15 of these, by the way.
All right. Not a clue.
Looks like she doesn't really like the way it tastes. Or are you just
I'm not like
perplexed
a
by
huge fan. I think it might be on the sweeter side, but it's not as sweet as that chocolate sauce.
it? Okay.
Like a pudding?
Pudding. No, it is not a pudding.
Let me smell it. Hold on.
Okay.
What kind of pudding are you drinking?
Puddings.
I smell something, but I can't. I would say pudding again.
No, it is maple syrup.
Which would be something very sweet.
Mrs. Butterworth.
Not like pudding.
No.
Is it Miss or Mrs.? She married?
I think it's
Butterworth.
Mrs. Butterworth.
Yeah.
All right. Good.
She's
spoken for.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right.
Mr. Butterworth is an accountant.
Here's the next one. This is number 8. We're at the pretty much the halfway point now. Let's see if you can identify this. No reaction facially. I thought for sure I would see a facial reaction from this one.
Well, I mean, you should.
I'm going in again.
All right, this
drink
is
all of it.
It's a popular paint remover.
She shouldn't be able to say, I'm going to go again on this. No, I don't think so. Wow.
What do you think?
Wow.
I like it.
Okay.
I don't know.
Don't know.
Can we
Preston, so we don't know. Preston has the answers.
All right, she doesn't know, so you can take a sniff and now guess after smelling it. What is it?
Is it lemon?
It is lemon juice. It's straight up lemon juice. Normally, if one is drinking straight squeezed lemon juice, you'd be puckering up and going,
Kathy, you didn't do any of that.
Not even a win.
So that Preston.
So she got that wrong. She could smell it, but she couldn't taste it.
That raises the question. That reflex.
Yes.
What causes that reflex?
It's a good question.
Well, let me ask. I'm going to show you guys. I'm going to try something. We're going to do a scientific experiment here. I'm going to drink this lemon juice, but I'm going to hold my nose.
Now, we've never met.
We've
right?
never. Well, we have met many times. Many times. But I'm going to hold my nose so that way the smell part does it.
That's the way to do it.
It's still sour.
Like you made the face?
But your taste is intact.
Yeah. But I wasn't sure if like any of that stuff
Kathy drank it, and there was no puckering, no pursing whatsoever.
Like even with her drinking that, and I knowing what it is, caused my mouth to salivate a little bit.
Yes.
Because that's what I'm
a little engorged.
Your mouth will do. Well, that's great. All right, so here's this will be interesting.
Oh boy.
This is our only solid of the day.
Oh God.
All right, Kathy, go ahead.
So wait, do I have to like?
Just stick your tongue in there.
Yeah.
Stick your tongue in there.
Stick it in.
Stick it deep in there.
Ew. What? I don't like that.
I'll give you a hint. It's not sand.
Yeah, like that. It's gristly.
Yeah.
Move your tongue around.
I have no friggin' idea.
No idea. Smell it.
I feel like it's probably a spice or something, but I have no idea.
But it should be very recognizable by taste, no question. Nothing when you smell it?
I'm trying.
She's not getting it. And she's inhaling deeply.
You would know this in a heartbeat.
Cinnamon.
Oh,
It's just straight up cinnamon.
No.
Yeah, nothing. Even after you know, you don't recognize it.
Not that one.
Okay.
The more you know.
If you're tuning in, Kathy lost her taste, and we're testing her on that. Let's do number 10, if you will, please. And we're back to liquids now.
Okay.
Let's have a little sipperoonie and see what you get from that.
Is it alcohol?
Like rubbing alcohol, yeah.
No. That's all I
She's
get.
saying
It doesn't
alcohol.
taste anything, but I feel like maybe is
Like vodka?
Like a vodka
Yeah.
or something like that.
Do you get a burn from it, or
Yeah, like a little bit, a little burn.
Down your throat?
Yeah.
Okay, then that's why, because it's alcohol. It's vodka. She can taste that it's alcohol, and I get that because outside of the taste in your mouth, once it goes down your throat, you get this warmness, this heat.
Right.
So,
Marissa, can I taste that one just to?
Hey, Kath, a question for you then, because I know you like to drink wine and you're pretty particular about your wines. Will you just go buy the cheapest ones possible now?
Well, no, what's funny is, because they'll probably give me a headache.
Yeah.
I was at my brother's house and, he knows what I like to drink and he didn't have it. And I go, what is this? He goes, it doesn't matter. Just drink it. You'll be fine.
Thunderbird.
When friends drop by who can't taste anything, give him the cheapest crap you've got in the house. That's why I reach for the Thunderbird.
James Mason approved. All right, here's the next one. This is number 11. You should get something for this.
11!
Let's see.
There's a reaction.
Got a real
scowl.
back.
She actually did De Niro there for a second.
Yeah.
You're talking to me?
Whatever it is, I'm not a fan.
Not so much.
Interesting that there are bad tastes that work through.
Nick, it's not a bad taste. It's like that vinegar feeling again. Like if
Okay.
So I have no idea.
That makes sense for this. Do you want to smell it?
Smell
Let me smell it.
You can smell it.
You can smell it.
Do you smell
okay.
something?
Yeah.
Okay.
She's doing De Niro again.
I don't like this. I don't know what it is. I don't like it.
It's Worcestershire sauce.
And you know what? I don't put that on anything. So
Okay. Not even in Bloody Marys? Well, it's already in Bloody Marys.
no,
usually,
I'm
so.
not a Bloody Mary fan.
Okay, all right. So no dice on Worcestershire. We've got 4 more to go.
4 more.
Here is number 12.
You've had a pretty decent degree of success, Kathy. At least your ability.
Well, the vodka one I'm kind of only half giving to her because she couldn't identify it. You should be able to tell that it was vodka.
All right. A big scowl on this one. Preston's the only one who knows what this is. Preston and Marissa. So we're guessing along.
This gave the puckering again. I don't know what it is, but again, it's like triggering something in my mouth.
Take a smell. Take a
All right.
sniff. You don't know. You can't taste it.
Vinegar.
Okay.
Oh.
But it's a very specific kind of vinegar.
Yeah, the kind that smells like feet.
Okay. It is apple cider vinegar.
It'll cure everything.
There's a shot of that every day, right?
That's what they say.
I should get my taste back after that.
Yes.
Right. All right, we have 3 more. This is mystery taste number 13. And let's see how you do on this one.
My stomach's going to be great after this.
I know, right? Fortunately, you're just taking little baby sips, so.
You're going to be farting clouds.
All right.
It's going to get a reaction.
Spending some time with this one.
Okay. Not as much as a scowl from the Worcestershire. All right, so she's feeling it.
There's like something in it, some peppers or something.
Would you say Thunderbird?
It was like there was substance to it. There's particles in there.
Particles.
I don't know what it is, but it's making my mouth burn a little bit. It has a little kick to it.
Burn a little bit. All right, so but you don't know.
Can I smell it?
Sure.
Can I?
What do you think? What do you think, Kat?
Can
I don't know. I want to say like
good.
Pickled something again.
Pickled something.
It's hot sauce.
Straight up hot sauce.
Yeah, it's
What's the
Mr.
title of it?
Mr. Deck's hot sauce.
This is I'm the marketing director of this company.
Yeah, the name this particular flavor is called Butt Blaster.
Oh, really?
They're out of,
Seriously?
they're out of Newport Beach, California.
I like that.
So
All
it's
right.
very, it's a like a
Powerful.
very hot.
Yeah.
Who brought that?
I did. I'm seriously the marketing director of this company.
Are you really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I brought it in.
Did you come up with the name Butt Blaster?
It was a collaborative effort, so yes.
Who's Mr. Dex?
A college friend, and this is a side project. And this is as far as I've gotten as marketing director.
How do you like the taste?
I love it. I put it on.
Do you put that as on
but I put it on pizza. I put it on eggs.
By the way, this particular heat rating is 2.5 out of 5.
Yeah, it's not that hot.
So not crazy
All right.
hot, but enough to give you some sensation.
Yeah,
All right,
definitely.
2 more. This is another solid. I didn't know we had another solid. This is the only other solid in our list. So do the tongue thing. Stick your tongue in.
Yeah, stick it
Do
in
that
there.
tongue thing.
Stick it in there. Love it. Stick it down in there.
Come on, man.
She's like an inquisitive look.
This, I get absolutely nothing.
Really?
Absolutely nothing from this.
Okay, so that's a nothing, and you should be able to taste it, smell it, and see if you can come up with something there.
Nothing, huh?
Like a, I don't know, maybe there's pepper in it? No, because I didn't feel that on my tongue at all.
No. It's garlic powder.
Oh.
Garlic
You would
powder.
absolutely know,
I'll give you a
right?
piece of gum later, Kat.
Yeah.
Thanks.
All right, we have one final taste in our test for you, and let's see how you do with this one.
This one,
Yes.
I also get absolutely nothing. Like it could be water to me.
Okay.
Like it could, that's the consistency.
All right. Take a little bit more. This is the last one. Finish it all off.
Put your tongue in it.
Go ahead.
No, is it going to make my stomach hurt?
No, not at all. Not at all.
Oh, yeah.
Nothing.
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 I get absolutely nothing.
Take a sniff and see if you can tell from that.
Not really. I want to say, is it another alcohol?
Sauvignon Blanc.
Your favorite brand as well.
93.3 WMMR.
All right. Thank you, Kathy. We're going to talk to Lorraine Bracco a little bit later on this morning. We will do some more giveaways from our friends at Primo Hoagies in a bit because they've got some $50 gift cards to give away, and they're opening their 100th location in Sewell, New Jersey. I know. And yes, the first... It's exciting.
It is.
The first 100 people get a free Primo size hoagie, and 100th customers today gets hoagies for a year. Yes, exactly. All right, so we'll do some more giveaways in a little bit. But I did notice a couple of things.
He's back from his travels on the road, and the noticer's been noticing so much, you won't believe it. He didn't notice a guy taking a full-on dump
on the floor.
Toilet. That honor fell to Nick.
Nick noticed that.
Yeah, but he's got some good noticed stuff.
I did. And this one obviously is exclusively for Casey.
Oh, yay.
Many people sent me this article. You probably already saw it, I guess, right?
No, I just saw the first two.
Is it ranch dressing?
It's not ranch dressing.
Thank God, no.
I've backed off that. There was a ranch dressing ice cream that came out last week. I talked about that in advance, and everybody sent it to me, and sometimes, Casey, I shield you from these things. Okay?
Well,
I do want you to know
can't
that.
because I got it as well. So.
Well, I know, but at least I'm not opening it up for discussion on our program. However, this article is pretty interesting, and it says that dad jokes are good for you.
Yes.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
I'm getting them from my brother now, too, my youngest brother. And I got one when I landed yesterday, when we landed, and it got me. And I'm like, I don't know, Case. They put me in a good mood. They're stupid and silly.
Yeah.
But who cares?
Okay, and I agree. Some of them are funny, and I get a kick out of them. But I'll give you an example of when I can't stand it. So I wake up at 3:45 in the morning, and I'm in the shower, and so I'm watching the news. I watch ABC right before it goes to the local news, and there's a guy that is in the overnight. His name is Will. Actually, I don't know what the guy's name is. But he ends every broadcast with a pun, and I just want to throw things at the TV screen. It's horrible. Stop it. Don't do it anymore. Every once in a while, fine. Every day, no.
Well, now it's
it
his thing.
actually makes me angry. What's that?
Now it's his thing.
Oh, it
know?
is.
Yeah,
it's his thing.
Do you know where there have been a lot of good ones, though?
What?
Last of Us.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, it's part of the
part of the thing. And
she has a pun book.
She did one. There was one about this where the sun goes at night. And I forget what it was. Do you remember that one?
I don't remember the punchline.
I don't remember where the sun went every night, but then it
dawned on me.
Yeah,
that's right. So this is
bad, but it's good.
So humor research has found that the dad joke is good for your kids. Okay, so the kids.
All right.
By teaching them to survive embarrassment.
Ah.
All right.
So when dad tells a stupid joke in front of the kids and their friends, and they get embarrassed that dad is telling these stupid jokes, apparently it's supposed to be good for them because they are learning how to survive that
I can see that, but if you want a master class, watch your dad take a dump in a fitting room.
Yeah. In a piece for the British Psychological Study, researcher Mark Hui Knudsen, I think that's how you say his name, or Knudsen, said by continually telling their children jokes that are so bad that they're embarrassing, fathers may push their children's limits for how much embarrassment they can handle.
Did your dad do anything like that? My dad would always, when we went out to restaurants, and then for a brief period he was working for Diners Club, so we'd go to these restaurants that were getting the credit card, and so we'd go out, and his opening line all the time would be, 4 peanut butter and jelly sandwiches, please.
Dude, that's...
Right. So
I think it's
right?
so funny.
Really?
And that was it. And my brother and I would be like,
yeah, because you said it before,
Yeah.
and it gets me
4 peanut butter and jelly sandwiches.
Yes. Yeah, you're going to like a nice steakhouse.
Right,
yeah,
yeah.
We're going to sit here at Gibson's and like $100 steaks. We'll have
Right, right. And the waitress or waiter would,
that's a good one. Yeah. No, my dad was not that way.
Yeah.
Yeah, he didn't pull the goofy joke thing ever.
You know what I don't get is when people kind of give you the side eye when you are trying to like be jovial and
there's nothing to be angry about when someone does that.
Yeah.
I don't get some people have bad reactions.
Yeah.
You're just trying to make the world a happier place.
That's it. And listen, if you've heard the joke a million times or if it's, lame or whatever, that's fine. But
Think outside the box.
Can you understand the intentions behind it? I'm trying to be pleasant to you.
Yeah.
And this is how I know how to be pleasant.
In a world where everyone goes in the toilet, go to the side
You know what,
of it.
Steve? You know who I saw yesterday?
What?
Everyone I looked at.
Yay!
Boom!
There you
Hey!
go. Now, there are bad dad jokes.
That was terrible. Wait, Casey, are you talking about kids or are you talking about adults?
I'm talking about anybody who's trying
the
to...
kids, you can't blame them. They don't want to
No.
hear your dumb jokes.
Well, that's it. The whole, what Preston's saying about this is that it teaches that embarrassment.
Yeah.
And so the dad will let himself, or the mom, let himself be the
Well, if it's-
object of,
I would say if it's your own kids, yes, of
Yeah.
course. But like sometimes you can't, if you're telling a joke to somebody else's kid and they don't want to hear it, like you can't get mad.
Well,
at them
for all the
that.
kids out there who are doing the side eye, just understand that so many times you've gone, Mom, look at this. And then all you do is you throw a ball up and you catch it with your, you know what I mean?
That's
Like,
very unimpressive.
yeah, it is. But like we pretend like it's the most amazing thing.
I did that same thing decades ago.
Yeah.
Okay, but Casey, there are times I don't want to hear a bad joke. You know what I mean?
And how am I supposed to know this?
Well,
You're not just
you're not
Kermit,
supposed
read
to know
the room.
that. But then it puts the other person in this uncomfortable situation of that wasn't funny, but I'm going to pretend to laugh to entertain this other person.
Do you
here.
think your reaction, like to a dad joke, would be a little bit more benign? In other words, because as for years of doing stand up, people would come up, "I've got a joke for your act."
Yeah.
And I at a certain point I'd say, I'm not. If it's not funny, I'm not going to laugh. I apologize.
Right.
And so that would be something I'd do. But I think a dad joke is by its nature meant to be a dismissively bad joke. Yeah.
So, okay, I have a friend who announces his bad joke. Casey, I do not want you to do this because often your, dad jokes, I like when they're kind of
integrated.
just put
when you fit
put
them
into our conversation, and sometimes it makes sense, sometimes it doesn't. So this is not for you, but yeah. So I have a friend who announces it. So here's the dad joke. Are you guys ready?
No.
So but you know what? For people like Preston who don't want to hear it, then if you're not into it, you can like tune it out. Okay,
I'm going to step outside.
Yeah. You don't have to pay attention to it.
There you go.
It almost makes it like he's giving the other people an out.
I prefer to present my dad joke as an actual question.
Right.
And then I come in from the other side and you weren't expecting it and it was so good.
Waka waka waka.
And it was so good.
Thank you, Cincinnati.
When you're in a bad mood, sometimes dad jokes will get you out of it. Sometimes they will put you in a worse mood. And you just want to be like, shut the hell up.
One of the most viewed, I guess, on social media, it's an Instagram account and a TikTok account. It's just, it's literally two dads sitting in lawn chairs.
Yeah.
And they cycle through the worst of the worst dad jokes. And it's got like 4 million followers. It's
right?
ridiculous. Yeah.
Okay. Hang on. So Chris has 2 bad dad jokes for us. Hi, Chris.
Hey, they're not.
What?
Hey, so I call in a lot, and I always start it with a dad joke. I'm the one that brought the Alpy Doppy Doo back out.
yeah, right. We love it.
And the inmate picture, that's a selfie. You guys remember that one? But I was going to tell a couple of bad jokes, but as I'm listening, you guys should have a dad joke competition.
Well, I tell you what, it depends on how you perform for us, whether we even let's hear your jokes.
But yeah, so I don't always tell dad jokes, but when I do, he laughs.
All right.
Okay.
At McDonald's, I ate a kid's meal. His mom wasn't very happy.
I ate a kid's
A kid's
meal.
meal.
Kid's meal.
A kid's meal.
Okay.
I was very happy.
It's very
Okay.
nuanced. That's sort of the Fellini version of a dad joke.
And by the way, Chris, this is a tough room, by the way. This is a really
How about
really
this?
tough room.
My wife was walking back from the laundry room and tripped. I watched the whole thing unfold.
I tried making a song about a tortilla, but it turned into more of a rap.
You're getting there.
That one was better.
All right.
All right. Thank you, Chris.
I know.
Oh,
I
go
know
ahead.
There's more.
Do you have any ones that use the C word?
Go ahead. Do one more, Chris.
One more. All right. So somebody stole my Microsoft Office, and I promise I will find you. You have my word.
Yes. Well, the one I like is whoever stole my antidepressants. I hope you're happy now.
I like that one.
That's a good
All right,
one.
Thank you, Chris. Casey, but no, you wouldn't want to see a contest like he said?
Well, no.
Okay, why not?
You know what?
Why is
what
that not funny?
What
Takes away from his joke.
Yeah, come on, Kath, right? I'm the star of the show. You know what I don't really like is when they do the you can't laugh competitions.
Make them laugh. Yeah.
Where the guys are face to face and they're doing these really bad jokes.
That was an actual television game show. Do you remember that?
Yeah, but what I
back in the late 70s, early 80s. Yep.
I like it when the person actually really laughs, not when they feel like they have to laugh. Do you know?
Yeah. No.
Okay.
But again, if the right dad joke can make, I think it can get me going. Absolutely.
Timing's a big part of it.
It is.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's got to be at the right time. Hang on a second here. Let me go to Ed. Hey, Ed. Good morning.
Hey, good morning, guys. My 12-year-old will tell me more dad jokes than I tell, because I follow all those, the guys you're talking about that are sitting on the dock telling the dad jokes back and forth. And I follow those guys, and there's a couple other ones, dad jokes, whatever. So the latest one my kid just told me was, why doesn't America knock on the door?
Why?
Because freedom rings.
No.
There you go. Okay.
I listen, I would like it better coming from a kid than a dad.
Yeah,
You think so?
Yeah.
Personally, yeah.
But he's just the one that always he always comes up with these jokes. I don't know if he's getting them somewhere or if he's just creative enough to create them on his own or whatever. But I think it's hilarious that they're talking about how parents embarrass their kids, but my kid's the one coming up with these dad jokes.
Okay. All right. Thanks, Ed. Appreciate it, man. We'll see you.
Sometimes a kid can phrase it. The kid told me a joke the other night. Well, I didn't realize it was a joke at the time, but he said, "Are you ever going to let me out of your basement?" And it was so funny because he knows I'm not.
Now these are knock jokes, but there's an old Daily Rush video of the Russian knock jokes he did, Steve. Knock. Who's there? We're going to kill your wife.
Knock. We're going to torture you till you talk.
So apparently, this can help show kids that there are such feelings like embarrassment are not fatal, and you can get past them. One day, they might even repeat the same terrible jokes to their own kids and continue the age-old tradition. According to this particular study, this is dad jokes are good.
Were you a fan of, as a kid? Were you a fan of a particular, like knock jokes, riddles, things of that nature? Do you remember the insult? The insult books were all the rage for a while. You remember those? Mm-hmm. They just tons and tons of insults.
I didn't get into jokes a whole lot. Like I remember, these are terrible nowadays. But what do you call a guy with no arms and no legs, and blah blah blah, and that whole thing, Matt, and stuff. And that was little kid
stuff. Yeah.
My favorite was two guys with no arms and no legs on a windowsill. Kurt and Rod.
What about hanging on a wall?
Art.
Yeah. Truly tasteless jokes.
But those were dumb.
Truly tasteless jokes.
Yeah,
those
there were so many books in that series.
There are about 20 of them.
And they're all racist.
Yeah, there's literally sections and chapters in those books. Racist jokes.
Yeah.
And so, they have not aged well. But yeah, Steve, I remember those like in middle school and maybe even early high school. And
kids had them. Yeah.
So many of them, yeah.
The dad jokes are, but right now they're having like a bit of a resurgence the past couple of years or so. Casey's been into it for a while.
Yeah.
Do you know it's wild? My dad, he was never that. My dad was more like Rickles-esque. My mom had the more weird, coming in from left field sense of humor. and I think it's the combination of the both that has designed my sense of humor.
I've never been able to do punchline setup jokes. Never. I always mess them up. In fact, yesterday, I was trying to tell the Abu Dhabi joke to my son Carter, and I messed it up.
Yeah. You know who
He
does
fixed
it all
it
the
for me.
time?
Who?
Brazier. John Brazier from the Phillies.
John does
loves,
great. He does punchline setup jokes very well.
He loves
gave
them
me
very
2 on Friday.
Yeah.
That were really, really good.
And he'll always say that it wasn't him. Like, Casey told me this joke.
Yeah.
Yeah. But they're fun.
All right, hang on. Let me go to Erica. Hi, Erica. Good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
Good. What's up, Erica?
I have a dad joke.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay. My wife was cutting onions, so I cried. Onions was a good dog.
Well, how about you? I would say was chopping up onions.
Yeah.
Just to give it a little bit more visceral. But I like that.
We used to say I wouldn't kick her out of bed. I wouldn't kick her out. I wouldn't kick her out for eating crackers in bed, and crackers is the family dog.
Okay, yeah.
So it's dumb.
All riffs on the same stuff.
Yeah. Let's go to Dan. Hey, Dan. Good morning.
Good morning. How are you guys? Calling from media.
Oh,
hey.
How is it out there? What's the weather like?
What's the weather like in exotic media, Pennsylvania?
Calling from media.
Thanks for getting up extra early.
What's up?
So whenever we're out and either there's 2 jokes I have and my kids cringe, but they always get a good response. And the one is we're out and somebody will talk about the war on Russia or Ukraine, and I say this. I say, if Russia invaded, I'm sorry, if
okay, go ahead. If Russia invaded Ukraine,
you have me at this is what I say. I say this.
If Turkey invaded Greece from the rear, I'm sorry. If Turkey,
oh my God,
wow,
if Russia invaded Turkey from the rear, would Greece help?
Okay.
Okay. There you go.
All right.
I mean, it's like the old. There was one that my mother's from ice and my father's from Cuba. That makes me an ice cube. It's just one of those riffs.
Dan, that reminds me of, hey, like if you went to England and then you were in, if you were in Spain and then Portugal, I actually don't even have a joke, but that's what he's doing. He's like, I got one for you.
You got it. As Preston says, you got to nail down this setup, or else.
He's like me. I can't do it.
Yeah.
I can't do it.
Abu Dhabi do.
Yeah.
But the people of Abu Dhabi do.
Got to be your bull.
Yeah.
The other one says, when somebody says they can speak German, I tell you, I know one word in German, and they're like, oh, what's that? And I say, I know how to say brazier in German, and they're like, oh, what's that? And I go, keeps him from flopping.
Keeps him from flopping.
Keeps him from
there
flopping.
you go. All right.
All right. Thank you, Dan.
Okay.
Say hello to everyone in media. Thank you.
Thank you, people, for coming tonight. Remember Yakov Smirnoff? That was his whole thing.
Yes. Do I go to any of these?
Oh, these been pretty bad.
You did it.
No, I'm just saying. Apparently, it's supposed to be good for you.
All right.
Okay,
It's supposed to be good for kids.
Yeah,
so.
or
Are we having a
frustrate
great
you.
time?
We're having a great time.
So this guy comes from England. No, Portugal. What's the one with the kangaroos and the Australia.
All right.
Oh, no,
Abu Dhabi do.
Yeah.
This guy that Christie's calling about that actress who was stabbed. It was Reese. What's her name?
Are you trying to do a setup of a joke here?
That's the joke. And then you go, Witherspoon? I go, no, it was with a knife.
Oh. I wasn't biting.
No, because there was an actress that was stabbed to death years ago, Pam Dauber show.
But he goes, Reese.
Okay.
And you're supposed
Hoskins?
to fill in. You're supposed to fill, yeah, Hoskins.
No, it was an actress. Reese.
Witherspoon?
Is it pieces?
No, it was a knife.
God damn you.
We are now officially moving on.
Yeah.
I've noticed other things.
Go back to bird chat.
Than dad jokes. Oh, my God.
I got a lot of responses.
I know you did.
Me too.
For bird chat. There were people who were very excited about bird chat. And then there were people who were not.
All right. According to a recent small nationwide survey by Customer Care Measurement and Consulting, consumers are increasingly dissatisfied with the level of assistance provided by customer service departments.
Yeah.
The 2022 National Customer Rage Survey also revealed that Americans are experiencing more issues with various products and services, and their anger towards the companies providing them is escalating.
God damn yeah!
Yeah, I've because everything's automated these days, and it's really frustrating, especially when I just want to talk to a person.
So,
yeah.
Case, a perfect example yesterday. Kyle and I are at the, we're getting ready to at the airport. And this so often is the case. They have the lines. It's American, and they've done a good job getting things a little bit more corralled. But because the way the tickets were purchased and so on and so forth, it's all in bulk. And long story short, there were all sorts of things that were occurring because we weren't all checking in at once. So I'm like trying to find someone who can, help me through this. Oh, go to the kiosk. I put in all the correct information and it keeps freezing up. Finally, a woman comes over, an employee, and does it in 2 seconds. It gets me exactly what I want. And so that's where you get that level of frustration.
And also, even though when you do get a chance to speak to someone, like I'm going through an issue right now, and I have no problem talking about it on the air. There's a small drum kit that I ordered, and there are major pieces of it that are missing that never came with it.
Wow.
I reached back out. I got it online through the Guitar Center. It's not the one here, but it's another, I think it's in like Tennessee or something like that.
The Guitar Center.
That's where the product was. And so they didn't have the proper pieces, and they said, well, you can do these replacement pieces from this other drum company. And I'm like, no, I bought this product. It's advertised on your website. It says you have it. I want it. I bought it because of the brand name. I like this brand name.
Yes,
I want this. And they're like, well, we're going to have to order these from the manufacturer. I'm like, okay, fine, do that. And then I wait 2 weeks. I email back. I'm like, hey, just any word. Have I heard anything back? Crickets. Nothing. Email again. Crickets. Nothing.
That's the
no one
worst.
is returning. Nobody is getting back to me. They've messed up. And, I want...
What's the company? Is it a third party or is it the brand?
It's the Tennessee Guitar Center.
It's the brand.
Guitar Center is usually great.
It's Sonar Drums. I mean, it's a really quality name. And so, but that's where now my rage is kicking in. Because of that, because you're just not getting back to me. And that happens more often than I think people realize.
Yeah, I think that when it is like third party, you buy through one person, and then you have to deal with another manufacturer. And Steve, to your point earlier, like I think what I get most frustrated with is I know that there's the right person out there who's going to be able to help me.
Yes.
All I need to do is get to that person, but it's the jumps that you have to make to get to that person, or the waiting on hold for an hour and a half or whatever.
Contact information on a website. Yeah. So there, I ordered a keyboard. My wife wants to learn how to play the piano, and there's this keyboard that lights up.
Oh yeah,
Lumi, and it's so. Let me tell you something. I ordered it. It wasn't coming. I contacted their tech support. I got an email back immediately. We are so sorry. We're getting right on this. I started getting a flurry of it's been sent to here. It's been sent to here. They led me right through it, and I would recommend that company to anybody. Right. And then I got it at home, just as they said it was. It was an oversight. Yeah. You don't come in like a raging bull, but you at least, Preston, communication is everything.
Yeah.
Let me know.
Yeah. Let me know what's going on.
So have you guys ever done like the chat feature where you just text or email chat or whatever?
I prefer that now.
It actually has come in handy, I think.
You know why I prefer it? Because you can usually link up with someone immediately.
Yeah, as opposed to...
And you don't have to wear pants.
Yeah, that too.
Yeah.
But honestly, anytime like I have an issue with an Apple product or something like that, I immediately go to the chat.
They're very quick.
They're quick, and I thought that maybe there'd be some loss in translation since it's all via text. But it actually is a really efficient way to get the problem solved.
Sometimes I'll check quickly to see if I'm just getting an automated response.
Yeah,
but that's being sold as a chat.
Right.
Well, sometimes you do, and then you have to go into the actual chat. Like it's based. Amazon does.
Did we answer your question?
Well, Amazon does it, and it's based on your answers, and you have to answer a certain way in order for them to connect you directly to an associate.
Like American Airlines, they have the option for them to call you back, which I do prefer that over sitting on the phone for 20 minutes. But
sometimes, that drives me crazy.
What drives me crazy is when they call me back at like a terrible time.
Right.
Like whatever. I'm like, oh my God, I can't.
But you don't want to answer with another airline.
But you can answer and ask for a call back at another time if it doesn't work for you.
So this survey also found that consumers are becoming more hostile towards customer service representatives.
And that's not cool.
With 1 in 10 expressing a desire for revenge by harassing, insulting, or threatening employees.
I have a specific set of skills that will allow me to kill you and your whole family.
I understand getting to the point where I'm not threatening somebody, but where you get so annoyed. But you have to remember, each time you call, you're getting a brand new person that knows nothing about it. So I'll lay it out for them. I'll say, this is my 5th call, so they know. They're like, okay, we are so sorry that you're leading into it, telling them
be stern, but
pleasant. But like you know, you're not getting a happy customer right now. This is the 5th time I've had to call, and here's my situation. But I'm always you have to be nice initially because you're not going to get anything
until it's time to not be nice.
Well, yeah, seriously.
Let's say you're on customer support with Kohl's, and Kohl's calls your mother a whore.
Oh, is she?
Is she?
I tell Kathy.
She's my regular Saturday night.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
What I like is when they.
Oh, yeah. You're going to be my regular Saturday night thing, baby. Oh, yeah.
Kathy, is when they start like they ask for your email, your contact information right at the beginning, and they start a case history so that whoever you call back again, you get disconnected, the person who gets on can just reference what you've already given them.
Except it doesn't always happen if you call AT&T. They make case histories, and no one ever sees the history for some reason.
Really?
Ever.
Of the 1,000 respondents polled, 74% claim to have had an issue with a product or service in 2022, up from 66% in 2020, which was the last time they did the survey. Of those 63%, 63% said they felt some sort of customer rage.
Yeah.
During attempts to resolve the issue, which is the same rage percentage observed in the 2020 edition, albeit one that now represents a larger number of infuriated customers.
Have you ever dropped into rage mode? I go into Harry Callahan mode. I go. I want to talk to your manager.
Yeah.
That's what I do. But yelling and screaming won't do anything. And also remembering, as you pointed out, Kathy, a lot of times this person is just on the other line. They're on the clock. They don't, they're not the issue. Now if they're blowing you off and being rude, that is the issue.
Yeah,
but,
sometimes you get somebody who's got an attitude, and that's not cool, and you can pick up on that. But no, I've never gone into full-on yelling mode, but you can tell when somebody's legitimately trying to help you out, and then other times they're kind of being a jerk. You know? So, all right, anyhow. But the rage is apparently up, according to this particular study. Listen, I want to wrap up the noticer because we have our guest,
Lorraine Bracco.
Yeah, Lorraine Bracco. Thank you, Mr. Announcer.
I listen. I'm a P1.
Lorraine Bracco is going to be joining us in just a moment or two. I would like to give away a $50 Primo Hoagies gift card. We'll take caller number 12 at 215-263-WMMR. And in honor of their 100th location, Primo's is inviting local heroes and the community, their headquarters in Westville, New Jersey today from noon to 2. They have a celebratory 100-foot-long hoagie cutting that is, and free lunch as well. So, yeah, that's happening today in Westville, New Jersey. So caller number 12 will set you up, 215-263-WMMR. And in a little bit, we're giving away that trip to Universal Orlando Resort. So be back in a moment.
Preston and Steve on 93.3 WMMR.
What's new?
So, Kat, let me ask you then.
Wait, are we done? Can I take the...
Yeah, that's it.
People will often describe water as not having a taste, but it does have a taste. And so...
Kathy can tell those taste differences.
And you can tell those taste differences. So water, for you, legit has no taste.
What?
He's saying that a lot of people describe water as having no taste.
Right.
You were able, I think I am as well, slightly able to discern between tap and bottled water.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it has a taste.
But
right now.
Oh, yeah.
It has zero taste.
Yeah, probably not. I can't believe I couldn't taste the Nobilo.
Oh, that's a bummer.
That's crazy.
So to review, she got correct and guessed correct and wasn't definitive, though, but said, well, is it chocolate syrup? So you kind of knew what it was, but you really didn't say, oh, that's it.
No, none of them I knew 100%.
Yeah, all of these were semi. So chocolate syrup, vinegar, apple juice, so the sweets you could get. And one that you could definitely, that I think you got the best was pickle juice.
Yeah, that was,
so maybe if you really want to taste something
put pickles on it.
flavor-wise, you could have pickles.
Yeah.
And the other one was vodka. Or I put in alcohol because you didn't quite get the vodka right. So out of 15, you were able to identify really 4, and that's it.
Marissa, was the I'll just say it, the honey was that usable? By the way, I just grabbed these things out of the...
Oh, you know what? I just stopped at 15. We brought so many
problem.
things, so.
It has.
You want to see if you can smell it?
The honey has a taste to it.
Is that like a spice habanero or
There's
something?
another taste, and I'd be curious if she'd be able to taste. Don't show her the label if you can avoid it.
What? Like it's
It's
flavored honey.
certain
It's got
honey?
another fruit in it,
Oh,
and
right,
I'd be
okay.
curious if with the sweet stuff you could do it. All right.
I won't look. I guess I can.
You can look at it.
Yeah.
Sorry.
All right. Yeah.
All right.
All right.
Rub it on your sweater.
Stick your tongue in it. Yeah, it's going to be kind of hard.
Oh,
yeah. Did you get it?
No.
Nothing?
Can you taste the sweet of the honey?
A little bit.
Okay.
Yeah, I can taste the sweet of the honey.
Nothing else.
No.
Because it's blueberry honey.
Blueberry honey. Okay.
No, and I'm having even the smell with this one is a little tough.
All right. Wow. Well, that sucks, man. You know, hopefully this is going to be quick.
Just
acting
400
and-
days.
And yeah.
I know that poor guy.
I know.
I really hope it doesn't.
He said he was rage eating. Just eating out of anger. Even though he can't taste it, he's still going to eat something that he knows his body likes.
I'll tell you what, though, I'm not. I mean, I'm still eating meals because yes, you still get hungry,
Yeah.
but I'm not really snacking because what's the point? Like, I don't feel like anything because I know I'm not going to be able to taste it.
Yeah, a lot of times snacking is just you want some flavor.
What about
You
so
know?
hot drinks or things like that, like coffee? Nothing.
Not really. I mean, I know
people have
it's
said coffee is a big insider.
well, and you know what, Steve? When it first happened, I was not leaving the house, obviously,
Right.
so I wasn't going to get my coffee. I could make it
Yeah.
at the house, but I was kind of skipping it because
Right.
I couldn't taste it, and I was getting the headache.
Do you think
And
you'll
I'm
try?
like, oh my god, wait, that's like the caffeine headache. You need it.
Do you think you're going to try that orange thing?
Listen, I'll try anything. Let's.
Might as well, right? I mean,
Try
if it
it.
doesn't work, it doesn't work.
Yeah.
And if for some reason it does, then you're good to go. Okay. All right, this has been the Kathy Romano taste test. And, you know,
we cured her.
That's so yummy.
The Flyers lost in an overtime shootout against the New York Islanders last night in South Philly. The team stretched the shootout to 9 rounds, but the Flyers extended their losing streak to 9 games.
Is that?
Oliver Wahlstrom scored in the 9th round of the tiebreaker to lift the Islanders to a 4-3 win, keeping the Flyers winless in January.
Casey was looking for the Ferris Bueller clip of 9 times. But we don't have it. It would have been perfect to play it twice this morning during sports. Our buddy Jerry Blackman, the Geeter, will be joining us. He's got his first show at the Kimmel Center Cultural Campus in years now. Because of COVID, these haven't been happening. So you know he's going to be super fired up, even more fired up than he usually is. And there's a lot of classics that are on board, including freaking Frankie Valli.
Frankie Valli.
Frankie Avalon. Freaking Frankie Avalon.
Freaking little Anthony, the Chi-Lights.
Well, I guess so. Yeah, who else is that? The
Darlene
Chi-Lights?
Love.
Darlene Love,
Frickin'
yeah.
the Vogues.
That's cool. Gary U.S. Bonds, so he's pulling out all the oldies and goodies.
Press, you know how many times we've had Jerry Blavin on our show?
Probably 6 or 7.
No.
9 times.
Really?
Yep.
9 times.
9 times.
Thank you,
kidding. I'm glad you got that. Very few times. There are very few moments that we can actually use a clip like that, and today we can use it.
I mean, I can't believe the Flyers went 9 entire rounds last night without scoring. I mean, 9 that they didn't score a goal last night.
9 times.
Right.
All right, so didn't they have a stretch earlier this season where they lost 9 in a row as well?
Well, they've lost 9
Or is
in a
it
row.
10?
They've now they've lost 9 before.
9 times.
Before they lost
9 times.
Yeah. And then last night, 9 entire rounds of the shootout. Wow. Yeah.
That's crazy.
Times.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
But the good news is the Sixers have won 9 of their last 11 games.
Oh,
9 times.
Yeah.
9 times.
9 times. All right, well, maybe we'll celebrate that the entire day today.
It's a beautiful thing.
hopefully we don't get to.
We're going to pray that doesn't happen. Listen, we can't let a Friday go by without talking about some food stories. I want to make sure that we do that now.
It's time for the Friday edition of The Connoisseur, the most popular version of The Connoisseur.
It'll be a quick one.
It'll be a quick one.
Today is National Pie Day.
Sunday.
Oh, is it Sunday?
Yes, I just wanted to send that to you so that you were armed with that knowledge.
Okay.
And we all like pies, don't we?
I love pie.
Yeah.
Well, why
I don't have pie enough.
No, but why don't they do Pie Day on Pie Day?
314.
Yeah.
Good question.
Yeah, that's when that should be. You're
You
right.
guys prefer pie or cake? Like if you had to choose.
Well, it depends on which kind of pie and which kind of cake.
All right. So if you're saying, and I understand the parameters in the most general terms,
Yes.
with the accumulated vast array of pies and the accumulated vast arrays of cakes, I'm going to have to go with cake with the acknowledgement that I adore pie.
If you took my favorite cake and my favorite pie and put them in front of me, I would go with the cake.
I'd go with the pie.
Would you?
If it was my favorite pie and my favorite cake, well, it depends. 'Cause, I mean,
What's your favorite pie?
Remove a la mode.
The first thing that pops in is a great apple pie. Just a well-made apple pie. You just can't beat it. But like a coconut cream pie is freaking
God, we have
fantastic.
such different taste
Tastes?
palettes. Oh my
Yeah.
God, Nick, I would.
Yeah, you
100
hate hot fruit.
I would go 100% cake. That's the main reason. Is
Yeah.
most of them, a lot of them, have some sort of warm fruit in it.
So for me, the pies, like if you're talking apple pie, blueberry pie, I love. I'm not a big fan of cherry pie, but Boston cream pie.
What about key lime pie? That's my.
I love key lime pie, and I don't know, and I love lemon meringue pie.
Okay,
let me throw this at you.
Uh huh.
Pies are made with more love than cake.
Yo,
I think that's
how can you say that?
What a horrible thing to say.
Nope, I know
It's made with disgusting hot fruit. You call that love?
To me, it just seems
I
like
think
pies are
no.
just kinda
It's
chucked in a-
it's more difficult to make a pie.
I think
than I
it's-
believe than a wonderful cake.
I think there's more love in a pie than there is in a
I
cake.
disagree. You know, listen.
Especially if you pleasure yourself.
If
Cake
it's
is
all
willy-nilly.
homemade, maybe, but willy-nilly. Are you kidding me?
Willy-nilly.
You just chuck stuff in a pie crust that's already been pre-made or whatever.
Yeah, that's what an amateur says, yes.
You would say that.
That's what a Marxist says.
If you can do cake mix, and that's kind of a cheap way for a cake too. But Steve, watching like the Great British Baking Show, which I've referenced
my God,
far too many times, when they make a cake on there and it's like a cake made with love, I think like if it's a chocolate cake and it's a cake made with love, I'm gonna err on the side of cake over my favorite pie.
Cakes are decorated with love.
Mm.
Pies are made with
pies
love.
to get it. Here's the deal. Now listen, since you've all acknowledged that I'm the expert on this issue.
We have.
We have.
For the purpose of this,
this argument. I am an expert.
Preston has a legitimate point to the actual making of the apples.
I know what happened. So when we were about to bring our next guest on, Casey was going to play, to set it up, he was going to play Layla because she was in Goodfellas.
Yes.
And there's an iconic part where the music is playing. And, well, right next to that on our little hotkey page here was Thunder Road from Bruce Springsteen. So we're going to play this instead. And welcome our next guest. Please give some love to Miss Lorraine Bracco on our show this morning. Hey, Lorraine, good morning to you.
Good selection of music. Thank you.
Yes. And listen, we'll chat maybe a little bit of Goodfellas if we have some time. But obviously, you're in this movie Jasir, which is hitting theaters this Thursday. I did indeed pronounce that correctly, right?
Yes, Jasir, yes.
Jasir. Okay, and you've been quite busy. There's a number of projects you have going on, so I'm sure you're busy promoting all kinds of stuff right now. Tell us a little bit about this film and the setup of this for those who may not be familiar with the plot points.
So basically, Jasir is a young man who's a refugee from Syria. And he ends up in a poor neighborhood in Memphis and lives next door to me. I'm an old blues singer who is addicted to pills.
Okay.
And he basically doesn't speak much English. And sadly, Meryl is a racist.
Okay.
And just by the looks of him, she hates him and doesn't even want him to touch her cat. And so a lot of things go on.
Sure.
With the cat, who constantly is willing to go over and play with him. And basically, it's about people living in poverty and social injustice. Memphis was a very interesting place to shoot, I have to say.
So
I have to do a shout out to the people who wrote the music. Al Capone, who Al Capone, who wrote a lot of music for Hustle and Flow.
Oh, okay.
And yeah, the music is really interesting. And Boo Mitchell, who worked with Bruno Mars for Uptown Funk, that they shot down in Memphis.
Okay.
Well,
at the Royal Studios.
The
So
movie-
that was really interesting.
The movie's getting very, very good reviews, and this is I was actually just talking. I just came back from we were away in Orlando for a couple of days, and we were broadcasting, and I was talking to my cab driver on the way back from the hotel, and we were kind of talking about this sort of stuff about his experience here in the United States, and and from what I gather, the story is that eventually people sort of. They when you put aside assumptions about people and do the thing that nobody wants to do, which is actually talk to someone and get a frame of reference, that's the key to success. But people are reticent to do that. Would I be correct in saying that, Lorraine?
Absolutely. I mean, look, we should all look at our differences with compassion.
And so that's it. There are people who want us to be at each other's throats. And the thing they dread is us finding common ground, and that's and you in this situation, I love stories like this because they're ultimately they're hopeful. Is that what attracted you to the story?
Well, what attracted me, yes, there is hope in it. Not a lot, but yes, there is hope. What attracted me was the harsh reality.
Mm-hmm.
And the dream of this young man coming to the United States.
So playing an opioid, an addict, that can be sort of torturous. Did you do any research, into that? Because I think we all in some way have been touched by or know someone who's dealing. It's the sad state of affairs with what's going on, with opioids and other drugs.
Well, I've made enough movies to have done all my research, and one of them would be the one with Leonardo DiCaprio when we shot and asked me if I could remember the name of the movie. It'll come to me.
Is it It wasn't Basketball Diaries, was it?
Basketball Diaries.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
So I remember when we did a lot of research and we had a lot of recovering addicts on the set to help us through that.
Right.
And none of that's changed,
Yeah, sadly.
Whatever it is, 15 years, 20 years later. I think the really rough part is when you see that Meryl has been an addict for years, and her husband died, and her son has alienated her, and she alienates everyone else that that is not a drug addict, basically.
So this the star is Malik Rabbani. I hope I'm saying that correct. And this is
That's good. That's good.
Thank you. Is this his first movie? He's a relative newcomer, correct?
Yeah. Oh, let me tell you something. Bravo to this kid. Malik was so dedicated to this character and this life that he had to go through. Also, Wahid is a Jordan refugee, and basically it's a lot of his life.
Yeah, I'm fascinated by stuff like this. Yeah, the experiences of people in America. A lot of times you'll speak to people who are refugees who come to this country, and they're the most passionate advocates for what we have to offer, and sometimes take for granted.
Absolutely. I mean, they're so grateful, and the streets of Memphis are harsh.
Yeah.
I have heard that.
It was not, I mean, he gets a little job washing dishes and encounters a ton of racism, and he can't believe that, everybody hates him. He didn't do anything. He left a beautiful family with parents and sisters and brothers, and he can't believe that how many of these people hate him.
Yeah.
It's like, I don't understand. What did I do?
Yeah.
It's a sobering thing. Do you like shooting on location when you get the opportunity? Does that help inform your decisions as an actor?
Well, I learned a lot about Memphis.
No doubt. Yeah.
Look, we shot in really, really, bad neighborhoods, scary neighborhoods. Sometimes we would have to stop shooting because guns would be going off.
Wow.
Yeah, it was really rough. And also, we shot it during COVID. I mean, I give Wahid so much credit, and Malik and the rest of the cast and the crew. We were a very small crew, sometimes first-time refugee immigrants from Lebanon and Jordan. So they really gave an authenticity to this movie, and a lot of first time costume and props. I mean, I would help them. I don't know, don't do that, do this. Write down the costumes because you're going to forget if you have to go back and do a reshoot. Do this, do that.
Oh, that's great.
It was like a teaching seminar also.
Well, I mean, on those independent films, that's where you can kind of, and we hear people, we have directors and actors and actresses come through here all the time, and there is something that they really love about those smaller efforts that tend to be more from the heart.
Oh, this was from the gut.
Yeah. Lorraine, I have to ask you because, listen, you're royalty when it comes to, the acting profession, but in particular, Goodfellas and, of course, Sopranos. Goodfellas this year, we lost both Ray Liotta and Paul Sorvino, and, there was the issue with Paul Sorvino being left out of the in memoriam at the Oscars. But that movie is, it is such an iconic. Obviously, you knew you had a tremendous cast there, and you had a director at the top of his game. But even at that moment, could you even dare to guess how iconic? Many people speak about The Godfather and Goodfellas neck and neck, and that's a decision, which is the better. Do you look back at that now, and can you even believe you were a part of this movie?
The things that I remember are, of course, silly and fun. But I looked at Ray at one time, and I said, "Do you have the feeling that this is going to be a good movie?" And he looked at me and he was like, "Yeah, baby."
Oh, I love hearing that. That's great.
Oh, man.
Yeah. Ray, I didn't know. I knew it was special. I knew the cast was special. I knew that, we gave it everything we had, especially Ray and I in all of our scenes. We fought for our lives, basically. Yeah. And by the way, I am going to make this comparison to Malik. Malik gave a performance that is magnificent. Magnificent. With a first-time director and a movie that while he sold his house to make.
Wow. Yeah, well, there you go. Well, then I guess we can look for this around award season then, perhaps.
Well, we kind of missed that because it kind of came out last year, but we've been winning all kinds of festival awards.
Excellent.
The film has been, reviewed in an unbelievable way. Really.
Well, congrats so far on that, Lorraine. So it'll hit theaters on Thursday, and we'll get it out to the masses and see what the response is. But it looks fantastic. So we know you got a busy day, but we appreciate you sharing some information and stories from this. So it is called Jasir, and it'll be in theaters on Thursday.
It's at the AMC theaters.
Okay.
Excellent. All right.
Wherever movies are sold.
Excellent. All right. Thank you, Lorraine. Great talking to you. Take care.
She's got that classic voice.
Yeah, Lorraine Bracco, guys.
Love that.
Yep, absolutely. She's always had that raspiness.
It's a great scene in Goodfellas, and she does it. Of the multitude of every second is a great scene. But when she is stood up by Henry Hill on the Ray Liotta on the date, and she comes screaming up in the car, and she gets out. And, she comes at him, and then he sees a side of her he hasn't seen, and suddenly they're like, they're flirting and yelling at each other at the same time. Yeah, it's a great scene.
There are no wasted scenes in that movie. Every scene is perfect.
Yeah.
The whole movie is perfect. Preston, would you ever go back? Because I know you didn't watch it the first time around. Would you ever go back and watch The Sopranos? Or is that not on your radar?
No, not really.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I know people absolutely love it. I don't know. It's not. I'm kind of. I've done so many mob movies that the genre is kind of over to me.
And I understand that.
And I know some people are shaking their head right now going, you're out of your mind, man.
It's not just, I guess, the reason I think that it's so compelling is that it's a more of a family story than it is a mafia story.
And it's also told over so many years.
And his time, James Gandolfini's time in therapy with Lorraine Bracco is actually kind of helped to normalize therapy a little bit. I mean, it's a really interesting look into a person's psychology.
Bizarrely, after a while, I get tired of seeing the bad guys being the heroes. You know what I mean?
Well, and so
because when it comes down to it, the murderers, they're
when you see them pay their dues, that's like I do. Yes, I completely agree, and it is a weird thing. It was actually one of the main criticisms of The Godfather when it came out. Is that. You seem to be lavishing attention on these glorified killers.
Yeah.
But Coppola kept coming back with, no, this is a story of a family. This is a Shakespearean story of a family that ends up being, the victims of their own devices. And what, because ultimately, as it should have stayed with the ending of number 2, you have Michael Corleone sitting there, an isolated man who's just killed his own brother.
Yes.
And for what? What has happened? What has made that any better?
Yeah, the whole rule of and by the way, The Godfather 1 and 2 are in my top 2 favorite movies of all time, period.
Yeah.
The greatest movies in my personal opinion. But yes, Michael, who continues to the family. He doesn't care about the family at all.
And in so doing, you realize how his father, though deplorable in many ways, really did care about the family.
Was more of a family man than he was.
I know you also sort of tend to bristle a little bit at things that are so lauded, like The Sopranos was. I mean, it got all these awards, and everybody says it's one of the greatest TV shows of all time. But the good guys aren't necessarily good. I think you would like it because of the depth of the characters. That bad guys aren't bad guys, good guys aren't good guys. They're just people that are flawed.
Right.
I think that's why it was written so well.
It's like a drug. Every time the Goodfellas is on, I will watch it. And it's also Scorsese's directing is so brilliant. It's unbelievable. That movie starts with them sitting in the car, riding along, hearing the bumping in the trunk, the body,
right.
and then it turns around. And then he pops up the lid. They stab him, and then there's this frozen shot of Ray Liotta, and then the movie starts.
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
it's
unbelievable.
I love the follow up to that scene later on. They're having dinner. His mom is making food, and he's like, "Yeah, we got a knife. I hit a deer. There's like a hoof stuck in the
paw,
and she's showing
like a paw, a hoof.
Her paint by numbers picture. Oh, that's really good.
That kind of looks like some guy we know.
Yeah, and they're laughing about it.
Yeah.
Oh my god,
that was Scorsese's mother.
Yeah. Oh really?
Yeah.
Who played
played Pesci's mom.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah, it's definitely great. I don't know. Maybe someday I'll get around to it. I waited a while before Breaking Bad. That was part of the reason, too, is I just wasn't into the bad guy being the hero. And I loved it. It was great, but part of it kind of struck me as,
but
bad.
There was an avalanche of mob movies after The Godfather, and they like the Valachi Papers, and it got so much, again, as with anything, as we're seeing now with superheroes, you get inundated and you get fatigued over it. It's just too much. And it's like they're all following this so formulaic. That's why, like The Irishman, which
I didn't
was
watch it.
the Netflix, it's good. But you've been to that dance before.
Yeah, I saw Casino.
Times.
I saw The Godfather. I saw all these guys together.
That's 4 hours.
Several times.
Also, isn't that the one where De Niro can barely move, yet he's kicking ass?
Right. Well, they CGI'd him down about 3 decades, and so Scorsese had to say to him, "Walk like a younger man, because you're not walking like you're in your 30s."
And Pacino is in that too, right?
Yes, he's playing Hoffa.
Okay.
Yeah.
Speaking of Pacino, I saw this thing. After more than 2 decades, the Dunkachino is going away.
Is that why we can't get our machine fixed?
And it was Al Pacino's friend in that Adam Sandler movie, Jack and Jill.
Yeah.
He made the Dunkaccino commercial, which actually that's
the one part
is pretty damn
that's
funny.
The one part.
Where he
when you think but then you stop and think, oh my God, that's Michael Corleone dancing to the Dunkaccino.
And he makes references to My Little Friend, and he does references to The Godfather and stuff like that. So it's actually. We're watching the video.
By the way,
of it
Pacino has a very good sense of humor.
Yes, he does.
He does. And
he can dance, too. He does some really good dance moves in this particular bit. But the bit in the movie is that after he does it, he realizes he's so insanely embarrassed by it that he doesn't want anybody to see because it's ridiculous.
How much do you think he got paid for that scene?
A ton.
Yeah.
Well, he was in more than just that scene.
He falls in love with Jill. He falls in love with Adam Sandler in drag.
Yeah. So anyway,
Why are they getting rid of this? It's coffee and like a flavoring,
It
right?
says the swirled blend of coffee and hot chocolate has officially been taken off the menu, at least for now. A spokesperson from Dunkin' said, as we focus on innovation and finding new ways
space travel
to delight guests, we continually evolve our menu in an effort to deliver a fast, frictionless experience. The Dunkaccino is retired for now, but there always is the chance for the return in the future.
All right, maybe that's when they'll fix the machine. I happen to love the Dunkaccino. We loved it. The problem is that when you have Dunkaccino on tap, you're slamming down a whole bunch of, no matter how long you nourish it, you're going to go through a lot of Dunkaccino.
Also, the machine is so big. If we got rid of it, we could do so much in that kitchen.
You know what? The Dunkin' Keurigs and those little things. What do you want to put in there?
I don't know.
A cotton candy machine?
No, we could do like a wreath
Art?
making. Yeah, like an
Wreath
art center.
making, sure. Gift wrapping.
It's just and look what I did with these succulents.
We could have succulent hour in the kitchen.
We could still use the Dunkaccino machine for hot chocolate.
Hot chocolate!
They can load that thing up with hot chocolate. It's fine.
Yeah, but that's what I mean. It doesn't. It's not spewing anything out.
I
so
know. I've given up on it.
It's a little smaller than the part of Chernobyl that's sealed inside of cement, so it's enormous. Give me something that's a little bit more streamlined. Now, mind you, they gave us the brewing system that we use every morning, and we go through tons of the Dunkin'
That's what
coffee.
I mean. That's useful.
But sitting right there, it's like it taunts us.
Yeah.
It taunts us. I am your gateway to Dunkaccino and hot chocolate.
By the way,
remember a decade ago when we tried to blow up a fridge?
Oh my God!
With an A10,
we were so close.
Well, maybe we revisit that idea with the Dunkaccino machine.
No, we're not going to do that. I think it still has a purpose.
Geez.
By the way, here's a musical interlude for you.
What's my name? Dunkaccino. It's a whole new game. Dunkaccino. You want creamy goodness? I'm your friend.
By the way, that's Al Pacino.
That's Al Pacino.
And I'm your friend is a reference to My Little Friend.
Say hello to my chocolate blend. Attica, hoo-ah, lucky light. This whole
He said Attica and ooh-ah. Yeah.
trial is out of sight. They pull me back in with hazelnut too.
That's a Godfather 3 reference.
Yeah.
Caramel swirl. I know it was you.
I know it was you. That's from the second Godfather movie.
One wants my Dunkaccino. Can't get enough of my Dunkaccino. Kids from 7 to 17 lining up for my Dunkaccino. What's my name? Dunkaccino. Dunkaccino.
Oh, it's so good.
Oh my God.
They show him watching the video here, and he's just absolutely horrified.
I wonder why they would get rid of it though. Like, I wonder why any
Do you know why,
like this
Kathy?
get rid of signature drinks
So they can bring it back.
So that's what was my question.
So
Is it so
they-
they can make a big deal to bring it back?
They will know things. It's part of the standard menu, but sometimes. Listen, again, I am a big proponent of both the hot chocolate and the Dunkaccino, and love it. But I understand you bring it. You tend to miss something, when it's not there. Like we've missed having a functioning Dunkaccino machine.
Well, and also so it's coffee and hot chocolate.
Yeah.
So if they get rid of the Dunkaccino, but you really love it, can you just go to Dunkin' and say, "Can I get half coffee?"
It's like saying
half hot
that
chocolate?
a sloppy Joe is just a hamburger with ketchup. There's something extra.
Oh,
in it.
there's something
Yeah.
extra in it. Okay, all right.
Yeah, I don't know. I always thought it had a little bit of a toffee.
That's what I thought too. It has
flavor in
that
it,
sort
too.
of, and we're all fans of toffee.
Yeah, who doesn't like toffee?
I actually don't like toffee.
Shut up.
I don't.
Stop it, really?
Yeah, it's not worth it.
Toffee stood her up at the prom.
It's just not worth it.
It's good in doses, I think. I can't overdo the toffee thing.
Yeah, or not at all.
What was the toffee?
Beef bar?
A beef bar?
No. What?
Beef
Yes.
Score.
Score.
They're the
That's
same
it.
thing.
Oh, was that the toffee candy?
Shut your mouth.
Heath Bar and Score?
They're not the same thing.
Sure they are.
Are they?
No,
Yes.
Score's a little bit
No,
thinner.
No, they're the same candy.
Score's thin.
All right, well,
It can't be the same
let's
thing.
call
Then
out
it'd be
the
called one
specifics.
name.
It's like a Butterfinger. It's like a Butterfinger and a Fifth Avenue.
Okay, so here we have the. Now, visually, they do look very similar.
No, Score has dark chocolate.
All right.
That's the difference.
I'm hearing you, Nick. I'm sorry. I retract my last
You
statement.
yield
But
your
it's
time
not-
to the senator from Arkansas.
Yes.
They'd be the
it's not
same
thing.
subspecies.
Yeah, it's one is milk chocolate, the other is dark chocolate.
Where do you
That's
guys
the
stand
difference.
on nougat?
Oh,
Nougat.
big fan of nougat.
I'm a big fan of nougat, as represented in the Three Musketeers bar.
No.
Hold on, it's
Nougat cannot be alone.
It says that basically the only difference between the Score bar and the Heath bar is that one is slightly thinner.
No.
They say that's the absolute. I thought it was the dark chocolate as opposed to the milk chocolate.
Well, this
component.
one shows them both as milk chocolate, so I don't know.
Oh,
Sure. But back to the nougat.
Sorry.
Nougat.
it's a great movie. Back to the nougat.
I don't think that.
I think all Three Musketeers bars should be thrown in a cauldron and set afire.
Not all. The frozen ones are okay.
Wait a second. So you do not like Musketeers? And
No.
Three I'm a very big fan of the Three Musketeers bar. Now I prefer the Milky Way, but the Musketeers has a place.
I think I don't even like Milky Ways. It's not enough. I can't do this. Too
You
much
need
nougat.
nuts.
Need nuts in there. Give me my nuts.
Look at this thing of beauty.
I didn't know that was nougat. I thought nougat was different. I thought nougat was in
What'd you think it was?
Snickers bars, and I didn't know.
I think there is some nougat in
is.
Snickers
Yeah.
bars. Here's the progression. You have a Three Musketeers, and then a Milky Way is a Three Musketeers with a little bit of caramel, and then a a Snickers is a Milky Way with
Adderall.
peanuts and Adderall.
But really,
though.
So all right, the Three
That's what I think.
Musketeers. It's renamed. I mean, it's shouldn't be named. All right, so Three Musketeers. Basically
What would you
has-
prefer?
It should have
What-
three ingredients.
How about
Thank you.
What if we
Yeah.
called it the Corsican Brothers?
The Milky Way should be the Three Musketeers because it's chocolate, caramel, and nougat. Okay, so that's Three Musketeers. The Three Musketeers should be called the Milky Way because it's just kind of one little thing in
You
the
know what?
middle.
By the way,
swirl.
Originally,
Yeah.
it had 3 flavors.
Oh.
By the way, so we obviously we run on Duncan. Do you guys know that the History Channel series about about the fast food places, Preston? You've seen a number of those, right?
Sure.
So in the latest one, they talk about Duncan and how Duncan Donuts, and now it's Duncan, and how with Starbucks and other competitors coming in, how everyone found their niche.
Yeah,
it's pretty fascinating.
What killed the other 2 flavors of this is not a joke. The other 2 flavors of the Three Musketeers was the World War II. Believe it or not.
What? Because Hitler done it. When I am in the mood for a snack.
Originally, it had 3 pieces in one package, flavored chocolate, strawberry, and vanilla. Hence the name. And then, so they named it Three Musketeers by Alexandre Dumas. Rising costs and wartime restrictions on sugar saw the phasing out of the vanilla and strawberry pieces to leave only the more popular chocolate ones.
So it was more of a Neapolitan.
Correct.
So in one candy bar,
you'd get 3.
You get 3?
Yes.
And what were the flavors?
Chocolate, strawberry, and vanilla.
I don't like that.
That's Neapolitan.
I've never been a Neapolitan fan. I would just eat the chocolate.
I love Neapolitan.
I had to break out a scalpel to eat when they'd have those.
I would sometimes eat just all the strawberry.
That's
and so
fine.
you'd go
You
in
have
and
it.
get the container, and it was just chocolate and vanilla.
The
left,
favorite
but
candy bar of Hitler. The Neapolitan.
Stop it. I heard nougat and toffee in there. The rest I didn't understand.
He was designing. He went in front of us,
Oh, this is him
Eat something that will appeal to the mother.
in front of the Aryan Congress.
yeah.
He was okay. All right.
Want something that blonde, blue-eyed Aryans would love to have in their lunch boxes.
What were you
Remember
about-
you used to get a candy bar in your lunchbox periodically?
Yeah,
I was
yeah.
like, wow.
That was nice.
I must have been a good boy.
I had a candy bar for the first time the other day in a while because that's what we have for breakfast at Universal Orlando Resort. All the snacks they had for us were all candy bars. So, all right, I guess I'm having a Snickers for breakfast.
They actually had, which is, I can, again, now for having a little snack chat, the Fig Newton, but with the blueberry filling.
Oh.
Which is
What?
excellent.
I prefer those.
Oh, yeah.
So are they called blueberry Newtons?
I know. They're actually called radioactive isotopes.
Well, there are apple Newtons.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and
You know.
strawberry Newtons.
I think Gary Goldman has a bit on how fig dominated the Newton industry.
It did. You know, it's the coolest, like when you see, like James Bond used to eat figs for breakfast and with black coffee.
I like figs on my charcuterie boards.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, those are good.
I
You know what's
imagine black coffee and figs would make you do exactly what that guy did in the bathroom at the airport.
Right. I'd like to circle back to Heath and Score if you guys don't mind.
Yes, Sure. yes,
They are
shed some
both
light.
manufactured by the Hershey Company. Okay.
Oh.
So why would they have two
Why
candy
would they do
bars
that?
are the same and the same
It's
umbrella
got to
company?
be it has to be a marketing thing. Like research shows that it sells better if there's something similar. It has to. Like, why would you create two things?
Seems like they would market that more towards adults.
I suppose.
Yeah.
Horny adults.
Casey, you're right that the Score actually has dark chocolate flavor, but they also have milk chocolate. So there's an identical Score and Heath bar that are basically the same product.
Well, like with the Mounds and the Almond Joy, you have essentially the same thing, except however the Almond Joy has what, Preston?
Almonds. Yeah, absolutely. It's got nuts. Sometimes you feel like a nut.
Right.
Sometimes
you want nuts in your mouth.
What do you mean cater to adults? Like, what adult buys a candy bar?
It just seems.
I know, that's why I said it.
It seems more, I don't know, snooty.
Yeah.
Score. And it's got a little crown in the logo and everything.
Bring me my Score bar and Twizzlers.
I saw what?
The Twizzlers that you bought for me, Nick, might be the best Twizzlers I've ever had in mine. They were
not special.
They were so fresh.
Were they fresh out of the Twizzler oven?
As a matter of fact, when I was flying home on Friday,
you didn't need a plane.
No, I didn't know. But there was an older gentleman next to me and an older woman next to him who I thought they were together. They were not.
I'll touch your pee-pee for one of them Twizzlers.
Well, okay. I was going to give you one for free, but looks like we both win. So I opened up this because it was a pound of Twizzlers. So when I opened up the bag, I offered it to them, and even they were like, "Wow." It's kind of like when the Wolf and Quentin Tarantino drink coffee in Pulp Fiction. They they take that
pause.
first sip and then they look at each other. That's what they did. They were like, "Damn, this is a good Twizzler."
So they
Damn,
had
kid.
Twizzlers?
Yes.
Oh, very nice.
Yeah.
They're manufactured in Lancaster, PA.
Well, they were. I mean, you must have gotten them fresh off of the conveyor belt.
Also owned by the Hershey Company.
Yeah, I was going to say, I thought, so they're not made in Hershey?
Milton Hershey came to the scene, as anyone who's ever stayed at the Hershey Hotels knows from that concept video. He originally came in as a caramel was his. That's what he was known
Yes, he
for.
was. Yeah.
And then
I wonder-
he switched to chocolate.
I wonder if we could get Casey in a tour of the Twizzlers factory.
We've been
It's in
promised a
Lancaster.
few things over these. Now we had one delivery. Is it the Godiva factory that's local that brought us all?
That was Dove.
Dove. Oh my God! They brought this gigantic collection of misshapen.
Yeah, the ones that don't make through quality control because of their shape, and they send them over to us. It was great.
Tastes exactly the same.
Oh yeah, yeah. They just don't want the product going out looking like that. So
By the way, I think it was Bob Havens. Does he have a wife?
Yeah.
Bob. Okay.
Someone interested?
No. I believe him and his wife sent a get well card to Jace, and he sent over a bunch of Hershey chocolates. I hope it was Bob. Bob, thank you. If it wasn't him,
Yeah,
okay.
he texted
All right.
me.
That's
Okay.
wonderful.
Cool.
really
Thank you.
nice.
Bob's the nicest guy.
He is. All right. Anyway, listen, we should take a break.
Yeah.
And you know what we should do? We should get a winner for this Orlando trip. Universal Orlando Resorts. If you've done the photo hunt challenge and you know the answer, we're going to take a break. We're going to come back and we'll take caller number 27 at 215-263-WMMR. That's your age. It's Kathy's age.
Yeah, that's why I said
Let's get you on board to go to Universal Orlando Resorts. Caller number 27. Answer it correctly. We'll come back in just a moment. Stay with us.
Preston and Steve on 93.3 WMMR.
93.3 WMMR.
I don't know.
But
Well put.
but I still
Court
believe
acknowledges
right?
Steve Morrison.
And since you've all acknowledged that I am the expert,
Right.
Well, then why don't you get birthday pie on your birthdays? Because it's not made with love, and cakes are made with love. This is I love you. Here's a cake because I love you.
I don't believe it's bereft of love. For example, my mother used to make me my favorite devil's food cake with she'd have the different layers joined by grape jelly and which helped. Was very thin, little bit of grape jelly.
Okay.
And then she'd make the homemade chocolate frosting.
Yeah.
And to me,
Love.
probably one of the greatest cakes I've
That
ever
says
had in my
love to
life.
me.
If I compare the greatest cake experience against the greatest, now mind you, my pie experiences have been incredibly rewarding. But I had a Nutella cake one time That was so good, and it's like they talk about the luster cocaine, like and all that chasing the dragon. I feel that I've been doing that now. I haven't been able to replicate that taste in a cake.
Okay, team cake here. What about a lava cake and all the oozing chocolate? I mean, come on.
As far as I'm concerned, Kathy,
Nobody said anything about lava.
I don't care. The lava. No one can ever down talk lava, even if it's the kind that's wiping out villages.
Right. I have a new
because it's associated with the chocolate lava, and I love that.
I have a new controversy to throw into this.
All right.
Cheesecake. Is that cake or actually a kind of pie?
All right. If here's what I'm going to tell you.
It's absolute garbage.
It's got a crust. Shut your hole.
Cheesecake is garbage.
Cheesecake is Preston.
There's a whole restaurant chain named after it.
Cheesecake is extraordinary. I would say this: you have more of a
like a
case
pie
to
than a
say
cake.
it's a pie because you're not. What you're eating is not cake.
Right.
So you have to have a cake element to it. Give me a classic cheesecake. Give me with a little bit of chocolate in it too. I'm thrilled.
By the way, I love this text I got. It says you don't put cake on a windowsill like a pie. Therefore, pies are more love. That is from Amy
Oh yeah,
in
you're
Millville.
just leaving a pie out there for the freaking bears to eat.
Don't put that pie over there. The bears will get it.
Bears are gonna get it, or the squirrels.
Well,
I don't know. There's cake shops. Are there pie shops?
Yes. Yes.
Really? Where?
Yes.
They're called bakeries, and they sell both. How about that?
Do they?
So we have
do they
bed and breakfast right up the street. So it's that is a well.
Do they have pies?
They do have pies.
Oh, they
I'm
do?
just saying, man.
All right.
When you're celebrating the life of somebody, you give them a cake and you don't give them a pie. Clearly, cake is love. Pie.
So let me ask you.
Pie.
Let me
Don't
ask
get me
you.
wrong. Don't get me wrong.
You don't bring them a cake. You bring the grieving a pie?
No, you.
What
don't. You
about
bring
a large
hoagie
cookie? The large cookie. What is that concept? Is it a cookie?
It's a cookie.
Or is it a cookie cake?
It's a cookie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm a little surprised at your distaste for cheesecakes because
me too. Because I'm fat and I got big time sweet tooth.
And
you just do you have the feeling that I have, Nick, that he has not had the right cheesecake
I think
yet?
that's probably
I
true.
think we need to set up this the same way like with Grindr. We need to hook you up with the right cheesecake.
No, he's got to go
and
to
let you guys
Kriebel's.
spend the night together.
Kriebel's.
Oh, Kriebel's.
yeah.
Yes.
So-
or they should come here.
Yeah.
They're
Make it easy for us.
I
Yeah.
will say,
cheesecake
though,
is unbelievable.
I love a cheesecake crust.
Okay.
So if I had if you're at a wedding, right?
It's not.
You're at a wedding and you're.
It's not a classic pie crust though.
It's not. No,
it's
it's
a graham
graham cracker
cracker
crust. So
Right.
if
Yeah.
if the
Lots of
you're
butter
at a
in it.
wedding and the meal is done and then they bring you a cheesecake and that's all you can have for dessert, I will eat the crust. No problem.
Crust eater.
Preston, here you go. So we're going to go to Bread and Beck's Bakery. We'll say that they are they would be experts in this.
They're
right?
an exceptional
on
bakery.
on their menu, Preston. They have cheesecakes listed with the pies and tarts.
So there you
That's
go.
it. That's it. That's
Okay.
it.
Yep. Okay.
Should we put up like a Twitter poll?
I bet you Marissa already has.
Yeah. Why did I even bother bringing that up? It was already done.
Marissa actually had it up before we started talking
well, she
about
did
it.
the cheesecake
Oh,
question.
okay. That's good as well.
All right, yeah, but I'm also curious as to whether or not people prefer cake to pie.
You'll get cake. Cake. I listen. I'm just sticking up for pie.
It's okay.
You'll probably get cake because cake is universally known for celebrations.
I think, but I hear you on the. I mean, some of the greatest experiences of my life have been with a pie.
Yeah.
I think there's more love in a pie. I think that it takes more to make a great pie.
Cake is
than it
a
does to
worldly
make
known
cake.
good dessert.
Yeah.
Yes, and I'm not talking about decorating.
Do you know what I also love too?
What?
The very interesting offshoot, the bunt cake.
Oh man,
Bundt cakes are
nothing.
fantastic.
Bundt cake is just,
Nothing bunt cake. Sweet mother of God.
They should really send us stuff.
She's so sweet, Kim.
So should Kriebel's and Bread and Beck's.
But like nothing.
I'll go in and
I'm on a diet. Why ever I don't need this stuff? Right
here's
now.
the deal, Kathy.
I'm on my January diet.
I order so many things when I go in there. Like we'll have people over or whatever. When we're having people over, and you get so much that they're like look at you like, You're really going to eat all this?
Well, Steve, and they have the little ones,
The little
right?
mini buns.
They're-
No, but I got to get the big. Also, the big version.
Okay, so so they have the little ones, right? And I've ordered them a number of times, and they're absolutely delicious.
Like 5 dozen.
And you know how sometimes when if you go bigger, it doesn't taste the same, blah blah,
Yeah.
whatever. We just had one for a birthday cake,
Like the big buns.
one. It was just
Guess what?
delicious.
It's exactly the same.
It's so good.
I'm going to a text, and I quote, "She's my cherry pie. She's not my cherry cake."
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
There
We've
you go.
got a point.
That was a song by Warrant, Cherry Cake.
Right. No, cherry pie. It was by Warrant, starring famous model Bobby Brown was in the video,
Yes.
too.
Also from Who's Married to Whitney Houston.
Hang on, I'm going to go to Christopher. It was a different Bobby Brown. Hi, Christopher. You're on the air. Good morning.
Oh my God, this is insane. This is my first time ever on the radio.
Wow. Welcome, sir.
Oh, my
Welcome.
God, this
And
is
what
crazy.
did you want to share with us, sir?
So there is someone on the show asked if there was an exclusive pie shop.
Yes.
In Ambler, Pennsylvania, there is a restaurant called Pie and Plate.
Wow.
And they are an exclusive pie restaurant.
Okay.
I
And
love that idea.
Good to know.
Have you been, and do you recommend it?
Oh my God, I highly recommend it. They
All
have
right.
some of the best chocolate chess pie and key lime pie.
Hell yeah.
So not only do they have sweet pies, but they have savory pies like quiche and pot pies.
I'm down with that, too. What is the name of it again? Pie and Plate.
Yeah, it's right on Main Street in Ambler.
Oh.
All
I
right.
make a good quiche.
Thank you, Christopher. Do they make, are there savory cakes? I guess so.
Like
meatloaf.
Like meatloaf and crab cakes.
Yeah, just put an icing on it.
Pancakes. There you go. Juliana. Hi, Juliana. Good morning.
Hello. How are you?
Wonderful. What's up, Juliana?
So there's an awesome pie place down in Kenneth Square owned by a great gal named Molly, and it's called Nomadic Pies.
Nomadic
Pies. Nomadic Pies.
We have the website up on our screen here, Juliana, and it looks pretty impressive.
Her crusts are the bomb, and all of her ingredients are local.
Okay.
I love
So
that.
all of her fruit, all of her meat, and if you ever get a chance, you got to try her pie. They're really, really good.
I'll say this, and it's been echoed a number of times, and
Thank
you
you,
brought it up,
Juliana.
and Preston, you agree. A great crust
that's
is a very elusive thing in the
fantastic.
world of piedom.
If you stumble across a great one, you're lucky.
Man, this is a great name
Marry
for,
that crust.
for a pie shop. This is in Boyertown. It's called Semper Pie.
Oh,
I love that.
Yeah.
That's great. Is it like veteran owned, maybe?
I'm not sure, but it's
Semper Pie.
That's great.
It's on Reading Avenue in Boyertown.
I love it. Okay. So, yes, there are pie shops. In fact, for Pie Day, there are specials that you can get. And, Steve, there's none in our area that were really
Rat
mentioned on
bastards.
this. But Red Robin has the Mountain High Mud Pie on National Pie Day. And
Red Robin's good.
Let me see.
They
What
have
kind of
great
deal is it? I don't know what kind of deal you get there. But
Yeah, and just mention the Preston and Steve show. They'll give you 2 pies, and you bring one of them to us.
No, don't do that.
That's accurate.
Don't do that.
I mean,
They
try
won't-
it.
they won't do that.
I mean, you could give
All
it a
right,
shot.
I'm just trying.
I like
But,
Steve's idea.
They also have Red Robin also offers unlimited refills on sides when purchasing a burger, sandwich, or entree. Unlimited refills on the bottomless root beer float.
Bottomless root beer float.
And even bottomless entree. The Mac It Yours is swirly twirly pasta. What? Okay.
So if
that, that sounds like porn.
All right, so if you had
How much for a swirly?
A swirly twirly.
Swirlies are blowies, right?
No, the toilet. is
Well,
a swirly.
no, there's 2 different kinds of swirlies.
There
One
is?
is the one where your face gets shoved into a toilet and you flush the toilet, and then another swirl. Because my friend was a cab driver and the chick didn't have money and offered him a swirly for a ride.
I think she was just a crack whore.
She might have been a crack
A
whore.
swirly? So she offered to shove his face into a toilet?
We also did where you would lick your, spit on your finger and stick
That's
it
a wet
somewhere
willy.
in their ear. That's a wet willy.
That's a wet
yeah.
willy.
Used best when it's your pinky finger. Also, you can use pinkies for stinky pinkies.
Jesus Christ.
Can you stop that?
Yeah.
What's
we
better?
Were talking about cake
A
and
pie
Yeah.
or finger
Here's your
blasting?
answer.
We're talking about hot fruit. Kathy
hot
doesn't
fruit,
even
come
like
on.
that.
What's better, apple pie or finger blasting?
Yeah. What if you had a pie shop?
I mean, come on, really? Is that really a debate?
It's already up on the website.
Yes.
What if you had a what? Oh.
A pie shop and the mascot was a rabbit and you called it hair pie. Would that work? Would you go to a place like that?
H-A-R-E.
Yeah.
Actually, that's
And then
kind of
put
a
it
funny idea.
in parentheses underneath, like vagina.
Yeah.
Yeah, like pubes.
Get it?
Wow. Okay.
All I know is I really desperately want either a good cake or a good pie, and I thank all the businesses that have offered to drive them over to us.
Let me go to Pam here real quick. I didn't see what she had to say here at the end. Hi, Pam. You're on the air. Good morning.
What's up, bitches?
Yo, bitch. What's your story?
So I called in because there is a place, and it's not in the area, but if you have a chance to go in Savannah, Georgia, called Pie Society.
Okay. Pie Society.
Pies.
Huh.
So they're meat pies, meat and potatoes, but they're baked in a pie similar to, chicken pot pie. They also make fruit pies, but everything is a pie. The pastries are awesome.
Pam, this looks like it might be a franchise, is it?
I only know of the one in Savannah,
right.
but I do know that they have a website, and if you guys want to try one, you can go online and purchase one. Most of them you have to bake in the oven. They come to you already pre-made and frozen so that when you bake them when you want and they give you directions. I highly recommend them. The other thing I want to say to you is that my nephew, for all the times that I had sleepovers with my nieces and nephews, he always wanted pumpkin pie. The kids were asked what you wanted.
I love pumpkin pie.
I made the pie the cake or pie that they wanted, and he was the only one that wanted pie, and I was happy to make him pumpkin pie. I even made him one to take home.
What was
I think it's a personal preference.
What was the cake that the Tom Cruise cake?
Thank you, Pam.
Sorry, Tom Cruise pie or whatever that thing we attempted to order prior to the holidays.
That was a cake.
Yeah.
It's a cake.
Yeah.
Is that so? I know Marissa hunted it down. They hand cooked them, hand baked them, and but prior to the holidays, they were absolutely unattainable.
Yeah.
Marissa's got her finger up.
Oh, hang on.
Her swirly finger.
Steve, we just got a message from Goldbelly that the white chocolate coconut bundt cake from Doan's is now available.
So I will gladly purchase so we can taste on the
Like
air.
$150.
I will do it, and I will hand that receipt to Bill Weber.
93.3 WMMR.
All right. Thank you very much, Kathy. A little while ago, I asked for you to be the 27th caller on the contest lines and correctly identify the answer to the clue from 8 a.m., and you could win a trip for two to Universal Orlando Resort with flights provided by Spirit. We are now going to attempt to get a winner. To the phones we go. And the 27th caller, by the way, is Sarah. Hey, Sarah, good morning.
Good morning.
Oh, Sarah, you sound excited.
I am so excited.
All right. Well, we need to find out the answer to this question. Kathy was displaying her athletic ability by performing this gymnastic maneuver in one of our photo hunt photos. What gymnastic maneuver is that, Sarah?
A beautiful handstand.
And she is correct.
Oh, my goodness.
And that means, Sarah, you are headed to Universal Orlando Resort. We have a trip for two. The flights are provided by Spirit, and you have officially won. So congratulations to
All
you.
right. Thank you so much.
You're going to have such
So
an awesome
excited.
time. Yo, that's great. Yeah, it'll only ramp up that much more.
All right, Sarah, you into roller coasters?
Yes.
Okay, you have got to ride the Velasa coaster when you go there. This one is...
I know. I'm so excited. So
Yeah,
excited.
it
I'm a
is-
big roller coaster fan.
Oh, you're going to love that.
That and Hagrid's, two of my favorite coasters ever.
Yeah, so you're in store for a great time, and obviously there's a ton of other things that will keep you entertained, and it's going to be a trip of a lifetime. You're going to love it. So, way to go, Sarah! Nice job. Congratulations to you.
Thank you.
All right, hang on the line. We'll get your information. We'll take care of you. That's how easy it is, right there, folks. We have 3 more of those to give away. We'll do the next one starting at 8 a.m. tomorrow. We'll give you a clue. You go to our website, you take a look at the pictures, you find an answer to that little clue that we give to you. So it's more of a question that we ask, but nonetheless, and then you be the designated caller and you even answer like Sarah, and then you're on your way to where we just came from.
We just came from there, and I'm already envious of Sarah.
I know.
Yeah.
I know. So we're making memories for you. That's it, friends. All right, Bizarre File time. Here we go.
WMMR presents Preston and Steve's Bizarre File.
All right, and it is brought to you by Lehigh Valley. Oh, it's brought to you by Red Robin. That's it. It says Lehigh Valley Restaurant Group /Red Robin.
We know what that is.
The March College Basketball Tournament is here, and Red Robin is offering 10% off all pick-up catering orders throughout March using the code MATCH10. Order today at order.redrobinpa.com. Yum.
It's March 10 is the
What did I
code.
say?
You said match 10.
March 10. Yum. All right, 2 days after two men were believed to have drowned in Lake Eloise in Winter Haven, the sheriff, Grady Judd, said their bodies were found. And this is messed up how this happened, too. Judd said on Saturday afternoon, a horrible tragedy occurred when three people went into the water in Lake Eloise. The good news is we were able to rescue one of the people, a young lady. After searching for the men believed to have drowned, officials found them at the bottom of the lake on Monday. Jeffrey Marrero and Orlando Ortiz were located. They were about 300 to 400 yards offshore in the lake. They were still at the bottom of the lake. So,
what happened?
Well, they were in water approximately 16 feet deep when they were found. So Saturday afternoon, the men had gone on a boating trip. They were out for an afternoon of pleasure. Velky Vasquez and Orlando Ortiz were celebrating their 1-year anniversary of dating, and they brought along their friend Jeffrey Marrero and his two young daughters. The adults successfully passed a class in order to rent a boat for the day. The sheriff said it was a rough day on the water. The wind's blowing 20 miles per hour. There was 2-foot chop with whitecaps.
Yeah.
When the group found a spot to relax, Vasquez jumped into the water with the anchor. And Judd said she was very inexperienced, so she thinks that you have to get into the water, put the anchor in, and then tie it to the boat.
Oh, man.
When Vasquez resurfaced, police said the boat had floated away. She struggled to swim after it, and so the two men jumped in to help her, and the boat kept floating away. I'm assuming it was a sailboat.
So her perception was you sink the anchor and then tie it to the boat?
I guess, yeah, you go out and throw it in the water, and, yeah, so she didn't know what she was doing. So the two gentlemen who were average swimmers eventually they went in after her. Okay, so eventually Vasquez, the girl, flipped onto her back and floated, according to the sheriff. The two men swam after the boat with the two girls inside, and they were believed to have drowned in the process. So they were trying to swim.
That's horrible, man.
Yeah, they were trying to swim after the boat, because she was out there and she needed help, and she just remained floating and managed to survive that way. So the sheriff said this isn't uncommon for somebody to decide that they're going to take a quick dip in the water, and all of a sudden the boat starts floating away. He said Vasquez made the right move by floating on her back and fighting against any panic.
By the way, floating in 2-foot chop,
not easy.
It's not easy. Yeah.
Yep. A woman from Maine is under arrest after police alleged she called in fake threats at a Walmart. And according to police, officers received a report of a possible explosive device in a Walmart. Soon after, officers reported that someone called the police department directly, claiming that a man in the store had a gun.
We've got to do something. We have over $400 worth of merchandise in this place.
Now, officers evacuated Walmart and nearby stores to search the store, and they called in the New Hampshire State Police Bomb Squad, swept for any explosive devices. Department reported they didn't find anything. The stores opened for business again a short time later. But around 4 p.m., police say they found the suspect behind the hoax threats at a Best Western hotel. Her name was Megan Levitt. She had been charged with false reports of explosives and false public alarm, and it's interesting how she got busted. They were able to identify her as the suspect and track her down quickly because she made these threatening calls on speakerphone on her way to shopping in an Uber. Her driver heard her make the calls and subsequently alerted the police.
Jesus.
So she's calling in bomb threats, all right? And her Uber driver overhears it and is like, what's going on?
What you doing back there? I'm calling in some bomb threats.
Officers say she was coming to the complex because her boyfriend was about to be arrested at the Dick's Sporting Goods across from the Walmart for shoplifting. He was hiding in a changing room, talking to her before she made the calls. She was doing it to distract the police from busting him.
Why would you send more police to the Walmart where he's hiding?
No, he wasn't. He was at the Dick's Sporting Goods across the street. And so she was trying to get them out. It was actually... except for the in part of your Uber driver part, that's, it was a decent idea.
Now, you got to promise not to tell anyone, okay?
Right.
Thank you, Mr. Uber driver.
This is terrible. A Florida man is dead after a work accident involving a cement mixer on Wednesday afternoon.
No.
Apparently, a man was working inside a mixer, and it was turned on, and then he became entangled inside of it. I don't know what's inside of those things.
Well, I got to assume there's a lot of dried cement.
I was thinking like a blender.
Yeah,
thingy
like
of
that. I
sorts.
would imagine besides it just spinning around, there's got to be some kind of mechanism inside of there, I guess. I don't
okay.
know.
Yeah, you guys are right. I for some reason I thought it more of a more conical, but there are these ridges in it, obviously, to mix the things up.
Yeah, so he got entangled in that. The county initially said that he suffered traumatic injuries and needed to be extricated from the machine. He was pronounced dead a short time later, and they are investigating that incident.
Do you have any idea what killed him?
It was probably the cement mixer.
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
I think it might have been.
I don't want to speculate.
Yeah, it's under
Too early to
investigation.
tell, but we have a truck of suspicion.
All right, we need
Of
a
interest.
We need a positive story to end with
Yes,
here.
a happy death.
All right, so not a happy death. This is a skier who was buried in snow for about 6.5 minutes after getting caught in an avalanche in New Hampshire's White Mountains this week. Was dug out by a companion and survived uninjured. 3 skiers had ascended what's known as Wildcat B Carter Notch on Wednesday morning, but one turned back after deciding the conditions were too risky. They described it as they were described as experienced backcountry skiers who were equipped with beacons, shovels, and probes. One of the 2 remaining skiers began descending and unintentionally triggered an avalanche. That person was swept 500 vertical feet down a narrow gully before coming to rest buried and unable to move anything except for one hand. The person was critically buried, meaning that there was possibility of a blocked airway.
Oh, boy.
And it was life-threatening. So the other skier began to search with an avalanche beacon, but couldn't find the signal. That person saw a hand sticking out of the snow and started digging, successfully extracting the buried skier and freeing their airway after about 6.5 minutes.
That's amazing.
The freed skier was conscious and unhurt, and the pair left the area on their own. They self-reported the incident to the center. So had they not seen that hand sticking up out of the snow, they wouldn't have made it, man.
And as you know, snow in an avalanche almost takes on cement-like properties. It becomes very compacted.
Yep, and there you go. That is what I have in the bizarre file. We're going to take a break. We're going to come back in a second, and we'll do the lesson question, the trash, and music news. When we return, stay there.
Preston and Steve.
On 93.3 WMMR. See what you've been hearing.
Should you be a pie person or not?
It does incite the passions, doesn't it? It's what we love.
All right, that's all we're going to have time for. For connoisseur this morning.
I think we solved a lot of issues.
Did we? Well, we do have a poll that's up, and it's is cheesecake a pie or a cake? And then do we have another one, pie versus cake? Okay, so you can vote. Now, I expect cake to win, but I believe that pie has more love.
Throw out pie versus finger blast.
It's what I believe. All right, connoisseur outro music
Yeah, I'm
as
stuck
we.
here. The screen got stuck.
It's frozen.
Yeah.
Oh.
Thank you.
I mean, just go out on that. I think that's it.
All right, thank you very much, Kathy. Some really great things about this next guest in the story. We were in here yesterday. We were watching the video. Marissa goes, "You got to see this," or was it you that showed?
No,
it
it was
to me?
Marissa.
Marissa's coming. You got to see this. She goes, "She's from Philly," and she plays the clip. And we're going to have her on in just a second. A reporter in West Virginia, a TV station, doing a live report, gets hit by a car.
And not like a little tap. Like she got hit and knocked to the ground.
Gets right back up again and continues the report. And I told Casey I felt like totally big timing yesterday because we're sitting here watching this, and I go, that's great. Get her on. Get her on tomorrow. And of course, Marissa took care and made it happen. I'm going to play the clip here for you. This is clip number 1 of this happening.
And now we're starting to experience, unfortunately, in freeze thaw, we see this, water main breaks.
Got hit by a car, but I'm okay. I just got hit by a car, but I'm okay, Tim.
That's the first for you on TV, Tori.
Woo! We're all good. I'm okay. I actually got hit by a car in college, too, just like that.
Wow.
I am so glad I'm okay.
You
One
sure
woman
you're
band.
okay, Tori?
We're good, Tim. Man,
sure you're okay?
are so sweet, and you are okay. It is all good.
Oh, my God.
Is that the woman that hit her?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
And I was, when she said I got hit by a car in college one time, I was like, oh my God.
It's okay. I get hit by vehicles often.
And then one last part to play here. All right, here we go.
You know, it's my last week on the job, and I think this would happen.
So you were bumped
specifically to me, Tim.
Were you bumped down low, Tori, or were you hit up high? I couldn't really tell from looking.
Oh, do you know if I was bumped down low or up high, sir?
I just saw you disappear
I don't even
out of the
know.
screen.
I don't even know, Tim. My whole life just flashed before my eyes.
Oh my God.
The pride of Plymouth White Marsh. Please welcome Tori Yorgey. Yeah.
Thank you.
Hi,
Thank you.
Oh my God.
Oh my God. Are you okay?
Yeah, I am okay. I am good. I'm just a little sore. Thank you for asking, but I'm totally okay.
So what happened was it wasn't a head on. It was more of like a side swipe, but a fairly vigorous side swipe. Correct?
Yeah. You know, I thought about it afterwards, and I was really grateful for the way that she had hit me.
Yeah.
Because she pushed me forward. And, you know, I don't know, that could have went a lot of wrong ways. So I was just kind of, she I guess she must have hit me with the headlight and, you know, tossed me essentially. But it was all good. There was a patch of snow there, and I think that might have helped break my fall. I'm not really sure because I kind of, you know, blanked out a little. But, you know, it's all good. Yeah, we just got back up and kept going with it.
Okay, so what day did this happen? Was this on Wednesday?
This was on Wednesday night, at 11.
Wednesday night. So then it hits the social media craze on Thursday.
Yes.
Today, you were on the Today Show this morning.
Oh, yeah.
And so I would imagine yesterday was an absolute whirlwind for you, right?
Oh, yeah, it was for sure. I've never had so many text messages, emails, calls. It was crazy. And everyone wishing me well. It was so nice. I feel like, I definitely need to go through all them and thank everybody because I really appreciate it. But, you know, fortunately, I was good. I was at an apartment complex. I was off the roadway just right at the entrance of where you would drive up the hill or down the hill. And, you know, this is West Virginia, so it was a pretty steep hill.
Right.
But she was coming out of the complex. So luckily, you know, she was going slow enough, you know, that it wasn't too bad.
No, I think what happened, what people instantly connected to is that you had just been sideswiped. You're saying to her, you're so sweet, and you were concerned about her, and people immediately heard you. You didn't jump up and go, "You crazy bitch! What did you just do?" You took a more sober approach to the whole thing, and that's I think what people connected to. You were clearly concerned about her as well.
Yeah, no, and I appreciate that. And a lot of people are saying that, you know, the thing is she didn't mean to do it. And I could tell as soon as she got out of the car, her face, her voice was super distraught. And I was like, you know what? I haven't hit anybody, but I've definitely been in a situation where I, you know, was like, oh, I can't believe I just did that. So I didn't want to make it any worse on her. And, you know, and and now I feel even worse because it's like everywhere. So she's just kind of, you know, probably having to see it more and more. But she was really a nice person and genuinely didn't mean it. So I just figured, let me just reassure her, let her know I'm good. Everything's fine. We're good.
When Marissa told me you were from our area, I was almost expecting you to go, "It's okay, I'm from Philly."
Yeah. No, you know, yeah.
Oh, I was going to say, we got to hear about the college thing. All right. What's that story?
I know. Do you know, it's funny. I don't know why that was like the first words to come out of my mouth. I really don't know. It was one of those things, just shock, you know?
Yeah.
But basically in college, I went to Penn State University, and I was walking home from the library one night, true story, and I was walking past an alleyway, and the guy just rolled a stop. And he wasn't going, you know, not maybe like 10 miles an hour, if that, just gave me a little push.
Mm-hmm.
And he got out all concerned. I was like, dude, it's good. Just keep going. We're good. And I just kept walking. And then, so I think in my head, I was trying to just reassure her, you know, this has happened. It's fine. You know,
I get hit all the time. Yeah.
It wasn't that bad at the time. I just was like, let me just let her, you know, that's the only thing I could think of as to why I said it.
It's just funny because it'd be akin to someone saying, "Oh, it's okay, I get hit by lightning all the time."
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, so what happened with her? Why did she hit you?
I don't know. You know, I was standing in, like I said, at the end of that apartment complex. I was up against the corner, and I was actually on the opposite side as to where the cars typically turn out like that. I think she just cut it real good. And like,
Yeah.
I don't know, maybe the emergency crews, because there was a water main break and the whole road was not closed, but down to one lane, and they were doing slow, the workers out there with their slow and stop signs.
Right.
So maybe she got a little, distracted with that, or, just it could have been a lot of different things. I definitely know I will not be doing a live shot in that area, in that spot ever again, though.
Well,
I've learned from this. It's all good. I don't need to get hit by another car.
Yeah, it's clearly, and this is a common thing. They send, you do the live shot from a location where a water main break or whatever, and it happens constantly. But I mean, we've had stories here. We had the Fox 29 reporter, Steve Keeley, just got blasted by a snowplow. And that became a viral sensation. The truth of the matter is, you guys are out doing this stuff. Are we good there? Yeah, you guys are out and doing this stuff. And it's always a risk when you're standing roadside or by something that might distract a driver. So do they, when you're one of these kind of reporters that's going out to this sort of thing, do they give you a little instruction on how to maintain your safety while you're out there?
Yeah, they definitely do. And, we do have safety gear if needed, but I wasn't on the road.
Yeah.
So I didn't think, I just had so many indicators that I'm in a safe spot. Even the water guys were like, yeah, just park up there. You won't be in our way. You'll be good. And I was like, okay, great. This is going to work out so good. And but the thing is there is a lot of journalists out there now taking this incident and they're, kind of advocating for journalism safety. And I totally understand. I think it's a conversation that should be had. However, in that moment, I did not feel in danger.
Right.
Had I felt in danger, I would have left, and my boss would have never second guessed it. She's first to tell me, just head out if you're not feeling safe.
Cool.
But, it's just one of those freak accidents. But yeah, they do teach us to be safe and stuff. I don't know. It was just a crazy incident. And I really don't know how she hit me. My car was parked like 15 feet away from me, look up a little bit. But I thought that was going to be safe because people typically just go around it.
Yeah.
So they'll kind of, go around you too. If
Sure.
you're close enough to it. Just didn't work out in my favor, man.
Yeah. Well, Tori, so you talk about people advocating for your safety, and that's one of the things that started happening last night. Is people were commenting, journalists all over the country and maybe even the world have been talking about, because there have been cost cutting measures that TV stations are implementing, where normally you'd be out there with a photog, and so now you're out there by yourself. So people are saying that if you had a photog with you, he or she could have warned you that somebody was on the way.
WMMR, another one bites dust, 10:15. On Tuesday morning, the Preston and Steve Show. Let us not forget, it is Tattoos Day, and your opportunity to win a free tattoo from Floating World Tattoo and Piercing on South Street in Philadelphia. Text word tattoo to 39333. Still got some time left. I also have a few more gift cards giveaway for Primo Hoagies. We'll do that in a little bit, not at this very moment, but I do want to remind you that they have some cool things going on with Primo. They are throwing a Primo party today at 380 Egg Harbor Road in Sewell, New Jersey. Make your day Primo and help celebrate the opening of the 100th Primo Hoagies location. You get a $6.99 Primo-sized hoagies all day. So it's not just a hoagie, it's a Primo. I'll do some more giveaways in a little while. We got to do something else right now, and that is the lesson question. And we will give away as a prize today 4-pack of tickets for, 4-pack of tickets and pit party passes for the Monster Jam, which is going to be Saturday, April 15th at the Link. And the question we will go with this morning is, when he would go to visit JCPenney's, where did Steve like to pee?
Yep.
215-263-WMMR. All right, that was in the 7 o'clock hour. When he would go to visit JCPenney's, where did Steve like to pee? 215-263-WMMR. If you happen to know the answer to that, you should call right now because we got the prize over here for you.
The trash business is a gold mine. 93.3 WMMR with Preston and Steve's Hollywood Trash.
Brought to you this morning by 5 Hour Energy. Replace your afternoon coffee with a 5 Hour Energy. It's perfect when you're feeling coffeeed out and your stomach will thank you. Discover 5 Hour Energy. Learn more at 5hourenergy.com. What's going on this morning, Steve?
Well, Avril Lavigne was gifted with a $150,000 necklace from rumored new boyfriend Tyga. Tyga, who's been on a career slide for quite a while, reportedly told Lavigne that it's the new thing in jewelry to keep the store security tag on. New details are emerging about King Charles's upcoming coronation and the guests he's inviting. Some are suggesting that the guest list is actually being handled by someone else, questioning the inclusion of both Machine Gun Kelly and TikTok star Charlie D'Amelio. Doesn't seem right. And finally, Preston, you mentioned this earlier, Blac Chyna was seen in Atlanta on Friday night after having all of her filler removed, along with her breast and butt implants. Chyna initially went unrecognized, as most people assumed she was Steve Buscemi.
Go! Wow.
And that's your Hollywood track.
All right, we are going to attempt to find a winner. We need to answer the lesson question. When he went to visit JCPenney's, where did Steve like to pee? And we will go to Tracy to see if we can find that correct answer. Good morning, Tracy.
Good morning.
All right, Tracy, I need to know, when he would go to JCPenney's, where does Steve like to pee?
In the fitting room.
Fitting room. You are correct, Tracy.
Really nice in there.
Hold on just a moment, because you got yourself a 4-pack of tickets and pit party passes for the Monster Jam, Saturday, April 15th, Lincoln Financial Field. You can experience full throttle family fun at Monster Jam, where world-class athletes and their 12,000-pound monster trucks tear up the dirt in wide-open competitions of speed and skill. Tickets and info at monsterjam.com.
Now, Preston and Steve's Music News on 93.3 WMMR.
Yeah! Brought to you by Sequoia Outback, making backyards beautiful all over the Delaware Valley for over 25 years. Stop in for their annual Spring into Sequoia sale, which is going now Route 309 in Hatfield, or at decksupplies.com. Set for release on June 2nd is the Hollywood Vampires' first live album. It's titled Live in Rio. The band, which features Alice Cooper, Aerosmith's Joe Perry, and Johnny Depp, was captured live back in 2015, only days after the release of their debut album. And it says here they performed in front of a whopping 100,000 fans.
Whoa!
It's crazy. Ultimate Classic Rock Report.
It's a lot of people.
Reported the collection included such Alice Cooper standards as School's Out and $1 Billion Babies, along with covers of the Rolling Stones' Brown Sugar, The Who's My Generation, and I'm a Boy, T-Rex's Jeepster, The Doors' 5 to 1, Spirits, I Got a Line on You,
Bagster,
Jimi Hendrix Experienced Manic Depression, and John Lennon's Cold Turkey, with Hailstorm's Lizzie Hale joining the band for a take on Led Zeppelin's Whole Lotta Love. What?
This next one's called Dumpster in a Bag.
Baxter!
I don't think they were performing in front of 100,000 fans. I think they were performing in front of 100,000 people who just so happened to be at that show. It had to have been a Glastonbury or something.
But you see, those impressive numbers that they get down there. It's just crazy.
Yeah.
Huge turnout.
It's true. I mean, Rush played their biggest show ever.
Yeah.
For 80,000 people.
You remember the Queen. In fact, it's depicted in Bohemian Rhapsody. He's down there, and how many people are singing the song along with him?
Yeah, but I find it hard to believe, Alice Cooper, Joe Perry, and Johnny Depp would draw 100,000 people. I don't know what the story is, but
it's so hard to believe. People like to hear us and perform. Isn't that right, Joe? That's completely correct.
I didn't know you did a Joe Perry.
He was a great guy, but Jesus Christ, what a horrible interview.
He's a terrible interview. Yeah, he's a great musician, but just usually doesn't have a lot to say.
Your mother.
All right.
Your mother?
Or your mother.
It just occurred to me that our former coworker, Sydney, is working with Alice Cooper.
Yeah.
I wonder if she's on any of these
She would have to be.
stops.
Nick, I saw she posted on...
well, she was in Memphis recently. I saw that because I follow her on Instagram as well, but I don't know if she's doing the Hollywood vampire stuff as well.
That'd be cool.
Good question. We'll have to find out if we can.
Cool. It's great playing with this guy.
Last year, Fans were both excited and disappointed that although Peter Gabriel was in the audience for the final Genesis concert, he held off from joining his former bandmates on stage. This week marks the one-year anniversary of that band's last gig, which was held March 26, 2022 at London's O2 Arena. During a chat recently to promote his upcoming album title, I.O., Gabriel was asked about watching the gig in the audience. He said, ultimately, there were human relationships underneath with Tony and Mike. I mean, these were people I was at school with when I was 13 years old. There was a lot of history there. And it was lovely to see Phil again, even though he wasn't as strong as I remembered him. But it brought back a lot of memories. I was very glad I was there. I had been there at the beginning, so I should be there at the end. And he went on to say, I don't see them very often, but I enjoy my relationships with those guys. I love the freedom of being able to do what I want, when I want, and how I want. And that's fine to give up on a particular project. But as a state of living, I don't want to be having arguments again. So it was better for them to be apart. But he does still have a lot of love for the.
I love Peter Gabriel. Love Peter Gabriel's version of Genesis. But I mean, the fact that you had Phil Collins step in and sound almost exactly the same.
Yeah.
And then also be the musician and songwriter that he was and is. It was amazing. So that's one case I love to hear that everyone's getting along nicely and the friendship remains because you started something huge. That's why it's so sad with. Pink Floyd and Gilmore and Roger Waters. It shouldn't be.
Yep.
They went through a lot together.
After years of delays, the long-awaited Keith Moon biopic is finally set to begin filming in June.
Who's playing him?
I don't know. Not really sure. According to Variety, Moon's surviving Who bandmates and manager Roger Daltrey and Pete Townsend are going to serve as executive producers. With the film being directed by Paul Whittington, best known for his work on The Crown and White House Farm. The Real Me was written by British screenwriter Jeff Pope, who was nominated for an Oscar for his script for the 2013 film Philomena. The Who's longtime manager Bill Curbishley is among the film's producers, with the LA-based White Horse Pictures serving as the movie's production house.
Who would you cast?
No release date has been announced. That's a good question. Somebody who's kind of short and wiry and can look crazy from time to time.
Triple H?
No, not Triple H. No. The first person that popped into my mind was, and this wouldn't be right, but Paul Rudd. Not quite right, but somebody who has his build.
What about like a...
I gotta see what he looks like. I don't even remember what he looks like.
He was smaller. Yep. He had a little meat on his bones. He wasn't fat. He was just soft.
All right.
I was thinking of the earlier era of him because he was kind of skinny in the beginning. But that's a good question.
Is Justin Long too old?
I would say.
Yeah. That's not bad.
Who was the other one from Phantom Planet? That guy.
Oh, Jason Schwartzman.
Schwartzman might.
There you go.
But Schwartzman might be a little, but
a little too small.
What you're going to get is you want to get someone younger that you can age out in the movie, as opposed to doing it in reverse.
I like Jason Schwartzman. That's pretty good, Case. And he could definitely be kinetic and
What about his aunt, Talia Shire?
Maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Nah,
Because she's pretty. Well, she's pretty versatile.
Yeah.
All right, but anyhow,
not even thinking about me.
Looks like they're gonna.
Hey, you sure play mean pinball.
Yeah. Looks like the movie is going to be made, so we'll have to see who's going to be cast as him. All right, and then finally, Def Leppard's Rick Allen took to social media to thank fans for their overwhelming support after he was assaulted last week in front of the Four Seasons Hotel in Fort Lauderdale. A 19-year-old suspect was arrested and is facing a charge of abuse to an elderly or disabled adult without great harm.
Who the hell beats up an amputee?
He has since bonded out of jail. Allen wrote via social media, thank you, everyone, for your overwhelming support. Your love and prayers are truly helping. My wife, Lauren, was thankfully not with me at the time of the incident, and we are together now and working on recovering in a safe space. He said we were focused on healing. When we asked that you join us in our effort to move from confusion and shock to compassion and empathy. We understand this act of violence can be triggering for so many people. To all the fans, veterans, And first responders in our global community, we're thinking of all of you all. Together with love, we can all get through these difficult times, is what he had to say. So
he's a nice guy.
Yeah, and that is the last bit I have in music news for you. All right, let's give away. I got 2 of these left. I'm going to give away 2 $50 gift cards for Primo Hoagies.
2?
And we'll take caller 15 and 16 at 215-263-WMMR. We want to congratulate Primo Hoagies on their 100th location. It's hard to believe, isn't it?
It's unbelievable.
So call
100 locations.
Primo Hoagies are made only with the highest quality Thuman's meats and cheeses, sliced fresh to order and served on Primo's award-winning seedless rolls, baked fresh every day. So 15 and 16, you get the goods. 215-263-WMMR. Going to wrap up the show when we return. Stay with us.
Preston and Steve on 93.3 WMMR.
What's new?
Is your contemporaries are advocating for you and other people like you.
Absolutely. Yeah, and we could do the what ifs all day about it. The thing is, when you are in these size markets, they're smaller, not as many people, so smaller, mid-size. Even the larger markets, though, I've noticed lately, they're having one woman, one man bands. And the thing is I signed up for this. I knew what I was getting into. This wasn't my first rodeo on a live shot by myself. So the issue, I understand advocating for the safety. I am all for it. And again, think a conversation should be had. However, in this situation, I didn't feel in danger. I was just like, all right, I'm just going to do a quick live shot. And then, a car hit me. But I mean,
it's a water main break. Yeah.
It happens.
Yeah.
So Tori, listen, I know you're going to Pittsburgh next in your career, and oftentimes as you move up the chain in broadcasting, you'll hear from directors and producers to lose that Philly accent. Please never ever lose your Philly accent.
We can hear it.
It's so endearing.
You know what? I know it's because I'm comfortable with you guys, so that's why I'm talking the way I normally would talk. But yeah, on TV they do tell me you can't have an accent, so I do try and clean it up, but. In that incident, I was like, there is no way. I do try and put a filter on it and try, and I practice my speech. And, but yeah, it's always going to be there. It's just one of those things. And I appreciate that so much because, it is home for me.
Yeah.
So, just part of me.
By the way, if you're just tuning in, it's Tori Yorgey. She went viral yesterday, works as a reporter in West Virginia and was hit by a car during a live report. And her last week of work, by the way.
Oh, my gosh.
This happens on the last week. Somebody had texted in and says, your aunt owns a restaurant in the area.
Yeah,
so why not go ahead
my
and give
aunt.
that a plug?
Oh, yeah, I would love to. It's the best restaurant in the whole world. My Aunt Peggy, it's on Flint Hill Road and King of Prussia. It's called Gateway Cafe. She was, they actually a few years back when I was interning at Fox 29, they went out there, Bob Kelly. And so, Gateway Cafe, Flint Hill Road. They have amazing food. I think they are relocating soon, but of course we'll keep up with that. But yeah, no, that's too funny.
Maybe they'll name a dish after you, like pedestrian or head on or something like that.
Yeah. My uncle was saying last night, he's like, we need you to sign a picture. We'll just frame it.
Just you being launched.
That's too much.
Well,
Too much. But yeah, I am a Plymouth White Marsh graduate. I'm very proud of my high school.
Nice.
And, Montgomery County was where I was born
When did you graduate?
So I'm proud of my roots.
When did you graduate from PW?
I graduated from PW, in 2014. Then I went to Penn State.
Okay.
So if you think of the confluence of events here and how everything worked out, and it's your last week at this station, you're going to a station in Pittsburgh, and you have this, I saw it, the whole incident was covered in the Daily Mail, for crying out loud, with the video and everything. It's global.
Yeah.
For all of the way this could have played out, it played out in the absolute best viral way possible. It's got to be mind-blowing to see that as a journalist, you get information out, you try to get information to people, and yet it's the reporter being sideswiped by a car that becomes a global news event.
I know, it's crazy. And you're right. The last week, like today is literally my last day at the station. I'm thinking, I'm going to be a big old crybaby going in there and saying bye to all my people that I love here. And, now I'm like, okay, I guess I'm going to interview with a bunch of, it's just crazy how things have unfolded. But yeah, you know, I don't know. I really enjoyed my time here, man. And I definitely, yeah, it's just, yeah, you're right. It's just crazy how the timing happened.
Yeah.
And of course, my goal is to get to Philadelphia one day. So now as I'm sitting here talking to you all, it's just super unreal. And, you know, yeah, Pittsburgh's next, but hopefully that's not my last stop.
Tori, what's the station in Pittsburgh where you'll be working?
The station is WTAE. It's the Pittsburgh's Action News 4. It's
All right,
ABC.
cool. You will officially be the most famous new reporter they ever have.
Yeah. You know, I just hope people don't look at me. Well, I know they're going to look at me and be like, oh, yeah, she was hit by a car. You know?
It's going to take a little while.
I hope they watch for the story, you know, and not to see if I just get hit by another car. That's
I mean,
the hope.
you never know. That station might have planted that lady in that car and made
Yeah,
her.
you know.
Let's
I
hit
know.
her in.
That station too. They did call me like right away, the first thing the next morning, and checked on me, and they were.
That's
super
nice.
Sweet
That's
about
cool.
it.
Did they want to have you on for an interview or anything like that?
No. I think he was like, no. I told him I was a little overwhelmed with like the request that I got yesterday. So I think he was kind of, you know, we'll get her when we get her, and
All right.
it'll all be good. Yeah. So no, I haven't been on there yet. So, but you know. It's kind of a weird situation.
Yeah. Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, all the way around. Tori, I know you're a big Eagles fan. Did you see that Lane Johnson actually tweeted at you yesterday?
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
I screamed. I think I was like crazier than the Today Show. And then, you know, I talked to Brandon Graham this morning on WIP.
Yeah.
It's just been a crazy like 48 hours.
Wow.
I love my birds, and that part was like, whew, oh my gosh, that's when I lost it. Honestly, I was like, this is too much for me right now.
That's cool.
Wow. Well, listen, I can't say I'm happy you got hit by a car.
No.
I mean, that's just there's no way to say, you know, that. But I'm glad you're getting the attention you're getting. That's really cool.
Yeah, thank you. I know, I you know, it's going. I don't know. I guess it's just one of those things. You just take a negative and make it into a positive. You know, everybody tells me my reaction was priceless, and I don't know, you know, when you're in the moment and like that, and the personality and just the person I am, I talk myself through situations, and I think that's what I was trying to do. And I figured, well, you know what, if I keep going on with the report, I won't cry, and I'll just forget about it. It'll be fine. And then of course, when I was done, the report, you know, it did not. That was.
It didn't mitigate it at all.
Yeah. But that's it. That's what a professional does.
Yeah.
You carry on, man. That's what you do. You're on your
Thank
way.
you.
So that's
Thank
awesome.
you so much. Thank you.
Well, thank you for coming on this morning,
Yeah.
Tori. We know
Oh,
you're
thanks for having
overwhelmed,
me.
but maybe we'll see you in person someday. Okay.
You guys are so fun. Thank you so much
Yeah.
for everything.
Good luck
Thank
with
you.
everything. Tori Yorgey, guys.
Yay.
Headed to Pittsburgh, hit by a car on live TV in West Virginia.
I hope
Oh
we
my
see
God.
her here. I hope she
I
makes
do
it back
too.
to Philly.
You know.
You know?
You know. Oh my God, she's adorable.
Yeah.
She is. She's great.
She seems as sweet as you could possibly be. Man.
What kind
What it
of
would be.
flavor is it, cognac?
I've never really had it.
Is it a liqueur or is it a?
Kind of sweet.
It's like Yoo-hoo.
It's a lot like Yoo-hoo, yeah. That's the grossest drink on the planet. Why would anybody ever drink
Shut
Yoo-hoo?
up with that crap. I'm tired of hearing that. Every time Yoo-hoo is mentioned, you guys crap all over.
I don't.
I don't.
It's
Oh,
a chocolate
God.
drink. It's
Poor.
not chocolate milk.
It's not
And
chocolate
that's the
milk.
problem.
Why bother?
It's positioned as chocolate milk. It's a chocolate drink. And I'll tell you what, and here we go again. And I'm going to relive a bad dream. But no, not a dream. It happened to me. It was real. I was
A
there.
nightmare.
Field trip to the Bronx Zoo. My mother was actually one of our
Chaperones.
chaperones. So she puts my Yoo-hoo into the freezer so it'll be nice and cold when we're walking around.
Oh.
What happens? We arrive at the zoo, walking around. It's overcast, little light drizzle. Then comes time for lunch. I sit down. I have my peanut butter and jelly sandwich, and I figured now's the time to take a swig out of that Yoo-hoo. Frozen solid. One kid found out. They all found out. And then the monkeys started laughing and pointing.
They're all going to laugh at you.
They're all gonna laugh at you. No, Mother! My Yoo-hoo is frozen, Mother! They can see your dirty pillows. I actually brought dirty pillows that day. Why would you bring dirty pillows to the zoo? For the animals!
Pennsylvania Department of Agriculture added the calorie pear, or Pyrus calorania, commonly called the Bradford pear tree, to a list of noxious weeds, plants that cannot be legally sold or cultivated in the state.
Wow. So it adds the list that is populated by the durian and other?
Well, no, it's considered invasive. So, so this is these are the semen trees.
What? Oh, I did not know that.
Yeah. So the popular non-native flowering fruit tree naturalizes. Dave and the fellas. Foo Fighters, Love Dies Young, 93.3 WMMR, 10:37 Tuesday morning. Program coming to an end. Back where we belong, in our home here in the studios after our little road trip to FLA, which, by the way, you can follow along on our social media if you'd like to see some photos. I think we're gonna hold off before we put any new pictures up from our Universal trip until after we're done giving away all of the prizes, all of the trips, because we have some specific photos that have been chosen for that. So we took a lot of great pictures and videos while we were there. We want to pass along that love to you guys. We did love every bit of it. And we gave away a trip to Universal Orlando Resorts this morning. We're going to do the same thing the next 3 days, and we hope that you'll be in the running for that. I would like to thank our guest, Miss Lorraine Bracco.
Yeah.
A movie called Jasir is opening on March 24th, and she was very passionate about it, so it was nice to talk to her about that. And thank you to Primo Hoagies, who gave us all the goods to give away. And yes, they're opening their 100th store, which is amazing, or shop, or whatever you'd like to call it. And in fact, their 100th location is in Egg Harbor. It's on Egg Harbor Road in Sewell. And the first 100 people today get a free Primo-sized hoagie, and the 100th customer today gets hoagies for a year. Yes, it is hard to believe. Yeah. And
I have two Primos that are my go-tos. So I have my Roxborough and I have my Chestnut Hill. Do you have one or two?
We have a Harleysville one.
Yeah,
so
you're good to go.
It's perfect. It's right there in town. So, and let's see. Tattoos Day.
Yes.
We do have a winner, and I want to award that winner their prize, and that winner happens to be Scott Dews of Eagleville, PA. Dews? Well, it's spelled Dewees. It might be Dewees.
He's paid his dues.
And he has paid his dues, and it might be Dewees. So we're going to set you up, buddy. You got a $350 gift certificate for Floating World Tattoo and Piercing. They are located at 1729 South Street in Philadelphia. If you want to check out their samples, go to floatingworldtattoos.com. Of course, you can find them on Instagram at Floating World Tattoos as well. So congrats to you, Scott. We'll set you up. How you doing, Pierre?
Good day. Welcome back, everyone.
It's good to be back.
Was it
back.
Fun?
It was a lot of fun. It was very tiring. This was a whirlwind trip that we took, and we stayed quite busy the whole time.
Right.
But I personally am pretty wiped out, but I mean, we had some great experiences.
So you flew into Orlando, then did you drive to Clearwater, and then drive back? How far are they away from each other?
2 hours. 2 hours.
Okay.
Yeah, 2 hours and change.
So you land, you drive, you go to the one place. Then did you stay at the baseball thing that night?
We did. Friday night.
I'll give you the full rundown here. So we fly in. We left our show here on Thursday, flew into Orlando, drove to Clearwater, stayed that night, got up as early as we do the next day, did our show from the ball field on Friday. And it was St. Patrick's Day, and it was a Phillies game, and everybody was all fired up, so we hung around for the game.
Right.
And then after that, we kind of all went our separate ways. I have some family in town, so I did some family things. And then the next day, Saturday, got up, drove to Orlando.
Wow.
Got there in the afternoon/evening, did a little bit of the park. Then the following day, Sunday, we got up and had this full all-day-long tour of the park.
Wow.
With tour guides and everything. And then stayed that night, got up early yesterday, did our show, and then got in a plane, flew back here.
Wow.
full series of days.
But now, Casey, did you not come back and go back?
I did.
He did.
I did. So just add 2 more flights to that, and that's exactly what I did.
That's what he did. His daughter had a play that he didn't want to miss.
Wow, good for you.
Yeah, so.
Well, there it is.
Good time. So
Very good. Sounded great fun.
Thanks, man.
Cool.
Ready for the letter?
Yes.
Here we go.
Preston and Steve on 93.3 WMMR.
Now, the Daily Letter.
The Preston and Steve Show is brought to you today by the letter
R as in Rush.
Very good. All right, we're going to give away a $500 Joseph Anthony Retreat Spa and Salon gift card. Check out their heavenly soft pack float treatment, luxurious Turkish bath experience, or you can escape with any of their massages. And you can visit them at 3 area locations: Glen Mills, Springfield, and Center City. And you can purchase online as well, josephanthony.com. So we'll give that away on Friday. Got some good stuff today?
Indeed, I do. Speaking of that word I just mentioned, Rush will be on the Workforce Blocks for today. Smashing Pumpkins, Eddie Money, Double Shot Tuesday. It's going to be a good day.
Oh,
nice.
Fantastic. I will be listening, sir. I would like to thank our sponsors. Preston and Steve Show has been brought to you today by Dunkin'. The Preston and Steve Show runs on Dunkin'. Also brought to you by Acme Markets, fresh foods, local flavors. And finally, by Shock IT. Protect your business IT infrastructure now with ShockIT.com. Tomorrow, it's a Wednesday, so Fox Good Day and a secret text word. And we'll also have a gentleman by the name of Danny Cage. Danny is the owner of the Monster Factory. It is a pro wrestling school.
Yeah.
And he's going to be popping on the program tomorrow.
Yeah, they got a big documentary about this, Monster Factory.
I heard. Have you? Is it available to watch now? Because I was very interested in it.
I don't know.
Yeah. Let's check that out.
Have to look into it.
Yeah.
But, I mean, they're in the area. Anytime we have a pro wrestler in here,
they know it.
Chances are they went there.
Yeah.
All right, so we'll talk to Danny, and we'll do some other things, and we'll give away another trip to Universal Orlando Resorts on our program tomorrow morning. That's at 8 a.m. Make sure you don't miss out on that. Okay, that's it. We're done. Ray John, have a great day, and we'll see you tomorrow, friend. Bye-bye.